Oh my God, I cannot fall asleep. Maybe I'll just watch and explain all the A Nightmare on Elm Street movies to stay awake?
I had a hard-on this morning when I woke up, Tina.
So The Nightmare, the one on Elm Street, opens on some dude with severe asthma crafting knife gloves, which is actually sort of a red flag in my opinion. Either he's planning to murder 20 or so children, or he's really forgetful and always losing his steak knives, and so he needs to have them taped to his fingers at all times. Either way, Edward's steak knife fingers here seems very annoying. I think you're overly solving that problem. I eat a lot of steak.
You use one knife. You don't need.
You don't need 5 knives.
You can take this one off now.
Now, a woman in pajamas runs through a soaking wet tunnel, and I do think I'd like to be her friend. Ah, sheep. She enters a boiler room, a location of interest only in horror movies and 90s pro wrestling matches.
And Triple H trying to get in.
And you may think this would be a good place to dry up, but it turns out to be a bad boiler room. Oh, sheep. I mean, shit. Oh! She's attacked by the forgetful gloved man, and unrelatedly, the composer apparently fell asleep on a synthesizer because this was made in 1984 and Quaaludes were still popular back then. There's no way that that was the correct noise he chose for a jump scare. Now, if I was composing this scene, Babysita Tina blasts awake screaming to find her pajamas shredded. Her mom blasts in and is like, damn it, Tina. I bought those directly from the same seamstress that did Little House on the Prairie. Do you think I'm made of pajama money? Patreon hasn't even been invented yet.
You gotta cut your fingernails. You gotta stop that kind of dreaming.
Oh, sure thing, Mom. I'll just stop dreaming about burn-faced, asthmatic, boiler room perverts with knife hands. You might as well tell me to not think about a purple elephant. Why don't you go back to blasting that strange man?
Coming back to the sack.
Gotta blast.
The next day, at school, Tina relays her dream to her friend, Nancy, and Nancy's like, that's wild, I had a very similar dream, meaning that the local pajama store must be making a killing with all these shreddy jammies. And the movie doesn't outright say it, but it's implied that the girls themselves are making bank by selling their used torn up clothing to Japanese perverts, or they used to, before the tariffs.
Forget it, Tina. The point is
The market fluctuates, remember?
Japanese businessmen are like, oh my, what? $60 for torn up pervert jammies from America? God damn it. Nancy's apparent crypto bro boyfriend, Glenn, also hints at dreaming a similar dream.
Hey, did you have a nightmare too?
And actually, Tina's boyfriend, Rod, does too.
I had a hard-on this morning when I woke up, Tina.
Rod just had a different reaction than everybody else. He shredded his boxers with his implied massive hog.
Had your name written all over it.
Rod appreciates a man who DIYs his own knife gloves instead of buying some boring ones from a corporation. Those are American made. They're dodging the tariffs. It's actually really inspiring. Freddy Krueger didn't import his knife gloves. He built them here.
And I'm proud to be an American.
Proudly made in Idaho.
He's out there just like slashing corn stalks.
Yeah.
Tina's like, I bet all this is happening because...
Maybe we're gonna have a big earthquake.
But like, okay, Rod's erection can't be that big. It's not gonna cause an earthquake. They can't track Rod's erections on the Richter scale.
It's no biggie.
Hey, up yours with a twirling lawnmower.
But just to be safe, Nancy and Glenn agree to spend the night with Tina in case she has another pajama-destroying nightmare or an erection-style earthquake. Their parents let them do this because Glenn's pretty savvy with his little sound effects cassette tapes.
I gotta go. I think there's been an accident out front.
Well, savvy adjacent. But wait, there's something outside. Go check on it, Glenn. Maybe it's a cat or an ex-lover.
Kitty, kitty. Chow, chow, chow.
No, it's actually just Rod with a gardening claw. Think of it as a knife glove, but instead of knives, it's claws. And instead of murdering children, you murder weeds. Look, I don't know who watches these videos, but I have to assume that some of you are hoping to retire from child murdering and get into gardening. And if you are, you're welcome. For the rest of you, not everything is for you, okay? A lot of different people watch these videos. Child murderers, gardeners. All right, well, now that we're all here, what do you guys want to do?
Sleepover.
Maybe a funeral.
An orgy or something?
These are a few of my favorite things.
Honestly, all three of those sound great. But Rod jumps straight to funeral and pulls a knife on Glenn. But then Rod's like, actually, I'm just gonna go have sex with Tina in her traveling mother's bed.
We got our mother's bed. You guys got the rest.
And Glenn's like, cool, well, I guess we can have sex in or on any of the other appliances. But Nancy's like, no.
We're here for Tina now, not ourselves.
So Glenn's forced to listen to Rod bang Tina so hard that she loses control of her articles.
Jungle Man fix.
And Glenn's like, damn, girl.
Morality sucks.
But, like, what morality are we talking about? Is it amoral to have sex while the girl you're trying to help is herself having sex? Seems like Rod is the only one actually making Tina feel any better right now.
You feel better now, right?
In fact, why do they even need to be here at all? If Tina has a nightmare, the first line of defense will be Rod, who is literally in her bed. And if it's something else like an earthquake or a child murderer, well, Rod has, he's got a little knife. All Glenn has is airplane sounds, and all Nancy has is like a crucifix.
Not anymore, bro.
I think they should just go home, or, I don't know, bang, I guess. I'm just not sure how Blue Balls is gonna make Glenn more effective in the event of a nightmare. Sorry, we're literally just here so that she doesn't feel scared or alone, right? You could have just left the TV on with taped episodes of Wheel of Fortune playing. Ha! The rules of teenage sex are complex. Dave tried to Google more info about it, but his computer was already melted from the last time he tried. Yeah, the FBI guy who like lives in your spare bedroom because he's like always needed to arrest you.
He's like on constant duty. It's like you better just live there.
To make things even more complicated, apparently it's not just girls who get nightmares.
Guys can have nightmares too, you know. You can get a corner on the market.
The market fluctuates, remember?
That's right, Rod also might get scared. This movie is breaking down barriers between genders and realities. So we need several contingencies due to not knowing exactly how many teenagers of which genders might have a scary dream and need a shoulder to cry on. It's just simple moral math.
Morality sucks.
Tina, who is previously soundly, pleasantly, satisfiedly asleep, wakes up because somebody hucked a rock at her window and whispered her name, and she's like, okay, well, I know I asked all these people to spend the night with me because of my terrifying nightmares that I secretly sort of think could be based in reality, but you know what? I think I'm just gonna wander through the neighborhood in my pajamas, but without pants or a bra. Everybody knows that Donald ducking adds +5 to defense, and Donald Duck also doesn't wear a bra. I don't know if that's related, but those are the two things I know about Donald Duck.
Glenn, not now.
Anyway, during her floppy travels, Tina almost immediately runs into a burnt-faced pussy sporting a knife glove hand thing.
Great.
Yeah. And arms that are impractically long, but arms that would make NBA draft analysts drool. I mean, if your back itches or you have to block Luka in the post, great. But otherwise, what's the benefit of having arms that'll drag along behind you like a wedding train? As such, Tina nearly escapes, but then the guy tricks her into stopping by yelling her name.
Why did you say that name?
Aw, damn, she fell for the oldest trick in the book. He attacks her, but poof, now they're under the covers. And Glenn's probably downstairs like, this shit again, good grief. Like, damn, Rod, eat some cabbage, think about baseball for a while. But no, Rod wakes up to find Tina losing a fight with seemingly nothing, yet also getting cut and also dragged up to the ceiling. So he springs into action. And Rod very quickly and heroically says Tina's name a bunch. Tina! And sometimes he points. Tina! But despite his efforts, Tina dies and Rod runs away. Nancy's cop daddy now suspects that Rod murdered Tina, and also that all of this is somehow Tina's mom's fault because Nancy and Tina's parents are divorced.
Maybe you don't think murder is serious.
Don't try to deflect, Nancy's mom.
How can you say I don't take her seriously?
We all know about your breakfast of champions. Though to be fair, it is clear booze, which makes it virtually no calories and therefore perfect for breakfasts. The next day, Nancy throws on her freshest business casual clothes in case a nice crypto opportunity presents itself on her way to school, which brings me to today's sponsor. I'm just kidding. Even Dave doesn't touch crypto. He buys his feet pics the old-fashioned way, with cash behind a Walmart.
Oh God, I fell asleep. I can't believe I didn't make it 10 minutes.
Yes, you did.
Who the heck are you?
Let's just say I'm here to help. And also, I'm looking for my evil son, so I can reabsorb him back into my womb.
You said help? Something about help?
Did you know you're probably still paying for subscriptions you completely forgot about?
Like what?
I mean, I don't know your life.
But I do know that Rocket Money is sponsoring this dream that you're having while you're passed out in the bathtub. And they're an all-in-one finance platform that helps you save more and spend less.
On subscriptions?
Exactly. They can track down any recurring charges you're still paying and then cancel them on your behalf without you ever having to talk to any scary real people like my son, who I need to reabsorb into my womb. Have I mentioned that?
So, are you saying that your evil son works at like a streaming service or something?
I personally use Rocket Money to help lower my bills by uploading a picture of them and letting Rocket Money negotiate my bills for me.
Wait, you have to pay bills even in the dream world?
Rocket Money also helps me grow my savings, and they built me a custom budget that helped me see way too much of my money was going towards cleaning up my evil son's messes.
Oh, so that's why you want to reabsorb him into your womb.
Take control of your finances today. Go to rocketmoney.com/Dr. Jordan or click the link in the description to get started for free.
Wait, you're saying that to save more and spend less, I just need to go to rocketmoney.com/Dr. Jordan to get started for free? Wow, I really must be dreaming.
Yes. Although I'm also saying I need to reabsorb my evil son into my womb, for it is the only way to end his reign of terror and save me money.
Yes, I heard you. God, I need to wake up. Wake up!
Oh. Don't look at me like I'm some fucking fruitcake or something.
Maybe I wouldn't if you wore a shirt, Rod.
I never touched her.
Okay, well, we both know that that's not true, Rod. If she still had one, they'd find your fingerprints in her colon.
I knew there was something about you I liked.
Penis! You are, unfortunately, though, under arrest.
Daddy? You used me.
Daddy's a bad, bad man.
Oh, what a naughty daddy. Anyway, I'm gonna go to school. Bye, Rod. Good luck. Try not to get the electric chair. In class, Nancy's English teacher teaches about this crazy, bonkers, off-the-wall theory that Shakespeare once had about how evil exists.
According to Shakespeare, there was something operating in nature, perhaps inside human nature itself, that was rotten.
This, of course, causes Nancy to immediately pass out and dream about Tina in a death bag.
Morpheus drinking a 40 in a death basket.
Nancy follows a blood trail to the school boiler room where Sith noise, nipple slice, fat beats. Nancy calmly burns herself awake. Except, oh shit, the burn is still there in real life? Can you imagine if all the times I pissed myself in my dreams, the piss was still in my pants when I woke up? That's not what happens to me currently. That's just sweat. It's pee hole sweat. Then Nancy suddenly goes home because I guess you could just leave school in 1984. But like, why would you? I dropped Spanish 4 during third period so that I'd have more time to go to Chipotle, but that didn't even exist in 1984. Like, where are you even gonna go, Nancy? No, Nancy, don't do it! Nancy visits Rod in jail, and he mentions that he's having the same dream as everybody else.
And then what happened?
Fingers and butts, dicks and butts.
But presumably, he's not getting hard about it anymore.
I don't expect you to believe me anyway.
Nancy goes home to take a bubble bath, but as she falls asleep, she's almost attacked by some coochie knives. But it's okay. Slurp!
Don't fall asleep in there. You could drown, you know. It happens all the time.
All the time? Whitney Houston is still alive in 1984, so Nancy doesn't believe her, so she falls back asleep and is sucked down into the tub depths for a bit, and honestly, having a bath you could dive into sounds amazing. It's too bad that Nancy can't appreciate it on account of her also being drowned by a dream demon. She's saved by her mother picking the lock, because I guess her mom knows how to freaking pick locks, and then she gives us even more tub facts. Did you know that getting sucked down into tub depths is a very serious problem in America?
Hundreds of people a year get killed like that, honey.
God, Mom, let me live my life. If I get killed by coochie knives or get sucked into the infinite tub depths, then so be it. In the original cut of this movie, a bald eagle then breaks through the window and sits on her shoulder as the American anthem plays.
Oh, for Pete's sakes.
Then, Freedom Nancy pounds some stay awake pills because the FDA in the 80s only had 2 stamps, which were yeah and also hell yeah. You know how everybody has stay awake pills and we and the Baseball Hall of Fame all just agree not to call it meth?
Because meth has a bit of an image problem.
Oh!
God, I look 20 years old.
Well, that's the price you pay for meth pills, plus about $50 from what Dave tells me every day unprompted. He's like, I've got the latest numbers on the cost of meth pills. I'm like, I don't care.
Let's shoot all night.
And I get why she's taking meth and trying to stay awake. I mean, everybody who's anybody is doing it.
Back when meth used to be like fun.
Oh my god, I guess I'm addicted to meth.
But what's the long-term plan here? She can't stay awake forever.
I'm sorry.
Glenn sneaks over to mock Nancy for freaking out in English class, even though they both witnessed the horrible aftermath of her best friend's insane, horrific murder like 24 hours ago.
So I heard you freaked out in English class today.
The PTSD.
Like, what is the insult here? Haha, you have PTSD, your best friend's dead, and blood is everywhere. I'm starting to see why she doesn't want to sleep with you, bro. But Nancy's like, I've got a crazy idea. Why don't we turn off all the lights? And Glenn's like, yeah. And then we'll close our eyes. He's like, yeah. And then I fall asleep and you don't. And if I start screaming, you wake me up. Oh, well, all right.
Now you can't mess up.
Oh, yeah? Watch me. Nancy sneaks outside without shoes, but at least she has pants. Except if she's this lucid in her dreams, why are things crazier? She's still just wandering around in her pajamas in her actual real neighborhood. Why isn't she riding a unicorn, sporting rocket launchers akimbo? Or why doesn't Freddy? These people are less creative than AI bros, and even they would at least give Nancy massive bazongas. But Glenn is also immediately here, which means that he must have also fallen asleep literally instantly.
Yeah, so?
Because he's secretly a dork who doesn't even do meth. Meth. It keeps you from dying in your sleep. Ask your local dealer today if meth is right for you. This also suggests that these two share the same dreamscape. I'm getting a little ahead of the movie, obviously, but yeah, the bad guy only attacks people in their dreams. For example, oh God, the stairs are goopy. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Except she also can't wake up because Glenn is also now asleep in her dream, which means he's now 2 levels deep. So he's gonna need a super strong kick to wake up.
Glenn, you bastard.
Oh, thank God. Nancy is woken up by an alarm clock, no thanks to her useless ass not using meth boyfriend.
You
The two of them run to check on Rod because Nancy's worried he's in trouble.
Please, Daddy.
And he is. His sheets have finally exacted revenge for all the times he
had a hard-on when I woke up.
At Rod's funeral, the pastor is like, well, I'm not surprised that he's dead because as we all know,
but he who lives by the sword shall die by the sword.
Although in this instance, it's live by the hard-on, die by your sheets coming to life and hanging you.
We judge not, lest we be judged.
Okay, you're sending a lot of mixed signals, pastor. Nancy is put to sleep at a research place because that's the best place to answer.
What the hell are dreams anyway?
Magnets, how do they work?
If anybody will know how to help Nancy, it'll be...
Truth is, we still don't know what they are. Mysteries, incredible body hocus pocus.
Not seen that'll shock your eyelid.
Well, that's not helpful. Isn't this like your whole job, dude? I guess we can't all be good at stuff, so they tell Nancy to go to sleep, and she does, and pretty soon she flips out, wakes up scratched all to hell, and holding a yucky hat that she claims she pulled out of her out of her dream.
The last of us discussion threads is just all wet fedoras, like, dude.
I brought something out from my dream.
So she can pull things out of the dream world, and all she brought was a fedora? I want a rocket launcher unicorn! Quick tangent. Does this mean that she just created matter, or at least added new matter to the real universe? This completely destroys the laws of physics. Any self-respecting scientist would sacrifice 20 of their sexiest TAs to study this phenomenon. Except for apparently this ass sleep doctor who does nothing.
I don't want to talk to a scientist.
Ugh, next scene. No! Mommy tries to hide her healthy breakfast booze from Nancy because she's saying stuff like,
It's this guy. He's after us in our dreams.
And his name is
Fred Krueger.
And her mom is like, he's dead.
Believe me, I know.
But I won't explain how I know that until later. Why don't you just go back to sleep instead? Fair. What a classic my son move. He is constantly constantly breaking Daddy's morning booze bottles and then not sleeping. Support my Patreon so I can switch to metal flasks. Nancy meets up with Glenn for like literally 3 minutes, which is just long enough for him to say, hey, have you ever heard of
Dream skills.
What? No, I have not heard of dream skills. Oh, maybe you should get some. Are you reading a book on
Booby traps and improvised anti-personnel devices?
Oh, that's wild.
Big gulps, huh? Well, see you later.
See ya.
You're starting to scare me.
Anyway, Nancy walks back home to find her house is aesthetically displeasing. Her mom has gone full Walgreens and apparently installed bars on every window in just like the past 6 hours. Meanwhile, I'm still waiting for a contractor to build the fence I paid for in August 2019. Oh, any day now. I know he went to jail, but it wasn't for that.
Mother!
Nancy goes inside to find a weirdly loose and sexy mommy being like, all right, young lady, come with me to our basement furnace where I keep the knife finger gloves of a guy named Freddy Krueger who once murdered apparently 20 children but got off on a technicality, so we, the concerned parents, burned him alive. There, don't you feel better now?
You can sleep.
Oh, thank God. I'm so glad I have nothing to worry about now.
He's dead, honey, because Mommy killed him.
I tell my kids the same thing about Santa every Christmas when I forget to buy them gifts. I'm like, look, he murdered a bunch of children. He got off on a technicality. Me and your uncles went and burned him alive. So that's why you're not getting presents.
You should be thanking me.
Although if my kids are any indication, I don't think that's as reassuring a sentiment as you think it is. Go to bed. I don't know why you're having bad dreams. Did this help? Hey, how did this guy get away with murdering 20 children before somebody caught him?
It drove us crazy when we didn't know who it was.
That's too many children, in my opinion. And it's honestly, it's a little greedy if you think about it. I think after a dozen, you should have had your fill. Like, at what point do parents start, like, watching their kids? It's crazy that your entire first grade class has been murdered, but you need to go to school. I'm not gonna take you. Daddy's got work.
I can't deal with this right now.
Yeah, Daddy's got a big report. Nancy calls Glenn and is like, hey, this guy might also want to kill you.
Why would anybody want to kill me?
I hate to tell you this, Glenn, but you're not gonna handle celebrity all that well.
Whoa, I love doing cocaine with you too, Johnny Depp.
There's gonna be a lot of questionable life and fashion choices in your future. Anyway, just do me a favor and...
Just give me some help nailing the guy.
Sorry, let me clarify. I'm gonna go into the dream world and pull Fred out, and all you gotta do...
You whack the f***er.
So Nancy says, meet me at midnight for some f***er whacking.
Best day of the week.
But Glenn falls asleep again, like he's one of Jesus' disciples on the night he was betrayed. And as punishment, Glenn gets sucked into the bed and explodes in a fountain of blood and viscera. Man, the Garden of Gethsemane would have gone very different if disciples were exploding in the fountains of blood and viscera left and right, believe you me. They're like, okay. You have any first century meth?
Yeah, dude, I'm cranked on myrrh. I'm off my tits on this frankincense.
Hey, Dave.
Yeah.
Your mom's so dumb, I bet...
Your mom went over to the security store today.
Got him. Nancy gets a phone call from Fred and is like, I hate that. So she rips the phone out of the wall, but it rings again. So she's like, okay, you know what? Let's see what he has to say. And Fred is like, girl, which may shock modern viewers, but this was actually pretty common before COVID. People were always looking at each other through the phone. Then she talks to Daddy and is like, I see you're over there trying to determine what exactly caused Glenn to explode in a fountain of blood and viscera. But if you get a smoke break or something, do you mind breaking into my house in exactly 20 minutes and arresting any strange men I may or may not be tussling with? And he's like,
Yeah, sure.
although also, it definitely takes way more than 20 minutes to get to REM sleep. Like, that's not even including the first 30 minutes of sleep where you relive every mistake in your life and worry about the long-term survival of your career and, more importantly, of your family. Add to that another 10 minutes to booby trap your house and you have no chance of being in REM sleep in 20 minutes. Also, these traps are just as likely to booby daddy cop or drunk-ass mommy as the child murderer of your dreams, right? She's like, I'm gonna set traps all over this house. Dad, just come running in 20 minutes. Also, drunk mom, I hope you don't wake up. I gotta take a piss. Ah! Sledgehammer to the face! IED in the bedroom.
Doing the Home Alone thing, but while the entire family's there.
Right!
That's your nature. That's your gift.
Whatever. Nancy sets her wristwatch timer for 10 minutes and immediately passes out.
Is it possible to learn this power?
And oh, hey, Nancy's able to check the time while in the dream, which means apparently she can bring things into the dream. So she could fall asleep with the sledgehammer or while wearing knife-proof jammies or an Arnold Schwarzenegger cutout or something that comes to life. Like if she held hands with Dave, could she bring him into the dream world to fight Freddy, or at least gross Freddy out with all his nasty shit? Also, it's interesting that these people start their dreams exactly where they fell asleep. If Fred was after me, every attempt to catch him would begin with me naked and toothless taking a math test that I didn't at all study for. He'd kill me instantly every single time.
Freddy's like, what the f***? You're like, let me try to run away very slowly.
Yeah, I'm like, my legs are very stiff. Whatever, Nancy wanders into a secondary, boilier basement under her normal basement and finds Glenn's bloody headphones before Matt glitching a full 2 stories off the top of her house. But thankfully, fall damage is turned off. She manages to jump Fred at the last possible second, which... Oh, I guess it didn't work. Oh no, it did work! Daddy isn't here yet though, so she scampers about while Fred gets sledgehammered in the tummy and tripped down the stairs and exploded and set on fire and knocked down even more stairs. And even if he isn't dead, surely the fire and explosions would have attracted the cops' attention by now? It does when I do it.
Did you hear something?
Finally, Daddy comes over to discover Fred strangling drunk Mommy while on fire and covers them both with a blanket to put the fire out. Hopefully it also puts out Freddy's knife fingers and his dick. Man, it sure seems like Daddy isn't overly worried about what he just witnessed. He watches his ex-wife's burnt animatronic get sucked through the bed into hell, and he's like, well, this is why it didn't work out between us. So much drama. And also, who's got 2 thumbs and no more alimony? This guy, all right. I also get custody, I guess, if that's what I'm into. Nancy sends his unhelpful ass back downstairs and uses some dream skills to take back Freddy's energy.
I take back every bit of energy I gave you.
Ironic.
Which is interesting, because I thought we weren't currently dreaming. Unless she fell asleep somewhere in the middle of all this.
This whole thing is just a dream.
Is it though?
But whatever, it works. And he sort of dissipates and poof, it's a happy day. And Mommy's like,
No, baby, I'm gonna stop drinking.
and all the friends aren't dead, and they all hop in Glenn's cool new Fred-themed car. Ah, sh**. Well, at least the mom's okay. Ah, sh**.
You remember your dreams? Only the wet ones.
All right, so here's a bus, but oh God, scratch, scratch. Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2, Freddy's Revenge. His revenge for what? Did he win? Then the last movie killed everybody. Also, wasn't the entire point of the first movie that Freddy was taking revenge on the parents who killed him? And also, spoiler alert, Nancy isn't in this movie because no writer wanted to actually explain the ending of the last movie. So how is this random, sad dweeb Jesse a target of Freddy's non-specific revenge? Are we all talking about the same kid currently getting socially finger-knifed by 2 hot girls on the bus? Because his shorts are nowhere near as short as all the other boys' short shorts?
Look what I can do!
Ugh, the social tension gets so bad that Jesse tries to open the window so he can, I don't know, crawl out while the bus is moving, but he fails.
Loser, loser.
Which is actually fine, because his big-ass pants probably wouldn't fit through the window anyway. Then the bus driver just friggin' guns it, and within seconds they're driving off-road through the Ohio desert to do sick jumps. Oh, that's the Tony Hawk Pro Skater that we need. It's bus-themed in Ohio in the desert. That would be so...
Yeah, dude, where do you find those secret tapes in the...
in the Ohio desert? Eventually, a possible sandworm sinkhole opens underneath them, and the bus is precariously perched on the one unsunk part, and Freddy, who is driving the bus, by the way, slowly approaches the 3 teens while just carelessly obliterating the resale value of the bus with his wandering knife fingers. But actually, it's just a dream.
Oh, thank God.
The bus upholstery is fine. Don't worry.
Oh,
thank God. And Jesse's whole family listens to him scream like a girl. And actually, the reason he's screaming might be because he's turned his regular bed into a water bed. And he is woken up so frickin' soaked. More like Nightmare on these sheets, am I right? Oh! dick check. Oh, phew, still there. It is still there.
Oh, thank God.
This is a great time to mention that today's episode is sponsored by Dick Trackers, the GPS tracker you put on your dick. It's like an AirTag for your dick. Never lose your dick ever again with Dick Trackers.
Nobody likes a smart ass, buddy boy.
Jesse heads downstairs to get berated by his dad, who's apparently about to go full Denethor on an entire plate of tomato slices for breakfast. All we need is a little hobbit singing, "Your son is dying!" Then Jesse is a complete hidden wet dick to his sister, who merely tries to pour him some cereal.
No.
But to be fair, the cereal is called Fu Manchus, and Jesse's very socially conscious with his cereal choices, so I get why he's upset.
It's like how that ramen flavor used to be called something you're not supposed to say anymore.
Oh, I don't know.
It used to be called Oriental flavor, but they changed it to soy sauce flavor.
Which is also more descriptive. What is the one flavor that defines the Orient?
Yeah, I know.
Oh, soy sauce!
Okay, change it to something like the mysterious Far East. Whoa, I want that flavor.
What flavor is it? Ooh, this is exotic.
No.
Anyway, then a Lisa girl shows up at the door and Jesse drives her to school in his lethal theropod.
The Deadly Dinosaur?
Yeah, that one. Way better horror movie title, by the way. Also, hey, if Freddy attacked you in a dream with visions of dinosaurs, could you grab a dinosaur, wake up, and then transport the dinosaur to the real world? Do you think that's what really happened in Jurassic Park? Also, do you think free will is real? These are all questions that this cowardly movie refuses to ask.
It's kind of like how the primordial, subconscious has led me to film you in the bathtub.
You didn't choose this. I had a gun. At school, Jesse sucks ass at baseball.
Legends never die.
Then is actually pretty good at baseball. Oh, did he get some of Nancy's pills? Then he gets his entire butthole exposed to the entire student body. You know what that means?
Assume the position.
Wait, what? Oh, okay, good. Phew. I was worried because, as we all know,
Guy gets his rocks off like this. Hangs around queer S&M joints downtown.
we'll circle back to this. And just to be clear, by circle, I do not mean Jesse's butthole. I just want to be clear on that. We're not gonna go back to Jesse's butthole.
Can you say Jesse's butthole one more time?
Yeah, I need it just in case we need it for post. Jesse's butthole. Jesse's butthole. Jesse's butthole! They go hang out in the boys' locker room where an ancient janitor decides, ooh, now is a perfect time to clean and or to see some exposed boys. The butthole exposer, Grady, is like, you're new here, right? I never forget a hole. And I definitely haven't seen yours before.
It's pronounced a now-rapist.
Also, I hope you didn't move into that house where that girl went insane after seeing her boyfriend murdered across the street.
You're full of shit, Grady.
That night, wet-ass Jesse spills some midnight juice and investigates something outside without even closing the fridge because I guess he's rich. This is an urge I've never had in my entire life. Well, I'm talking about midnight exploration, but I guess I also mean leaving the fridge door open. I always close it. Close the door. He sees Freddy burning shit in his basement, which will only raise the temperature and break his fridge even faster. And Jesse asks for help from Daddy. Dad? But like that time in college when I drank my chocolate milk too fast and got a tummy ache?
Daddy can't help you now.
Freddy makes Jesse a proposition.
I need you, Jesse.
If Jesse will kill people for Freddy, Freddy will let him kill people. Jesse mulls it over and he kind of decides.
Is that a yes or a no?
The next day in poop class, a course that no longer exists thanks to Trump's budget cuts, Jesse falls asleep and is wrapped up by a snake. You know, nature's scary alive poops.
Come on, slither it up. Naked snag.
And of course he screams about it. Because screams have been approximately 60% of his dialogue so far. And the teacher is all mad at him about it.
Join the circus.
You're the one with a big ass loose snake roaming around poop class? Be mad at yourself.
Still got that ass, though.
Hold on, apparently Lisa is rich?
Lisa, sweetheart.
What the fuck? Well then why does she need a ride from Jesse? His seats are probably soaked.
His big wet butthole's been on those.
She should be getting carried around on a throne held up by 4 of the school's biggest jocks. Anyway, no time to think about that, or really anything, until you unpack your damned room, Jesse.
Right now, son.
And Jesse does it, but Jesse's revenge is apparently sucking ass at unpacking.
How do you like that, Dad?
Loser. Suck it, Daddy. But actually, Jesse seems to understand what his dad was getting at, so he really dives into the work butt first, and then dick first. And then, oh, hey, Lisa.
I was just cleaning my room.
I know.
Yeah, it really looked like you were polishing things up here, Jesse. Also, his door has a sticker that says, "No out-of-town chicks."
We're gonna build the wall. We have no choice.
Which is interesting because isn't he the out-of-town chick in this town? Like he's new to town, right? By the way, Jesse's perpetual wetness has apparently given him
Where does this go?
My dick! My dick!
Lisa puts down the cream and discovers Nancy's diary. And they read it and are like, haha, she was so horny for Glenn.
He comes to me at night. Horrible, ugly, dirty.
Sorry.
The only guy with a bed wetter than Jesse's. But also, oh no, she was so scared of a man with knife fingers.
His name is Fred.
And I've been very naughty.
Poof! Jesse is asleep and wet again. But now everything in his room is melting, so he just goes to look around. God, he's so curious. Does anybody know if his best friend wears a yellow hat, perchance? He runs into Freddy again, who is like, "Kill for me." And like, "My guy, what are you bringing to the table? I appreciate your energy, but like I tell Dave every day, if you want me to kill for you, I'm gonna need a better reason than because the voices are very persuasive in my head." I don't know, but Lisa is having a pool party this weekend.
Last party I had, my dad insisted on all night.
Cheek peck. Jesse asks Grady if he ever remembers his dreams.
Have you ever had a dream that you had
Only the wet ones.
And like, yeah, well, that's every dream for Jesse. Science is still baffled as to why he hasn't died from dehydration.
I'm wet! I'm hysterical and I'm wet!
But that's the whole conversation, I guess. Just two dudes talking about waking up in a pool of their own bodily fluids.
Something is trying to get inside my ass.
As boys do. Jesse goes home where...
My God, it is hot as an oven in here.
It's almost the internal temperature of a human's butthole in here.
97 degrees.
Butthole! In fact, it's so hot...
How hot is it?
The family bird rebels.
Damn it! Ow!
Killing its partner, attacking Daddy's face, and ultimately self-immolating in protest. The dad is like, well, obviously that was some sort of classic Jesse prank.
You know what he did? He used a damn cherry bomb.
Oh, stop.
That's what he did.
The kid is always rigging animals up to explode in my face. How do you do it, Jesse?
Are you training birds to become terrorists?
Yeah. It's not very clear how or why because it's not a dream at that point. So a bird just explodes for real?
That's cool as hell, dog.
Dude, that's a cool-ass bird. That night, curious and wet and impish Jesse really leads into his constant moistness and wanders around in the rain until he finds a gay bar where his wetness won't be questioned.
Is that piss?
Like, we're all wet. We get it. And where he orders and receives a beer. I mean, what did you do in high school when you couldn't sleep? Did you play video games? You losers? I assume the beer is illegal, but thankfully he's caught by Coach Leather Daddy, who forces him to run laps around the gym. And then, of course,
hit the shower.
Oh, hit the showers hard, Jesse. Pound those showers. Also, remember, it's a fact. Pot hurts. While Jesse hits the hell out of those showers, Coach Leather Daddy gets blasted by every ball in the book. Just pummeled with balls, all shapes, sizes, colors. Then he's unwillingly dragged to the showers, where he's stripped naked and spanked raw. Oh yeah, this is definitely a thing you're not into, Coach Leather Daddy. Jesse then turns into Freddy and kills him, which... Okay, I do believe he's not into that. Neither is Jesse, for that matter. Dave is, though, as evidenced by, are you covered head to toe in salad dressing? They don't even make tubs of salad dressing big enough to cover your huge ass body.
You know where to look, you can find it.
I know a guy. Your only weakness is your Achilles heel because you're being tipped into the...
Yes, that's what they do to me.
That's the only not sexy part of me.
He needs professional help. I think we have to take him to see a psychiatrist.
Jesse's brought home by some cops who claim they found him naked and presumed moist while wandering around on the interstate. And Jesse's always loving father is like,
What are you taking, son?
and like, what a completely negligent father to just assume that his son is on drugs rather than being haunted by the ghost of a child murderer who was murdered by angry, vengeful parents.
What that boy needs is a good goddamn kick in the butt. That's what he needs.
Whenever my kids misbehave, my first question to ask them is, ghost or vampire? Which is it? Those are the two most common causes of child problems. Join my Patreon so I can buy more garlic and cameras with 6 tubes.
Honestly, this new camera you bought is kind of a piece of shit.
Yeah, it doesn't see any ghosts. I know. I'm an idiot.
This one has 6. Oh my god.
Weirdly, it turns out the coach is dead. Because it wasn't just a wet dream, it was a wet reality.
Him in the shower. Got bloody footprints all over the place.
And yep, Jesse's wet again in reality. Pan down to see if his dick is still there. Okay, good. Definitely not dreaming. Here's Jesse's sister doing some midnight jump roping as one does, because you're not gonna be the best unless you train more than the competition. Fun fact, Nancy's mom killed herself in the living room, apparently, and Nancy herself was taken to a mental institution, apparently.
That wasn't fun.
So, nothing we saw from the end of the last movie, other than Cop Daddy not needing to pay alimony anymore, appears to have happened. Was my explanation of that movie real? Am I real? Is Dave real? Oh my god, well whatever happened.
You mean you knew something about this and you...
Come on, Cheryl.
We know for sure it resulted in Jesse's daddy getting a sick deal on this haunted ass house.
There's absolutely nothing, I mean nothing, wrong with this house.
Lisa's been reading more of Nancy's diary and wants to show Jesse something.
Bear left over here.
Bear left? You're driving, not sailing. Also, that's the only direction the road goes, Lisa. Do you also tell him to drive straight every 20 seconds? Anyway, she expertly directs Jesse to Freddy's old warehouse where he used to work in the hopes that Jesse will feel some sort of connection. But all he feels is...
I feel like a jerk.
Okay, but also Freddy is kind of a jerk, so maybe there's something there? No. POV, you're a child murderer sneaking into Jesse's sister's room, except twist, you're actually just wet-ass Jesse wearing a murder glove that I guess you found in the basement furnace because no one ever cleans this house. I guess Nancy didn't take the glove with her to the mental institution? Jesse decides, that's it, I'm gonna pop some meth pills, which I guess Nancy also didn't take the meth pills with her to the mental institution. And just like with Texas Chainsaw Massacre trying to convince me to give human meat a chance, I'm slowly starting to think that meth might actually be all right. I mean, it makes you stay awake and focused and battle dream demons. I mean, so far, all I see are pluses. Dave, we should do some meth after this.
Oh, we weren't?
Great, now I have to catch up.
I'm great at smoking meth. And? Snorting meth.
And even though people like old 4-Milk Grady here try to be nice to Jesse, he's a little bitchy about it.
Shut up, Grady.
Dave's the same way. Every time a serial killer tries to inhabit his body, he becomes very rude. Also, he won't stop murdering all of these sexually adventurous gym teachers. I'm starting to think that that's actually not because he's being haunted, he's just doing that.
There's a lot of them.
There's too many of them.
It's a living.
That night, Jesse's a real stick in the butt at Lisa's super fun and sexy pool party.
I'm not into this.
Oh, really? It's one of the few occasions it's okay for you to be as wet as you normally are. Still, he does appear to be into squeezing titties like he can sell their juice for a tidy profit. But as the party gets beerier and toplessier, Jesse becomes terrified of the power he could wield with his big-ass crazy tongue.
Nigga snag.
So he runs, and apparently breaks into Grady's bedroom to be like,
something is trying to get inside my
butthole.
And Grady's like,
Just watch me.
And then Jesse passes out almost immediately, and after a few minutes, Grady also falls asleep because this is a world where no teenager can stay awake past 11 p.m. despite widely available and frequently ingested meth and titty squeezing parties. Tell you what, if there's a party where I can squeeze titty, I'm staying up all night, especially if I can take meth.
You have been formally invited to the titty squeezing party.
Titty squeezing meth party? Jesse soon wakes up needing to take a terrifying shit.
What's wrong with you, dude?
And Freddy shits himself fully out of Jesse, mirroring the writing of the script from the writer. Anyway, he murders Grady. But then like, whoops, it's actually just Jesse. So he jumps out the window and runs to Lisa's house where the party is still a-bumpin'. Beers are popping and wieners are sizzling. That said, some of Lisa's guests are sure doing a lot of scolding. Do you think that was scripted or that actor was just inspired? He's like, what if my girlfriend in the scene was naughty and needed to be scolded? Anyway, Lisa's initially like, Jesse, I don't believe there's a child serial killer. Wait, a child serial killer or a serial child killer? I actually think that a child serial killer would be really cool, but that's a different movie.
Child murderer shouldn't be hyphenated.
But then Jesse's like,
he's inside me and he wants to take me again.
And she's like, okay, well then I guess Nancy was 100% telling the truth.
All this really happened.
Again, I've read her entire diary, and apparently all you have to do is not give him energy, because after all, you made him and you can defeat him, and like that sounds good. But Nancy lost, right? And then she went insane. So how did she even write that entry? And Freddy is right here, right now? Also, all this is a little victim blamey to act like Jesse brought Freddy here somehow and it's his fault.
Jesse, fight him.
Anyway, Jesse sucks at fighting it, unfortunately.
I can't.
So now he's Freddy.
He can't fight me.
And what exactly do we think that Lisa sees? Like, does she see Freddy? Which seems like it breaks with established lore since nobody has brought him out of the dream world. Or does she see actually Jesse chomping on her leg? Is she kicking Jesse in the face? Is the face wet and gross or burned and gross? Because if it's Jesse, does that mean that he fell asleep at some point during all of this and is currently sleep chomping? Whoever it is, it looks like they're making a mess on purpose. Then Jesse Freddy says,
"Kill me, Lisa."
But her knife skills, like her acting skills, are laughable. This is what happens when budget cuts eliminate night classes alongside poop classes. So Jesse Freddy smashes through the window and disappears. Oh, never mind, here he is, making more messes. He makes the fence hot, and the water hot, really the general area hot. And then poof, he disappears again.
Where'd he go?
And again, what exactly is Freddy's revenge here? Is he taking revenge on cleanliness? In the first movie, you could conceivably make the argument that he was terrorizing the kids of the people who killed him all those years ago, which even that is a little weird because shouldn't he go after the parents? But Jesse is brand new to the neighborhood. I mean, his daddy sucks, but he didn't set Freddy on fire. Also, how does using Jesse to kill random people even count as revenge? Like, what is he revenging? What does he want? Did he want to buy Nancy's house? I don't know. But Lisa steals Jesse's car to drive to the warehouse, but hey, again, Lisa is definitely super rich. Does she really not own her own car? Rich people really do suck all the ass, huh? Sign up for my Patreon so that I can become so rich that I actually can just bum everything off my poorer friends. Anyway, she firstly encounters some dogs wearing masks and she's like, that's gonna kill me. That's real. That lives with us on Earth.
You're relieved you don't have to go to work because you thought you were gonna get eaten?
But actually it's fine.
Barely an inconvenience.
And when Jesse Freddy inevitably attacks, she just appeals to the Jesse part of him.
Jesse!
James!
And she claims that she loves him.
I love you, Jesse!
But like, why? Didn't the soggy bastard just move here? Feels like you guys barely know each other. And also he's admitted that he's killed like 5 people already. Was his titty squeezing that good? I don't know, whatever. True love makes Freddy bleed. And then Lisa takes off his shitty hat. And kisses him, which really makes him melt. And his head thunks on the ground. And then Jesse crawls out of the body, so yay! Now he can be tried for a 6 homicides, right? Like he killed 6 people or something? And so the day is saved when the obviously confused, heavily gay-coded boy played by a closeted actor gets a straight kiss from a girl.
Thanks, Mom.
Cinema. So now Jesse's happy and at home, and he gets on the bus, even though we've established there's no reason for him to ride a bus because he has a car. So this is obviously a nightmare, and oh, look at that.
It's all over.
We have just enough time for a few more sick jumps in that infamous Ohio desert that the state is well known for. Rad.
Assume the position.
Come down here, bitch.
Oops. I think I was dreaming about Dave's mom's house again.
You sure were, bitch.
Now you're in my world, where I make the rules. Either finish explaining the Nightmare on Elm Street movies, or you'll never leave.
I guess I'd better hurry then, because if Dave knew that I was dreaming about his mom's house again, he would be so mad.
You'd be surprised. If his dreams are any indication, he's still pretty into it.
Well, let me see you come get a piece of me. Krueger, pussy!
Did you know that Edgar Allan Poe hated sleep? And probably this franchise if he hadn't died before it came out?
Edgar Allan Poe would have loved Nightmare on Elm Street 3 Dream Warriors.
Dream Warriors? Oh, shit. Looks like we're gonna take the fight to Freddy for once. What weapons are we gonna use? Magic swords? Dream machine guns? A tank made of Leonardo DiCaprio?
You mustn't be afraid to dream a little bigger, darling.
That's right.
Better directing and screenwriting? A lot of pre-sleep cheese so we get some really f***ed up dreams that mentally scar Freddy? I don't know. But until then, somebody's cooking up something yummy with flour and newspaper and...
That's cum, innit?
Oh no, it's paper mache for a little house. Phew. Dave just tore up the recipe he was writing. Well, then I guess I'm not gonna make it.
That's right. I don't.
Anyway, the house is being mache'd by a very sleepy girl named Kristen with a terrible diet. Kristen's apparently Mexican mommy busts in and is like, turn off that music right now and go to bed.
Andale.
It's 1 a.m. and I'd like to have sex with some strange man downstairs.
And you don't want to keep him waiting. Got a blast.
The mommies in this sleepy town can get it. Now that I think of it, this movie features the return of original writer/director Wes Craven's involvement after he took a movie off. So maybe that's just what Wes has been craving. Man knows the power a good MILF can bring to his story, especially a story about dreams. They had mommies that banged dudes in the first movie, and in the second movie they didn't have that. And then Wes Craven comes back and he's like, what were you guys doing? You want to know why they paid me so much money to come back? It's because there were no MILFs in your movie. I was just trying to do something different. He's like, don't. It's a tried and true formula.
Coming back to the sack,
Anyway, Kristen obeys her madre sabrosa, but is soon blown awake in front of Nancy's old house that's since been burned and overrun by weird children. Kristen sees a girl on a tricycle enter the house.
Wait, little girl, don't go in there!
Okay, that's such a boomer mentality. Not all kids want to play outside. There are bugs and rain and Daves out there. Oh, fire! Smoke!
Freddy's home.
Freddy! Kristen grabs the stunt girl, who is ironically definitely played by a doll here, and she runs through the house with its goopy, maybe paper mache, maybe cum floors until she discovers the dead hanging child room. Oh, what luxury. We never had a separate hanging child room when I was growing up. Kristen naturally wakes up pretty wet. I mean, nothing like the sentient puddle that is Jessie, but still, she's pretty moist. And she walks into the bathroom where she's attacked by her sink. And already, this movie is way dreamier than the last two. I'm surprised it took this long for somebody to say, hey, usually I don't just have budget-conscious dreams about being in the exact same location I fell asleep in, except also there's a weird pervert guy chasing me around. I realize Kristen did ultimately end up back in her own bathroom, but at least she got to detour into a weird burned house first, which is kind of fun. Now all she needs is to lose her teeth and clothes and ability to take math tests, and it'll be just like a real dream. Except instead, Freddy slits her wrist, or rather Kristen slits her own wrist, so psych hospital. Apparently lots of kids have been killing themselves recently, and everybody's got a theory as to why. Mine is that Xboxes and Chipotles haven't been invented yet.
That's what keeps people alive.
But the god of sleep and dreams himself, Morpheus, apparently thinks it's
Up chromosomes, man. Think about it.
Well, beat Sim's theory, she thinks it's nothing but sex, drugs, and...
Kristen struggles to adjust to the fact that the doctors want to sedate her. So she kicks her doctor, Neil, in his penis.
I'm not gonna hurt you, I want to help you.
And slashes Morpheus with a scalpel, but right then Nancy walks in and is like, good news, due to no one liking the last movie, I was neither eaten by a car nor institutionalized. Or if I was either of those things, I've since fully recovered. And now I do dream research into revitalizing franchises. And anyway, I'm here to help. And the costume designer and makeup artist are doing everything they can to make me look like I'm not 17 years old. And they're doing all right, they're doing okay. Your hair is pretty big. 17-year-olds don't always have big hair. Nancy calms Kristen down by being like, I know that nursery rhyme.
What is this place is hot? There's the last wishes, just like that.
No, the creepy one about a fedora wearing child killer.
Never sleep again.
So doesn't that make you feel better and also no longer want to kick penises and slash Morpheuses? Nancy explains to Neil that
I was just something that the kids say to keep the boogeyman away.
which is interesting because it clearly doesn't work for shit. Like it's never worked. Kids are always singing that rhyme and then they're getting murdered. Granted, not many nursery rhymes do much of anything. I tried to get a horse once to put together my huge sentient broken egg man, and let me tell you, that was a hassle and a half that I don't want to experience again.
I'm sure that Egg is a very nice person.
Oh, God.
But still, Neil's like, damn girl, that was smooth with Kristen. And Nancy's like, you know it, spills personal drugs all over the ground.
Pretty smooth for an intern.
I have had some experience with doing drugs.
This is so embarrassing.
This is so embarrassing that I've spilled all my drugs. Turns out Nancy's been popping an experimental drug called Hypnosil that makes it so you can't dream. Could have just called it late stage capitalism. Oh, is that a ghost? None? Then Neil heads home to read some 80s text-only porn for which he will possibly get his wrists totally obliterated with a ruler by that ghost nun later. She's gonna be like, were you reading smut again? Ah! Dave knows, he's Catholic, he gets it. Or he was, or I don't know. Can you lose it?
I guess, yeah.
Anyway, let's meet the kids. First, Nancy heads into a room with a helpfully captioned poster. Okay, I knew that planet from somewhere. It's the one I live on, isn't it?
I think I'm in that picture.
I thought that was Uranus. Am I right, Dave? Your butt is big, Dave. That was my point, Uranus. Anyway, this is Philip, who makes freaky-ass dolls and who everybody, including the staff, call the Walker.
Why is that?
Because I sleepwalk.
It feels a little shitty to give a suicidal kid a nickname based around a symptom stemming from his psychosis, but I guess it's good that he's not nicknamed the bed or the eats way too much Arby's because I mean that's two different names for the same problem.
Perfectly normal event that our illustrious staff loves to theorize about endlessly.
But then the Walker and Morpheus mock the sexily sprawled roommate Kincaid for constantly being thrown into solitary confinement. So I guess this is just one of those jokey, sarcastic, fun psych hospitals. They're like, you're crazy for this reason. You're crazy for this reason. We're never getting out of here. Ha 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 ha. We're gonna kill ourselves by the end of this film.
We have fun here. This is great.
I might, you know.
Why is that?
Nancy tries to talk to Kristen's mom, but she doesn't give a shit about her daughter.
I'm sorry to hear that.
So Nancy grabs the papier-mâché house from Kristen's room because her child psychologist salary probably isn't great. She needs to make money wherever she can. I mean, it's not a bad papier-mâché job, and maybe some weirdo will buy it. I mean, who knows? It's the biggest house anyone in my age bracket can afford. That night, Kristen has another dream about
That's a tricycle.
that's clearly just landed something gnarly. I mean, it's got blood on its wheels, and it's smoking. Hell, it's melting, and Kristen's in the house again.
I'm sorry to hear that.
She first debates whether to try and eat a yucky pig, but instead she gets her toes sucked by a Freddy worm. And man, he sucks so good, he's got like her entire lower half in there. That is dedication. Kristen's not as excited about this as you'd think, because she's a prude. So she somehow manages to suck Nancy into the dream. Weirdly, not through Nancy's toes, but through Kristen's papier-mâché house. And Nancy helps her escape by basically just telling her to wake up, because until this point, I guess Kristen couldn't tell that she was in a dream. She was like, oh my God, am I getting my lower half sucked by a massive worm again? Oh, don't you hate Mondays? Like all Nancy does is go, wake up, you're dreaming. She's like, am I? What do you mean?
I swear this happened before.
I used to in this house.
Have you ever done that before?
When I was a little girl, like 4 or 5.
Once they've escaped the, like, barely even a dream, Kristen's like, I used to suck my dad into dreams when I was a kid. And then at the same time, they both yell, but then our parents got divorced, and they jump up and they high-five and freeze frame. Because everybody's parents are divorced in these movies.
2 Christmases.
It's an amazing gift.
You might get killed by a serial killer because your parents aren't paying a lot of attention. But then they'll burn them, but then they'll come back. A lot of pros, a lot of cons. Okay, let's do a little group therapy and meet the rest of the team. There's Joey, who can't talk and who has a teardrop tattoo because I guess he killed somebody in prison. There's Will, who is really bad at basketball, which I didn't realize can get you put into a psych hospital, but the 80s were a different time.
I've had a little accident, as you can see. Ended up in this chair.
I was just imagining a kid doing this. Somebody passing him the ball hits him in the face, boom, psych ward.
They're like, you're not fit for polite society. We all ball now.
Put him away.
It's the 80s. Yeah, what are you, crazy?
Accident my ass.
Take foul.
Hey, so he took a jump.
And I mean, also, look at that kid's lack of wingspan. That's why the Knicks took Freddy ahead of Will here.
Oh, come on.
There's also Jennifer, whose mental problem is that she thinks she can make it as an actress. Well, real life spoiler, she doesn't.
Screw you.
Then there's Taryn, who used to do drugs. And according to the doctors, the one thing that ties all these kids together isn't so much the fact that they all dream about the same knife hands dude, but actually it's the guilt they all share because they're so damn sexy, am I right?
Psychological scars stemming from moral conflicts and overt sexuality.
Nice. Then Kincaid says what I say whenever my penis gets wrapped around my neck in the middle of the night.
Great, and that's my dick that's killing me.
I'm supposed to be choking it, not it choking me.
You have betrayed me, penis.
For the last time. Later, on a little doctor date, Nancy is like, hey, forget what you've seen and heard from other sources. My mom died in her sleep. So I guess that's canon now. And also, I think we should take these kids seriously and give them lots of drugs. And Neil's like, I actually don't think we should give these kids lots of drugs, which, considering how many pharmaceutical ads you almost certainly have gotten while watching this video, is probably the most unrealistic part of this entire franchise. And then Nancy's like, God, fine, guess I'll eat some ass Thai food then.
Best Thai food in Springwood. Of course, it's the only Thai food in Springwood.
Oops, spilled my personal drugs. Just kidding, she doesn't spill her drugs again. That same night, Will and Joey sleep in shifts since everybody's worried about nightmares. Well, not everybody, because Kincaid and the Walker don't offer to help each other at all. And in fact, when one of the Walker's toys transforms into Freddy and drags the Walker out the door by his tendons, Kincaid's like,
A nice stroll, lads.
So maybe it's no surprise that when the Walker walks his ass right off the hospital rampart, what do we call that thing? Sniper's nest. But anyway, as he walkers to his death, Will screams for him to wake up, which at that point just seems kind of cruel. Like, why would you want him to wake up right before he hits the ground? Let him die in his sleep, man. Then Joey does his version of screaming to try and help.
What's the matter?
I was gonna eat that, man.
But Kincaid waits until the Walker is dead before just basically metaphorically shitting on his still warm corpse.
He couldn't hack it, so he got nailed. Period.
Yeah, look at him. Unable to handle supernatural possession by a murder ghost via the dream world. What a wimp. If a pervert murderer tried to drag you by your arm tendons, I don't know that you would do much better, Kincaid. But again, even Neil is like,
Philip killed himself. Now that's a cowardly thing.
you know, I think this might be bad doctors. And even worse, eulogists. Oh wait, never mind. Neil changes his mind and is like, let's just give these kids lots of drugs. You know, like a good doctor would do.
Anybody tries drugs on me, get his ass kicked.
Kincaid, stop being such a bad influence trying to get these kids to not take drugs.
Can't believe I just said that.
The next night, Jennifer does a little
Research.
which I can't really mock. Half my workday was spent watching A Nightmare on Elm Street 3: Dream Warriors. You do that research, Jennifer. And if you need to smoke a ciggy and inflict yourself with butt burns to help you stay focused, you go right ahead. We all do what we gotta to sit through this damn series.
I don't know where he got the razors, but he cut off his own eyelids to stay awake.
Sure, whatever you gotta do to keep out that content, baby. What else even is there? Support my Patreon or sign up for channel memberships or at least subscribe to this stupid YouTube channel so I can buy new eyelids now that I've finished the series. I haven't blinked in 3 months.
Oh, God.
Unfortunately, Jennifer's study tips don't work, and she's killed in the exact same way I expect to die. But okay, I think the doctors and cops will find it difficult to believe that Jennifer killed herself by jamming her head into a TV set. Up until now, Freddy made all the deaths and attacks look like suicide attempts. But what are the cops supposed to think? That Roseanne was on and she got so hot for John Goodman that she ran into the TV to get inside the show? I mean, actually, I do get it. The cops are like, suicide. For sure. I'm like, that's the craziest way to kill yourself. How do you even know it's gonna work? Cut to Jennifer's funeral because I guess she's more important than ass the Walker boy? Why didn't he get a funeral? Did they just chuck him down an open sewer or something?
Sad choice.
Oh, hey, look, it's that ghost nun.
I was just talking to
him.
Ah, dang, she's gone. Well, let's have another doctor dinner by the light of sexy candles. Do you mind if I call you what Dave calls literally every waitress who has ever served us?
My Malaysian dream doll.
You're like, thanks for the barbecue, Malaysian dream doll. I really do, though, wish he'd stop calling them that. I miss being able to go to IHOP, but we have been thrown out.
You use some of that right about now.
Nancy is like, okay, Neil, it's time for me to tell you the truth. Off screen. Which I actually appreciate because the viewers know what's going on. It's fine. Man, things sure have changed since I was in med school. I didn't learn anything about romantic foreplay while romancing a fellow doctor and telling him the truth.
Maybe you're ready.
For what?
2 penises!
The next day, Nancy proves her bona fides to the kids by being like, look, you're all being targeted because
You are the last of the Elm Street children.
Sorry, this is a weird time to let you know that every single one of your parents are technically murderers, but like the good kind, like with fire. They're basically human torches.
Your parents, my parents, they burned him alive.
My parents are really supportive.
Flame on, am I right? But no, seriously, like if you're gonna murder somebody, Freddy's the right guy to murder. I mean, other than the fact that I guess by doing so, they made it so that he can manifest in people's dreams. So by that criteria, I guess he might have been the wrong guy to murder, but really, who could have predicted that? Whatever, regardless, you know, we're here now, so let's come up with a plan to fight this guy. Nancy proposes they use Kristen's bringing people into her dreams power to bring everybody into one dream so they can fight Krueger as a unit. Because, oh, by the way, Nancy is pretty sure that everybody else in the group also has dream powers. What's Nancy's dream power? Booby traps? Perfect hair?
You never lose a gift like that.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know what these powers are yet, but I don't feel like any of them are going to be as good as just going into dreams with AK-47s. But the only way we can learn what our powers are and whether we'll be able to call ourselves the Dream Rangers and conjure up a Megazord while we're in there is if we do a big group hypnosis. So you're all getting very sleepy. And initially, it seems like it didn't work, and then they all blame Kristen for some reason.
Sorry.
Like, you didn't bring us in, you dumb slut. But then Neil's balls start flying around the room and they're like, okay, we are dreaming and or we're on drugs. Also, this is like a psych hospital in the 80s, so I guess it's also possible that some of the wall asbestos fell into our lead-tainted water. All I'm saying is I'd explore a few other options before just assuming that I'm dreaming because some girl sucked me into her dream. But then people's powers start manifesting.
My legs are strong.
Okay, Will, well that just brings you to where everybody else is.
I am the wizard master.
What the hell?
Oh, all right. How about we just come back to you and your ability to turn balls into butterflies. That'll be really effective in the coming battle. And Kristen is like, check it out, I have a second power. She can backflip. Well, that's good, sweetie.
A perfect score. The crowd goes wild.
As long as you're happy. Also, Kincaid can almost bend a chair's leg, which, like most things involving Kincaid, actually makes Neil pretty uncomfortable.
That's very unnerving.
And then Taryn makes everybody uncomfortable by revealing that her power is that she can grow a mohawk and owns knives.
I'm beautiful. And bad.
I feel like you actually looked better before, and also you were already a pretty bad kid. But yeah, now you have a couple tiny little knives, I guess, so that's good. I still think that AK-47s are gonna work better than all this, but to be fair, I'm biased. I'm an American.
And bad.
I love Automat Kalashnikovs. 47. Oh, I almost forgot. Joey's power is he's suddenly irresistible to this adult nurse.
Look, I could get into a lot of trouble for this.
Because this is the third movie in a long-running horror franchise, and that's when you gotta start cranking up the gratuitous nudity. They did it in Saw, they did it in Final Destination, and they did it in the third Hobbit movie. They cut the fully exposed Hobbit hole and dwarf-on-dwarf intimacy scenes for time, but I know they were there. You can tell by some of the dwarves having weirdly wet beards that they never explained. They're just like sitting in the background like, woo!
Smoking a cigarette.
Oops, turns out the sexy nurse is as evil as she is topless, which is to say, quite. And she ties Joey to the bed frame with tongues and dangles him over a pit to hell. And also, is Freddy Krueger her?
What's wrong, Joey?
But it's okay because they can just wake Joey up. Oh my God, crap. Literally everybody went to sleep at the same time, even frickin' Neil. These kids are smart enough to sleep in shifts, but not even graduate nightmare student Nancy, who literally had the problem of her nat buddy Glenn never waking her up in the first movie. None of them think to have a fallback plan in case they're haunted in these dreams like they are every single time they dream. Fortunately, the other meaner doctor wakes them up, but Joey's in a
Code blue.
oh my God. Which is to say he tried to have sex with an adult nurse and it put him into a coma. The blue is for balls. I have lost way too many friends to code blues.
He's in a deep coma. There's nothing we can do for him.
Why, hell yeah! Yeah! Anyway, because of their poor planning and worse execution, Neil and Nancy are both fired, which seems fair.
Your opinion is of no interest to me.
But as Neil packs the car and looks fondly at a picture of him hanging out with two now dead children, he sees the ghost nun up in a window.
Sister! Sister?
He chases the ghost nun up to Rapunzel's tower or whatever, and the sister is like,
This is where it began.
and Neil's like, what? This rampart has been closed for like ever? And she's like, yeah, because this is where they used to keep the craziest crazies. Except one holiday weekend, a girl on staff somehow got locked in here because I guess they refused to feed the inmates over the weekend or do dummy checks to see if anybody actually forgot to grab their wallet or like an entire staff person. It's just like 15 other staff people that were also left behind on other holiday weekends that are like, wait. They're like, okay, I'm not crazy, I work here. And they're like, I'm sure you do. I'm not crazy either.
I'm not crazy.
Anyway, see you guys later.
I left my wallet.
Yeah, I left my wallet 10 years ago, let me out. Yeah, I left my wallet in here too. If you see it, can you get it for me? So she was
raped hundreds of times.
Well, that's too many times.
That's why you do dummy checks.
I got tickets to the game and I am running late.
Turns out her name was Amanda Krueger, so.
Her child, Freddy.
Also, Freddy is
the bastard son of 100 maniacs.
I mean, not literally. That's not how babies are made. I should know, I've made several. They try to make it seem like he's extra crazy because it's like the sum total of 100 crazy, but it's like, it's just the one. Yeah, I know. But also like, how do you get left? Where did she go? What were you doing in the room? If there are 100 crazy people in a room, how deep into the room are you going? Feels like you would just like throw chicken nuggets through a slot. Is the women's restroom on the other side of the room full of an insane? She's like, all right, I gotta pee. Ah! All that to say, I get what you're trying to say. Also, that's a great idea for a Mr. Beast video. Can you survive a holiday weekend with 100 maniacs?
Hundreds of times.
Anyway, the only way to destroy Freddy is to stop worshiping science and start burying Freddy's bones in hallowed ground. Nancy's like, well, there's literally only one man who knows where Freddy's bones are, and it's her no longer a cop daddy.
Hi, Daddy.
Well, besides Kristen's mom and Joey's alluded to parents, and like what, is every other kid an orphan? Or maybe their parents just kept their eyes closed when they got rid of Freddy's remains? But anyway, Daddy, like usual, is not very helpful.
I don't think this is any of your damn business.
And Neil's beeper goes off and Taryn's like, you gotta get back here. Kristen ate way too much Arby's.
She had a total attack.
So bad, in fact, that they're gonna sedate her, which means that she won't be able to wake herself up when Freddy attacks. I mean, she can pull people into her dreams with her, and also she can do killer backflips, but they're worried that won't be enough? What is Freddy gonna do? She can do backflips. And I guess they aren't forward-thinking enough to suck in Dolph Lundgren, So Nancy runs there to help while Neil goes to give Daddy the business and demand that he take him to where those damn bones are. Daddy's like, okay, fine. I've got nothing going on anyway, and I respond to male aggression. So they hop in his truck. The dude could barely stand 5 minutes ago. Then again, I am pretty sure that most pickup trucks don't start unless the driver is at least a little buzzed. Dave's truck has a breathalyzer that doesn't let him turn on the truck unless it's like a 0.5 or higher. It means I'm going home too soon before the party really got ripping.
Hey!
Neil first has them stop by a church so he can get right with God by stealing some holy water, because God loves when you do that. I mean, Neil does leave his driver's license with a priest as collateral when he's caught lifting a crucifix, because God is pretty much cool with anything as long as you leave your driver's license as collateral. Churches operate under the same rules as bowling alleys with shoes. Drunk Daddy drunk drives them to an auto salvage yard, which is convenient in the event that Drunk Daddy crashes. No tow truck necessary. That's the same reason that Dave commits most of his murders in funeral homes and Arby's kitchens. But man, it might be tough to find Krueger in all this mess. I hope literally nothing at all has changed in the past 20 years or more. Oh, apparently not. The bones are in this car right here. Sick. The two sturdy men dig a grave while the cars around them come to life and destroy their ability to leave. Then the skeleton comes to life and does what cirrhosis couldn't and throws/impales Daddy before knocking Neil out and half burying him alive. Then the bones essentially stop to celebrate on the 10-yard line and just collapse into a bone pile again. Meanwhile, Nancy arrives at the hospital with—
Where have you been? We've been going crazy.
Well, you've been crazy. This is a place for crazy people. That's like complaining about people getting naked at a strip club or raccoons at a Walmart, but I get what you're saying.
There's no time for that, come on.
Nancy's like, quick, let's do another hypnosis. And she says what I tell my kids every night as I tuck them in.
If you die in this dream, it's for real.
And then Dave usually sneaks in and says unprompted,
let's go kick the motherfucker's ass all over dreamland.
Yeah! And I find that my kids sleep best when they're terrified and confused. The whole group shows up in Kristen's cell, I guess, because her power is like a passive buff or whatever. Earlier it seemed like she had to intentionally do things to bring in Nancy, but I guess no longer? Are her sedatives like PEDs for dream skills? No time to think about that. Is getting shredded. So hard, in fact, that Kristen somehow ends up back in the intro scene, except this time her mom's head gets cut off by Freddy, but that doesn't stop her from yapping.
You're just trying to get a little attention.
Thankfully, Kristen's backflip powers are still in effect. Her tumbling skills, though, they're not great.
A perfect score. The crowd goes wild.
Taryn gets transported to an alleyway outside a bar, which is also what happens to me every time I drink too much gin. I'm like, whoa, I've teleported to this alleyway outside of this bar. Whoa.
Gin gives me powers.
I'm gonna backflip. Look at God. Check it out. I'm gonna fucking backflip. And there she uses her tiny little knives to get instantly obliterated by Freddy's updated syringe fingers full of blue Kool-Aid. Oh no! Surely the power of a mohawk should have prevented that. Then the wizard master battles an evil wheelchair, but he still manages to not be impolite when Freddy tells him to sit in the evil wheelchair.
Have a seat.
No thanks.
Then he explodes the chair because
I am the wizard master.
Although ultimately even that doesn't really work. Just like it didn't work trying to hide this wire that was holding him in the air. Oh well, sweet kid, shit-ass wizard master.
In the name of Lorik, Prince of Elves.
Nancy and Kristen end up somewhere and are like, hey, where's Kincaid?
I don't know.
Oh yeah! Oh, okay.
Cool. So where's Joey?
Yeah, where is that?
What's it?
Oh shit! An evil door appears.
It's a door.
Yes, it appears to go to hell. So they go to hell and find Joey still tied up over a pit, because that's a metaphor for what happens when you look at boobs. Still not sure what Joey's strength is, but we sure know his weakness. He starts slipping, so Nancy runs and catches him while Kristen backflips a lot. And Kincaid wails on Freddy with a pipe, which I don't think is a superpower per se, but which honestly should be everyone's immediate opening move in these movies. Like as soon as you see Freddy, just start wailing on him with a pipe. Nancy also stabs Freddy, but none of it really works because the
souls of the children give me strength.
Oh, damn, I didn't even think about that. I mean, Dave says that so much, and most often while eating Arby's, I guess the words just stopped meaning anything to me, but maybe there was some truth to it.
Well, it's clean energy.
I guess we're gonna have to stab each one of those little faces on his chest like a game of whack-a-soul. I don't know, how do you lessen the strength-giving potential of child souls? Unclear, but also poof! Now they're in a mirror hallway getting grabbed by mirror Freddy's. Let me just say again, I am surprised it took this long for the horror series about a guy that abducts you in your dreams to actually, feature weird dream sequences. Like both of the previous movies mostly featured people running around the regular ass neighborhood, give or take a boiler room here or there. It'd be like if the first Fast and Furious movies just had them obeying the speed limit the whole time.
Not anymore, bro.
I appreciate the focus on how dreams are weird as shit, and how realistically every sequence should begin with all the main characters being naked and toothless and taking a math test they didn't know they needed to study for. That's real life. If you fail the naked toothless math test in the dream, you fail the naked toothless math test for real. And then good luck finding a job at the toothless naked math factory. No! All right, Joey's still here, and he finally found his extremely annoying voice to match his extremely annoying everything else. It's so annoying that it explodes every mirror and Freddy drops everybody.
You found your dream power, man.
Dave's got the same one. He's also annoying as shit. Sorry.
Daddy?
Oh my God, right. Dead drunk daddy floats in and is like, bad news. This movie is still going. And also, I'm dead. And also, twist, I'm Freddy. Stab.
Daddy's a bad man.
But then Nancy makes him stab himself, while in the real world, the definitely not dead Neil crawls out of the grave and holy waters and crucifixes Freddy's bones, which makes him disappear in the dream, obviously. If you die in the real world, you die in the dream.
Yes, science!
Nancy's looking rough. But it's okay, because Kristen's got her.
I won't let you die. I won't let you.
Oh, dang it. She totally did, huh? Guess you can't backflip away from multiple stab wounds, huh? So now we're at Nancy's funeral. But again, what the hell do the police think happened to Nancy exactly? Or her ex-cop dad? And wait, are the other kids dead too? Like, did the cops just stumble upon what appeared to be a ritual group suicide, except for Kincaid? Like, Joey and Kristen are in different rooms, locked away, but Kincaid would presumably wake up next to 3 dead bodies? Actually, I'm sure Kincaid will explain everything in a clear and respectful way.
And it's time to stop guessing and start messing. Yo!
Twist! The ghost nun was Amanda Krueger.
You were his mother.
And also, she's been dead the whole time? Also, later that night, a light comes on in the papier-mâché house, which sadly suggests more movies or something. Probably. The end. Wes Craven, you've done it again. He was right. He was right. You add a MILF and, you know, you get a movie.
No, I don't, but I just feel a little funny.
You know, I wonder if I could use a dream power to get out of here.
Oh. Okay, great. My ass is glued to the tub.
Still dreaming, bitch.
Damn it.
You are one major league hunk.
Elm Street 4 sees Elm Street 3's Edgar Allan Poe quote and full-on raises it a Bible quote. No, not that one.
Alice, I'm so sorry. It was a mistake.
This one is from the 4th chapter of Job. Hey, like this 4th chapter, which many say is the A Nightmare on Elm Street 4, the Dream Master of the Bible. Everybody's like, you know Job? And they're like, oh, you mean A Nightmare on Elm Street 4, the Dream Master of the Bible? That book? And they're like, of course, Job, the A Nightmare on Elm Street 4, the Dream Master of the Bible. And everyone's like, I think we're all saying the same thing.
You got that right. Signed and sealed.
To top this, the next movie's gonna need to open with like the entire Cheesecake Factory menu or something. But also, ooh, the Dream Master? The Master of Dreams? Is that better or worse than a Wizard Master? Because the Wizard Master was ineffective.
I am the Wizard Master!
And the less we talk about the Wish Master, the better. Except for my video about it. Go watch that. It's, good. Here's a little girl chalk drawing the Elm Street house in front of the Elm Street house. And also here's Kristen, whose appearance and acting ability has changed dramatically in the last year.
Hi, guys.
Because fighting dream demons changes you inside and out. She's apparently been let out of the mental institution after all those people that she was connected to mysteriously died. And the higher-ups decided, well, I guess she's not dead, so she's healthy. She walks up to the girl and asks what I always ask when I accidentally walk in on Daphne and Scooby in bed together.
Where's Freddy?
Scooby.
Ruh-roh.
Plays that like bongo drum noise.
Yeah. Russ, I'm gonna rum.
I gotta go home.
Ruh-roh. The girl's like, I mean, not here, but then gasp. It looks like she drew a chalk drawing of Freddy, which is apparently scary as shit, even though Kristen just asked about Freddy. It'd be like you walking into a supermarket asking where the grapes are and then being handed a really mediocre child's drawing of grapes and then screaming in terror. This metaphor works because grapes can kill people, or at least they can kill dogs, and Scooby is a dog. You really can't argue with me.
Yeah, you got me there, dude.
But now it's raining, so Kristen goes inside to see the tricycle slamming down the stairs, but with no girl on it, which doesn't officially count as rad, therefore. Also, here's a baby doll. Because that's how horror works. Dolls, where you don't normally find dolls. Kristen gets exploded into a wet chain room with an attached furnace. All modern homes have one. And she sucks Joey and Kincaid in with her.
Oh, not again.
Yeah, I didn't want to see you two again either. Kincaid looks exactly the same, but Joey's apparently discovered free weights alongside his voice because, ooh, his arms are powerful and his voice is audible.
The pipes are cold.
Hey, whatever happened to that teardrop tattoo? I just realized we never see it again. Was it just drawn on there? Or did his victim come back to life, forcing him to obey prison rules and have the tattoo removed? Was he lying about killing a man in prison? That's some stolen, whatever the opposite of valor is. But oh, this is crazy, right?
Freddy is dead.
Or at least more dead. Like his bones are now watered and crucifixed.
It's science.
Fred Krueger's history.
So Kincaid's ass dog, who I guess also got sucked in here, bites the hell out of Kristen's arm, which works. That's why every morning I wake my kids up by unleashing wild dogs in their bedrooms while I just blast Who Let the Dogs Out. Support my Patreon so I can also unleash the needed, they need rabies shots. I'm still gonna play Who Let the Dogs Out while they get them, but
Wait a minute.
The next day, Kristen goes to pick up her unbelievably slutty friend Alice, who's dressed like an Amish porn star.
You going out dressed like that?
What's wrong with me this time?
You have boobs.
Any more ankle and we're gonna have to call the horse-drawn covered wagon that Amish people use as an ambulance. I mean, my God. It's a miracle this movie did not get an NAC-17 rating. No Amish children under 17 rating. Also, Kristen's boyfriend, Rick, jumps off the roof because stairs and doors are for the weak and also maybe just for Amish porn stars. I don't know a lot about Amish porn stars. And unfortunately, Logan didn't write a bunch of information on the side of the script to help me understand.
He's on the front lines doing the research. We gotta get him on Amish porn research.
Logan, next video you help punch up the script for. I need more Amish porn. What? That's it.
I need you working overtime.
Dad's popping ass like popcorn.
What?
Hey, speaking of sluts, look at this major league hunk.
We are talking one major league hunk.
No, wait, I want to hear the Amish girls say it.
You know, you are one major league.
Ah, shoot. That was just a horny daydream.
Earth to Alice, hey, you spacing again?
Alice has a lot going on in that dirty mind and also probably under that slutty burlap sack. Let me tell you. Ooh, what's under there?
It's definitely gonna be a vagina. Why?
Rick, please.
Probably some big old potato titties. I'm about to harvest. Ooh, let me tell that.
This doesn't sound Amish. It sounds more like medieval potato surf or something.
That's what Amish are. Their hot friend Debbie asks their nerdy friend Sheila for help with some homework because why else would you be friends with a frickin' nerd? In exchange, Debbie will emotionally eviscerate this mean dude for her.
I bet you're the only male in this school suffering from penis envy.
That's right. All us girls are also suffering from penis envy because we're just so envious of big fat hogs. But so are you envious of big fat hogs as you transition into full female maturity.
That don't mean dick.
Actually, that's exactly what it means, Kincaid. And hey, how did all these kids all get released from the mental institution? Oh yeah, I guess once the bad dreams stopped and all the really crazy kids were dead, then I guess Ronald Reagan just agreed to let them go back to school. Seems safe.
Those guys are kinda spooky.
But also kinda sexy?
No, weird.
You got that right. Signed and sealed.
Later that night, Rick goes full weeb.
Oh my God.
Settle down.
Oh.
He also tries to weeb Alice to limited success.
Die!
Meanwhile, downstairs, Daddy goes full woodland critter.
What the hell am I, a rabbit?
He's upset because he's late to dinner thanks to those
Damn contracts.
Ah, damn those contracts. They're enough to drive a daddy to alcoholism.
I know.
Quick, check to see if Rick has any soju. Elsewhere, Kincaid throws darts from a baseball glove because God, he is such a jock. It's like, yeah, that's sports, right? I don't know. I'm the writer of A Nightmare on Elm Street 4, Dream Master. I don't know a lot about sports.
But this should cover all the bases.
Most of sports. So to speak. Eventually, he falls asleep with his ass dog and finds himself in the Freddy salvage yard, which is crazy because
This ain't my dreamland.
it's also clearly not mine because he isn't nude and has all his teeth and is not taking a math test. I'm not going to ask Dave about his dreamscapes because I don't want to get demonetized. But also, it's very interesting that Kincaid apparently knows his dreamland so well that he can tell when he's in the wrong dreamland. I never dream about junkyards. That's impossible in my dreamland.
I once dreamt I was in like endless fields of pepperoni pizza.
Elysium?
You were so Italian, it's like disgusting. I'm home! I've arrived! That's basically the end of Gladiator. He's like running his hand through like cheese sticks. But conversely, the ass dog is unfazed. It digs up Freddy's bones, pisses literal fire that literally cracks the earth open, and then he just scampers away. Which kind of feels symbolic for the exec that keeps greenlighting these movies. He just like destroys the earth, lets Freddy back out, and he's like, you figure it out. Anyway, Freddy fully congeals and rises from the ground.
You shouldn't have buried me.
And then Kincaid kills him with a car and is extremely pleased with himself. But it's short-lived.
One down, two to go.
One of those other two to go, naturally, is Joey, who despite everything he went through in the last movie is still really into tits. Don't let the anti-tit bastards grind you down, Joey. He's so still into tits that he somehow managed to purchase a waterbed that came with a naked woman sewn up inside.
Mike's mattresses!
Wait. Which I imagine is a lot of fun, but only for like 2 minutes before she drowns in there, you know? Then it's not as much fun to have a naked, dead, decomposing woman. I know Dave pays extra for those used water beds with the naked women in them.
So one time I would call for the manufacturer warranty. It's like, so
she drowned real fast.
How's this for a wet dream?
Not that bad, honestly. But then Freddy sucks Joey in, and I think Joey's mom is about to win a landmark amount of money from the mattress company. Aren't waterbeds, like, not supposed to do that? Or maybe they do. Is that why nobody has waterbeds anymore? Because kids in the included naked women kept drowning in them? Either way, this scene really feels like pro-hammock propaganda. The other of the two to go has a U2 poster. And I guess for once, she's actually the correct age to like U2. But even so, it's quite the jump scare in a series that so far has basically 0 jump scares. It's a jump scare like when their album invaded phones harder than Freddy invades dreams. Also, Kristen drinks soda like Trump drinks the tears of pretty much everybody except a couple dozen already rich dudes. And honestly, I'm not really sure that Freddy really needs to do anything. I mean, it looks like diabetes is gonna get Kristen soon enough. The next day at school, health-conscious Kristen smokes a ciggy and tries her best to talk like a normal kid who wasn't trapped in a mental institution for the last few years, watching all her friends be murdered by the ghost of a child murderer, but
We have matching luggage again.
it didn't work.
God, I hate dreaming.
I love to dream.
Oh, okay.
Did you ever hear of the Dream Master?
You say that as casually as if you're talking about Santa Claus. But of course, I have not heard of the fucking Dream Master, you lunatic. Oh, your mom told you about him? No wonder she's dead. She probably had a brain parasite.
Sounds like a game show host to me.
Anyway, they walk to class and Kristen notices that Joey and Kincaid aren't there, and like the family dog, whenever it doesn't see you for 5 minutes, she decides they're dead.
Kincaid, Joey. No.
Rick calms her down by CTEing her into a wall. But like, damn girl, they could have just been later, like, I don't know, kissing each other in the boys' room. Wait until you know a little more. Good grief. Oh! Ah! Nurse nightmare. Hey, look, Alice works at the Crave-In. You know, like Wes Craven? we have fun, we have fun.
Oh, hi, handsome. Care for some buns?
Oh boy, the dialogue in this movie is crackling. Also, it doesn't even seem worth mentioning, but Hot Boy Dan comes in and wants to talk to Rick about something.
Hey, Rick! Come here.
And we never learn what that something is, and there's nothing to suggest that Rick and Dan are friends before the events of this movie, really, so I just want to know what they were talking about. Do you think Dan is a weeb too?
I don't get it.
It's called hentai, and it's art.
Yeah, but alas, that dream is as dead as Kincaid and Joey.
Kincaid and Joey died last night.
I know that was my point.
What?
Well, whatever they talked about apparently convinced Dan to accompany Kristen, Alice, and Rick to the old Elm Street house to gawk and be like, damn, that looks like a haunted house.
It's not just a house. It's his home.
Who are you? Not 3 Days Grace?
This house not a
Was that line written by Grandma's needlepoint? And let's be honest, Freddy hasn't really been putting his heart into the upkeep of this place, so it really is more of a house than a home.
Jeez, what did I miss?
But whatever, I get that you're scared, and your Mexican mommy, who apparently sewed her head back on, also maybe by Grandma's needlepoint, she won't stop yelling.
Ándale!
Tijuana!
Ándale! Ándale!
Tijuana! Tijuana?
So we're all just gonna leave now.
I don't get it.
Well, it's not gonna get any easier, bub. Kristen heads home and is instantly drugged to sleep by her completely evil mother.
Oh, God.
Literally, Kristen's greatest fear in her entire life is being forced to fall asleep against her will, and particularly with the use of sedatives that won't allow her to wake up if her dreams get too murdery. She's so afraid of this that she literally tried to kill herself and others multiple times. I don't know if you remember this, she was also committed to a mental institution where like half the other kids and one of her caretakers also killed themselves.
We went over this in therapy!
And now the only two people to survive that incident with her both just died last freaking night. And I'm pretty sure you went with her to all of their funerals. Well, except for the Walkers, because nobody mourned his stupid ass death.
Why is that?
But still, I cannot imagine a shittier thing for a parent to do or a worse time for them to do it.
In case you haven't been keeping score, it's his f***ing banquet, and I'm the last course.
Those metaphors are mixed to hell, unless she's talking about competitive eating. Actually, if the guy who wrote this dialogue is a parent, then that's shittier. Someone call CPS and WGA.
Look, Kristen, I'm sorry. I'm just sorry.
But yeah, even though Kristen tries to,
Dream someplace fun.
and appears in a bikini on a beach, the fun dream is ruined by the presence of some snot-nosed kid.
Hi.
Oh, and also Freddy Krueger shoves her into quicksand into the Elm Street house, where Krueger throws her in a fire. So that's not good, unless she plans to come back as a slightly sexier Krueger-esque dream killer. But no, I guess we don't get anything good.
Son of a bitch!
Even worse, in Kristen's anxiousness, she accidentally calls wet-ass Alice into her dream. Teach me that trick, please. I'm just saying, if I could make wet-ass Amish ladies appear in my dream, I want to know how to do it.
I mean, I'm almost there, but it's usually wet-ass Amish, like men.
It's halfway there. Sorry, Jethro, I was so close to getting your nubile daughter, who's never known the world. All right, before Kristen dies, she transfers her particular dream power to Alice. And Alice wakes up and is like, I wonder if Kristen's okay, but...
You're on fire.
Oh my God, yeah.
Freddy's whole thing is his connection to the Elm Street murder kids, right? So if Kristen just didn't do any of that dream yanking and transfer with Alice, her death would have closed the loop, and with it, Freddy's reign of terror and my having to watch it.
Freddy can't get to the new kids unless there's someone to bring them to him.
Nice job, dipshit.
You'll need my power!
No thanks.
But all of that is still not worse than, again, writing this movie's dialogue.
We have matching luggage.
Oh my God, why are you so proud of that stupid ass joke? Also, Sheila complains that she's feeling
dead on my feet,
which is quite the thing to say following the recent literal deaths of 3 of her friends. That's only slightly better than walking up to a New York City firefighter on September 12th and being like, man, I feel like the Twin Towers just fell on me or something. Oh boy, I feel like I got hit by a Boeing.
Who, girl? I am
Osama bin
Anyway, Sheila built a bomb, apparently, and she claims it only kills bugs with sonic noises, and she made it for Debbie, who hates bugs, but I know a bomb when I see one. Dave and I have been friends since we were 14. Alice then lights up a ciggy, but wait.
I don't smoke.
And you just noticed that now? Where did you get the ciggy and lighter from, Alice? Wait, I don't even eat pizza, I say as I shove the 95th slice into my mouth and sell my car to a man in an alley so I can afford to buy even more pizza.
Good luck and go for it.
Anyway, apparently Kristen's main dream power was smoking ciggies, so she dumped a nicotine habit in addition to all the Freddy bullshit on Alice. I'm actually starting to see why your mom drugged you. Oh, nice. Finally, somebody's having a math nightmare. I do wish she was naked and had no teeth. Sheila is then attacked by a robot arm that has, I can tell, nothing to do with anything, unless it's her secret fear that industrialization is destroying the middle class and pushing us ever closer towards a corporate dystopia. Or like, do robot arms dream of electric child murderers?
Cells.
I don't know. But then Freddy pops up to be like,
Wanna suck the face?
No.
and then he sucks her so hard she dies. Wow, that math test must have been really hard. You ever taken a math test and then you got entirely deflated by the end of it and were dead?
I have every time.
That's why it took you so long to graduate college.
That's right, dude.
Alice is super sad because this is probably her fault, and Rick goes to console her with what can only be described as the opposite of a Tom Cruise run. I guess it's now several days later because Dan's like,
Where you been? I haven't seen you around lately.
even though yes, he did, as far as we know. How am I supposed to know if time has passed unless we get time-lapse footage of a city or landscape? At least give me pages falling off a calendar. I would also accept a tiny Wes Craven jumping out from the bottom of the screen to yell out, 3 days have passed! But anyway, to answer Dan's question,
I can't sleep. Someone might die.
Fred is using me to suck in new kids because all the OG Elm kids are dead. Oh, well, I can see you're going through some stuff. See you around. Let me know if you need your car oil changed or something, because anything else I'm pretty much useless. Later in dream class, Alice falls asleep again, and it's like, babe, unless they have a ghost child murderer self-defense elective in PE, this is quite possibly the most relevant class you've ever taken in your life.
The skilled dreamers, well, they're able to control what they see.
The teacher's saying something about how Aristotle believed there were 2 dream gates, like a positive gate where you presumably dream about fields of pizza and naked women in your waterbed, and also a negative gate where you dream about fields of Arby's sandwiches and the unicorns have like big floppy dicks. Also, there's a dream master who can maybe control these gates somehow, but that's all we get because, hey, let's go to your dreamland so we can watch your brother take a shit with a bunch of cheerleaders. But wait, poof, now Shitty Rick's in a dojo battling his depression. Oh, and he loses. That's yet another metaphor for Reagan's war on mental health. Anyway, rip, bro. You would have loved the era of mall katanas, tsunami, and gas station sushi that's about to come up. Alice then wakes up and explodes the classroom. I think in real life, but I guess everybody just feels too awkward to ever mention it after this moment. I don't know, but at Rick's funeral, we're finally shown just how important he was to so many people's lives. And what a good guy he ultimately was.
Hello, baby.
Ah, Jesus Christ, somebody nailed down the lid. Bury him deeper. Hit him with a shovel.
Well, gotta go.
Debbie, Dan, and Alice plan to meet up later that night to come up with a plan to defeat Freddy because
I don't spend hours working out to let some night stalker beat me.
my God, Debbie, we get it. You work out. You are so terrible at slipping that into conversation casually. I don't do power squats twice a day to not order a blueberry muffin and also a latte, Mr. Cashier. What are you, also vegan, and have you visited India? Trick question. You'd have told us by now. I don't lift weights every day so that I can be defeated by a dream pervert. What does that sentence have to do? You're just telling us that you work out again. So you're saying you do work out to fight dream perverts.
It'll take more than bench presses to beat him.
Whatever motivates you, I guess. Oh!
You don't really get it.
Alice goes home, and apparently she's internalized Rick's nunchuck skills and also his sneaking out of the house skills.
What's happening to me?
And she utilizes those skills to go to a movie theater and purchase some concessions and watch a movie, I guess. I don't know if that's another one of Rick's skills. Except, oh no, she's sucked into the movie, which just so happens to be showing a post-apocalyptic CRAVEN'S scene, and inside there is an old-ass sassy version of her.
I don't want to be here.
And also a burned-ass sassy version of Freddy.
If food don't kill you, the service will.
Yeah, haha.
I love soul food.
Oh my God, we get it. You're so clever. They're human meatballs. Scary.
Your shift is over.
I think that transforming Freddy from a scary child predator to a stand-up child predator is the most insufferable aspect of these movies. Like, we already have enough of those at literally any open mic or improv show. Like, what if we made the pervert into a comedian? It's like, we have that.
You're saying that you know me, old friends around?
My favorite.
Alice runs to meet Dan so they can go save Debbie before she works out so hard and gets so sweaty that she's never able to talk about anything else ever again.
I'm driving.
Dan, you're not allowed to drive. I know it's your car, but you suck ass at driving. No, really.
I'm I'm driving.
Did I not make this clear, Dan?
I'm driving.
Oops, looks like we're stuck in a nightmare loop.
Oh, at least I didn't.
No, not that kind.
You know, I get the weirdest feeling we've done this before.
Wait, what was I saying?
I'm driving.
Oh yeah, I'm the best driver here. Oh, whoops. Sorry about your truck, Dan. Also, sorry, Debbie. I guess you're gonna get your swole arm snapped off and your whole body turned into a bug, and then you're gonna get squished. It's because we both fell asleep. Again, I'm so sorry that we did that. Except, wait, don't they have to be asleep to get sucked in? Meaning that Debbie fell asleep while weightlifting, and Dan and Alice both at the same time fell asleep in the car, and that's why she ran into a tree? Also, wait, does this mean that Alice is super good at weightlifting and sweating and penis envy jokes now? Like, what other skills will she get from Debbie? Giant hair?
All right.
Well, no time to think about that, I guess, because Dan's being admitted into surgery because of Alice's amazing driving skills, and they're gassing him to sleep, so Alice, thinking quickly, steals her dad's car, rushes home, and completely changes her outfit. Just lots of different accessories. Yes, I know that Dan's about to be face to face with Freddy and utterly defenseless, but Alice isn't about to go into the dream world looking like some Amish porn star. She's gonna Frankenstein her dead friend's ability into one greased up, ass-kicking horror final girl. Now that is what I expect from the future star of the reality show MILF Manor. Aww. Then Alice literally flying kicks into Dan's dream because it's the 1980s. It doesn't matter what they're doing. It's like every McDonald's commercial is like, ka-chow! Flying kicks through the drive-thru or whatever. And then they're in a spinning tunnel, and then they fall through some stained glass into an abandoned church, and then Dan disappears because he's waking up and or he's considering traveling to the past to have sex with his young hot mommy, which would wipe out his existence, along with having to hear this dialogue forever.
Welcome to Wonderland, Alice.
Oh, no, he's doing the waking up part.
You gotta put me back under. You gotta put me back under now.
Alice flips and kicks and punches Freddy, but he seems to mostly kind of like it. And after all,
I've been guarding my gate for a long time, bitch.
I don't know what that means or how it's relevant in this exact moment, but it wouldn't be the first time a shitty dude in a fedora was super into gatekeeping. But then Alice whips out the bug soundwave bomb from Sheila, and she plugs it into an electrical wire and electrocutes Freddy, which seems like something that Aristotle may not have anticipated. Aristotle's like, there's two dream gates and there's dream masters, and the best way to win a fight between them is to get a bug bomb and zap the other one. Aristotle, what are you talking about?
What are you talking about, Aristotle?
He's like, trust me, this will be relevant someday.
I'm trying to chisel this into a tablet.
Aristotle believed that...
But of course, despite Aristotle's best efforts, this still doesn't kill Freddy.
I am
John C. But then Alice remembers her mom's Dream Master rhyme, which is apparently, now I lay me down to sleep. The master of dreams my soul I'll keep. In the reflection of my mind's eye, evil will see itself and it shall die. So that is what Alice's now dead mom used to tell her to help her fall asleep? Misremembered Metallica lyrics? Like, what's a 5-year-old supposed to do with that exactly except their pants and rack thousands of dollars up in therapist bills? Honey, okay, we're about to go to sleep. Let's say our usual prayer about the Dream Master fighting evil. Like,
stealing your soul.
And stealing your soul. I don't know, but Alice interprets it to mean that Freddy will die if he sees himself in the mirror. So she shows him a mirror. We then zoom through his body, I guess, and see a bunch of seemingly nude children in there, which, like, do I need a lawyer? Dave's already calling one of his just to be safe, which is pretty smart.
That one on retainer.
He lives in the spare bedroom next to the FBI agent. They have a bunk bed. Then a bunch of kids start busting out of Freddy, and yet there are some very clear boobies. And I will absolutely be seeking representation after this and suing Wes Craven for entrapment. Not my fault. I got the Dave cut of this video. Regardless, all the naked child souls giggle off to heaven. And hopefully they'll get some clothes or like at least some robes. So, I mean, wow. Alice is like such a master of dreams right now. I guess that's why she walks through the good gate into a date with Dan. But didn't he have a girlfriend the first time he came into the diner? What happened to her?
Danny, we're gonna be late for the drive-in. Oh my God. I forgot.
Also, is that a Freddy reflection in the wishing pool? Is he still alive despite being fully emptied of nude child bodies? Really need a lawyer. Dave, can I borrow yours? Is your guy cool? Oh, by the way, Alice was the little girl that Kristen kept seeing in her dreams at the house and beach and stuff. It was like a younger version of Alice, and apparently didn't have much power other than occasionally mentioning that Freddy was around. So I don't know, you just know that.
I have a friend named Alice.
And also, aside from Kristen, which didn't work anyway, Alice never dream guarded anyone else? Man, I don't know, who gives a shit? Dream over!
Sorry, Alice. Your shit's over.
You know what? I'm pretty sure I've watched enough of these now that I'm probably a dream master, so maybe I'll just...
Shit.
Time to die, you scar-faced lint dick!
It feels like we're going backwards, right? Like from a full team of dream warriors to a single dream master, now to a damned dream child? At this rate, the next movie is gonna be the dream egg. The dream glint in the milkman's eye while your dad's off at work.
Well, I happen to know that milk helps build strong bones.
Whatever, we gotta make that child, right? So here's some dark blue humping and rubbing over the opening credits, and the shots are so up close and low lit, I'm just gonna have to take their word for it that they're putting the correct parts in the correct holes. And in the morning, Alice hops in the shower. And is she blonder? Did she acquire Kristen's hair color alongside her nicotine habit?
We have matching
hair. I don't know, but poop bubbles out of the drain and the water just starts blasting until she's sprayed into a liminal space where she becomes a nun trapped in between exposition and how many maniacs is this?
Make me lose the count.
I bet it's 100.
It's 100.
So that is how Amanda was left behind? What the hell was she doing down there in the first place? Did she feel obligated to hug everybody individually before she left work each day? And is that really how they accounted for missing employees? Just like if they accidentally count 101 maniacs, they're all like, oops, I bet one of those maniacs dressed like a nun isn't a maniac, but rather an employee? No! I'm just gonna say it, this was a poorly run asylum. Reagan was right to shut it down.
Reagan smash.
Alice wakes up again, and hey, she's still dating Dan Raw Dogger Jordan. Wonder how he got that nickname. So let's blow. Naughty, naughty. It's graduation day. Alice and Dan have found an entirely new weeb-free friend group. Since the last friend group is entirely murdered, and they better appreciate this, because after school, it's impossible to find new friends so easily. Why do you think I still hang out with Dave? This new group includes Greta, the hottie, who wants to put a lollipop into her body.
That's not what a cover girl puts in her body.
If I had to guess, I would say cocaine.
And also there's Mark, who puts as many lollipops into his body as he wants, which is actually where the phrase sweet ass comes from.
Mark, give it up. It's hopeless.
No, I think I'm starting to wear it down.
And then there's Yvonne, who dives a lot. Like into pools, but also maybe during fixed female boxing matches? Unclear. Anyway, they're gonna go hang out later and hopefully not talk about working out.
I work out.
I'm just saying, if you get new friends, you know, hopefully you can curate for the things that you hated about your old friends, like how they were weebs and how they worked out a lot. Alice wanders through the crowd looking for her dad and almost shits her gown when Dan says, hey.
Hey, beauty.
And I get that your dream about the poopy shower was weird, Alice, but it's the middle of the day.
You're right.
You're in a crowded field and this is your boyfriend? Calm down, maniac.
Sorry.
Dan's like, hey, I wanted to tell you and the audience that I've purchased tickets for the two of us to fly to our final destination in Paris, where we'll live for the entire summer, because apparently I, Dan Raw Dogger Jordan, am a billionaire.
You know, he's a good friend of mine. He's a good guy.
Don't worry.
I can't talk much about it now, though, because there's a college football coach here, and as you know from the numerous football scenes that we all remember from the last film, I'm a very talented quarterback who
feels the need for speed.
Not necessarily the primary thing that you look for in a quarterback usually, but I guess it'd be weird to say he had a need for accuracy and good decision making.
So I've heard.
Oh, hey, there's Alice's dad, who is no longer an alcoholic and probably no longer fun.
I watch from behind the stands.
And everybody decides to take one last happy, fun graduation photo, including the college football coach. What the hell are you doing in this photo, you freaking weirdo? You never saw Nick Saban pulling that shit. Urban Meyer? Yeah, probably.
You start doing things you're really not built to do.
We're basically going to be like family, so we might as well get this out of the way.
Daddy, chill.
Alice walks through a park and sees some creepy singing, jump roping kids and decides to chase them which is a terrible idea. You know what movie you're in, girl. The second you hear kids singing and doing playground you run in the opposite direction and start chugging energy drinks and speed pills like a cross-country trucker. I don't even live in the Nightmareverse, and I personally run from all kids that are not mine. Worst case scenario, ghost. Best case, they're real kids. Hello. And even then, those are like walking germ factories. Every time I see a kid on the playground, I'm like, that might be a ghost. And even if it's not, it probably has the flu.
I'm feeling much better now.
But Alice goes whole hog and even chases a creepy white nun, which is an even worse idea, especially since she's led to, I guess, the asylum from the third movie, but it's looking way more evil. I guess at some point the owners were like, hey guys, I think the building could use a makeover. It doesn't really look evil enough. Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about. Like, why do we have haunted-ass strollers rolling around everywhere? None of this is good for business. We're already gonna have trouble unloading a place where a nun was gang raped and a bunch of kids killed themselves. We don't need to add bad vibes to the list of our usual issues. Alice probably agrees, but whoops, now she's on a gurney and then she's not, and she watches Amanda poop out the ugliest baby of all time because apparently the dude was born burned. Like when the parents set him on fire however many years ago, they were just being redundant? Man, talk about one hot vagina. Is that what we were talking about? I don't know. I feel like this is needlessly retconning the first movie where it was a bunch of suburban parents who got together, spent 2 weeks comparing work and babysitting schedules, and finally agreed on the perfect date to get together and then burn their local child murderer to death.
So much to do and so little time.
But even with his entirely burned and shitty looking body, Freddy's also the most physically gifted baby of all time. I mean, talk about a need for speed. Between this and the wingspan, I bet this kid is going to excel at varsity sports. But until then, they're back in the church, gates, give or take, and things explode per usual. Until Freddy is fully back or whatever. It's a boy! So basically he's back because he was dreamed back? Like what if Alice dreamed that Freddy had no teeth or that he was naked during a math test? I want to know the rules, okay? Because Alice is like, what the hell? I locked you out. And he's like, yeah, well, I found the key, which was 100%, again, totally a thing that Aristotle or Socrates or whoever talked about in that class you slept in. And then Amanda Krueger shows up for a second to be like, you gotta release me from my earthly prison. Find me in the tower.
You're horrible! Look for me in the tower!
And yeah, I guess that's all the setup we need to justify having another one of these shit-ass movies. It must have been so much easier to write horror sequels when nobody needed it to be elevated in any meaningful sense. It's just like, hey, so our villain died in the last movie because something dreams and mirrors and new children's souls. How are we gonna bring him back? Why don't we just have him magically dream reborn as a up squid rat and crawl into a sweater? My God, Jeff, you've done it again. Movie magic, Jeff. You're killing it out there.
This idea is too good. I can't take this anymore.
We'll see, bitch.
Anyway, now Alice is in the diner where she works. Alice. Which is worse than being in a diner where you don't work at, because when you're working, you can't eat pie. That was an observation I made.
Wow.
Whoa.
Powerful anecdote.
Yeah. I remember when I would work at the diner, I'd be like, can I eat pie? And they're like, no, not until you're done working.
Spent the rest of your shift just looking at the pie.
I'm gonna tear you up like 100 maniacs on one forgotten nun.
She is messed up, man. Shut up. Just shut up. It was terrible.
She's friggin' 4 hours late to work because she was having the worst public park nap ever.
I thought you were dead.
And also maybe giving birth to the Antichrist. That part wasn't totally clear, but her coworker doesn't want to hear about it.
Thanks a lot, Alice.
Rudy's elbow got dipped in the deep fryer and he still made his shift the next day.
It's the poor carpenter that blames his shoddy tools for the— Ow!
But really, it is amazing how casually Alice tries to explain to every random person in her life how she's being chased by a serial killer in her dreams. Like, that's gonna work.
Have you ever had a dream that you could—
I wish I had a prescription for whatever it is you're on.
Believe me, Dave is always trying to skip work by telling me that he was stabbed in his dreams, but I don't want to hear about it, Dave.
Sorry.
She literally shows up 4 hours late to work, and it's like, well, okay, I was birthing the Antichrist. And they're like, I don't give a shit.
Do you have a doctor's note? My car got a flat tire.
And then it birthed the Antichrist. But it is crazy because it's like, presumably she fell asleep in the public park and nobody thought to like wake her up. It's just a girl like passed out for freaking 4 hours. She's screaming, I'm birthing the Antichrist. Let's just let her have it. blast. Whatever, Alice's friends are openly drinking beer at the school pool or a public pool.
Have another one, I think you need it.
That's not only illegal but dangerous, as evidenced by this dude slicing the shit out of his hand on some glass.
Open the champagne, let's have a party!
No, Mark, you drunk idiot. That's for Dan and Alice to illegally celebrate their impending trip to Paris.
I will have whatever he is having.
Anyway, I'm gonna go hang out with her. I fell asleep seconds after starting my car. My dude, I think you might have narcolepsy. Where's that speed you're always in need of?
Almost every moment is a disturbing, losing battle with the urge to sleep. There he goes.
Dan's radio gets mean.
Ungrateful, unmanageable.
And then he has to deal with way too many seatbelts.
Bring out the gimp.
And then he crashes. But actually it's fine, so he steals some random motorcycle, which of course comes to life and transforms him into a mediocre Immortan Joe knockoff. Mediocre. And then Alice sees Dan crash and die, but like in her mind. But also he did literally slam into a semi-truck right outside where she works, and she runs out there to, well, faint. Excellent job. Hey, speaking of jobs, you didn't even clock out. This counts as your break. When Alice wakes up, she's immediately like, this is Freddy Krueger's fault. But Dan fell asleep while driving, right? You don't need to be haunted to crash a car if you're actively asleep. But he had a long ass nightmare. He was asleep for like 12 miles of the road. Furthermore, the doctor is like, yeah, we also found champagne in the car. And Alice is like,
Dan didn't drink.
okay, technically he hadn't necessarily drank anything that night, but he did purchase champagne to drink eventually, right? Was this seriously about to be Dan Raw Dogger Jordan's first drink ever?
Can you imagine if I had? What a mess I'd be.
Did he get the tickets to Paris just so he could legally do that, like to drink in Paris? So safe with the drinking, so careless with the sex. Because yeah.
You're just a little pregnant.
I have a son?
I wonder if he fell asleep during that too. Alice is asked to stay in the hospital overnight, so a weird little kid named Jacob shows up.
Hello.
And then he leaves. And oh, this weird kid you don't follow? No character consistency.
Jacob, wait, don't go.
Get your fat ass back here.
The next day, Alice's now sober dad has bought carrots to help with Alice's pregnancy. I mean, that's really all you need. Are you pregnant? Carrots. Dead baby daddy? Carrots. Out of carrots? Get some more carrots. Then Alice catches her friends and the audience up on the series backstory, but weirdly opens the door for Freddy to have killed an additional 10 children.
Who murdered 20 or 30 kids.
There's a range? Did a couple of the kids switch schools and accidentally get added to the death count? Did they single count a pair of twins? Surely they know exactly how many kids died, or at least within a margin of error less than frickin' 50%?
That's bullshit.
Her friends don't really believe her, and I don't blame them. Lack of specific details can make even the most reasonable sounding story of a child murdering dream demon pervert sound weird and made up.
Listen to me.
Come on, you crazy.
We've had 4 movies in a row where it was definitely 20, but now there may have been 10 more.
Maybe whatever office like counts dead children is like underfunded or whatever, so it's like we just gotta.
Like, I don't know, it was like 20 to 30.
It's 100.
Later, Greta cries in her room alongside her 100 Maniac dolls. 99 Maniac dolls.
On the wall.
And then she attends a dinner party where the guests can't help but state the obvious.
Jet fuel.
Greta certainly has the perfect body for modeling.
But Greta somehow falls asleep literally mid-indignant rant and is forced to eat lots of horrible French food.
Bon appetit, bitch.
Don't mind if I do.
You think Freddy was saving that line for Dan and Alice's trip and didn't want to waste the bit? He was like, suck on my Eiffel Tower, but it didn't work anymore. You couldn't really apply that anywhere else.
Yeah.
Double entendre is French for big tits, isn't it?
Unrelatedly, Alice's fridge is clearly broken. Probably doesn't help that Greta's in there. Oh wait, never mind, the fridge is fine. Greta is still dead though, but still, that's a relief about the fridge. Those fixes can be super expensive, and that's before you add the spoiled food cost. Turns out Mark was secretly in love with Greta, and he processes his grief by shredding just the saddest gnar.
I'm an asshole, okay?
That was the closest that Americans came to therapy in the late 80s. He's like, oh, I'm so sad. 180 Ollie.
That's rad and sad as hell, dude.
Alice needs Mark to stay awake, and she's like, well, I don't have any meth pills, so...
Why don't I make some coffee?
But clearly there's something in the damn Springwood water, because in the time it takes her to make a pot, Mark completely passes out and gets sucked into a sketch he drew of the Elm Street house.
No!
Alice, thinking unbelievably quickly, shits out a shitty little drawing of herself so that she can also go into the Elm house and save Mark from getting sucked into a floor hole, rather than, you know, just waking him up. But this only works for about 3 seconds. Then Jacob shows up again.
Oh, hello.
And yeah, it's pretty clear that he's Alice's unborn child. He is going to be hell to birth. My God, that baby is huge. And even worse, he's so articulate. He's going to be saying all kinds of unhelpful shit while Alice tries to focus. There's a reason babies can't give updates on their progress usually.
Nobody thinks that.
This is a tight fit. Anyway, Mark apparently woke up completely fine, even though he did get sucked through that floor. So great. Alice gets an ultrasound to try to answer the question,
Do unborn babies dream?
You're not even close to baseline.
and apparently the answer is yes. And I'm honestly not sure what she's hoping to see on the ultrasound. An ugly face, a tiny knife glove, a Cosby sweater onesie.
There's a special secret club.
Well, she does somehow get electrocuted into the ultrasound, which I guess actually means into her own womb, to see Freddy feeding souls to Jacob, which is not as good for babies as carrots.
He's taking their souls, their spirits.
But of course, that means that she fell asleep mid-ultrasound. And like, where are the meth pills when you need them? I know they're around. Kristen had millions. Alice realizes that Freddy is actually using Jacob to suck people into his little dreams, which is how Freddy was able to return. But actually, that's great because Mark has a plan.
No baby. No baby's dreams.
Oh boy, this is really turning into a Hitler as a baby scenario. But also, do we think that hypnosil still exists? Like, could Alice pop a few of those to buy them all some time and get some sleep? Feels like we found a great way to stave off Freddy 2 movies ago, and then just like artistic integrity, we just stopped using it? I don't know. Alice is gonna keep the baby, obviously, but yeah, hey, now Freddy is a 20 to 30 children child molester?
Special secret club.
Nobody ever said anything about that, but also, even if that's true, it's not quite as bad as murder, right? Like, if you're only gonna use one word to describe what he did, I think murder is the more accurate word. Oh, also Dan's parents want Alice's baby because the doctor thinks she's crazy, which, I mean, that's fair. And, I mean, it's their grandchild, you know, because of the raw dogging. And in the unlikely event that they don't believe in dream demons who kill non-specific numbers of kids, you know, Alice does sound like an unfit mother if they don't believe in that.
Whoa.
Alice is like, well, if I'm not gonna go all baby Hitler on Jacob, then we need to figure out what to do. But have you thought about going to the damn tower to look for Amanda's body? Like she told you to at the very beginning of this movie? Between that and the hypnosil, you have the widest variety of options in these movies so far. But no, she's just got classic mommy brain. So instead, she and Mark do some research and learn that Amanda back in the day was believed to have hanged herself, but it could never be proven because they couldn't find the body.
Meaning?
Meaning, they couldn't prove it.
I just said that.
Now, I'm no coroner, but why would you assume that somebody you've never found hanged themselves instead of ran away or drowned or just like met Dave in an alley or something?
Sorry.
Hung bodies tend to be found.
Wink.
I mean, without a body, the only thing limiting you is your imagination. Hanged herself is the lazy man's option. Personally, I say that Amanda probably
slipped through a subway grate and is having terrible sex with a mole man.
This is getting a little sick, guys.
Too bad.
I assumed she smashed herself into a TV.
But also, if she did kill herself, then according to this very much non-canonical Christian mythology book, her soul is in torment and trapped in an earthly resting place. But also, I think they say that Freddy hid her body somehow, which just adds to the 21 to 31 crimes they couldn't pin on him. So I guess we still need to free her from that and from there. So Alice crawls into Mark's little loft bed and is like, watch me as I sleep. And he's like, don't worry about it. I'm gonna chug a lot of local tap water to stay awake. Oh no, is there something wrong with the tap water?
You're drinking Colombian decaf coffee crystals.
Alice wanders through the mental institution and bumps into Yvonne, who was doing some sad hot tubbing and evidently fell asleep in the hot tub, which you are definitely not supposed to do. Even without Freddy, all these kids are gonna be dead before they graduated college anyway. They're falling asleep while driving, they're falling asleep in the hot tub.
This is my favorite way to end every day.
But how?
Oh, just looking at the box relaxes me.
Jigsaw and Chucky worked for that shit. All these kills need an asterisk next to them.
Where are you going, piglet?
What? Are you talking to Alice?
Oh, bother.
Alice saves Yvonne, and they realize Freddy was scared of an area in the tower area because Amanda was near that area, which is weird because they're in the tower. Wait, do you think that Amanda might be in the tower like she said she was?
Look for me in the tower.
You kids Quit slamming my damn door!
We may need to follow up on this discovery. Alice needs all these random NPCs to keep repeating it over and over, like when you're too slow to solve a puzzle in a game.
You married? I don't recommend it.
But of course, before they can do anything about the tower, Mark obviously fell asleep and obviously got sucked into a comic book where Freddy's skateboarding around and just generally making a mess, which were the worst things that an adult scriptwriter during the 80s could imagine a person doing outside killing an unspecified number of children.
I say potato, and you say...
Raped by lunatics.
They're like, this guy's evil. He skateboards? He makes messes?
Freddy Krueger, the ne'er-do-well.
Yeah. Freddy also smashes a Greta doll, which I guess becomes the origin for Mark to become Pistol Noir or some shit.
Time to die, you scar-faced lint dick!
That catchphrase doesn't really match the aesthetic, but I see that you're vibing. Except turns out that he's not a match for...
Super Freddy!
Oh my god. Is his kryptonite good movies? Mark gets transformed into paper and shredded, which seems way less painful than being shredded in 3 dimensions and while wearing skin. Look, I've seen my dog eat a napkin. At no point did I feel like the napkin was feeling more pain than I would be if the dog ate my whole ass foot. But I guess the end result is the same.
Told ya! Comic books was bad for ya!
Holy shit, this really was written by conservative parents from the 80s. And I guess even if Freddy hadn't killed him, he'd have died from reading too many comic books. Oh, Mark is such a tragic, doomed character. Alice tells Yvonne to go look for a corpse in the old asylum in real life, while Alice looks for the corpse in the dream world. You know, a temporal pincer movement. Freddy won't know what hit him, or when. And it's crazy how the asylum has been so fully abandoned within, what, like 2 years? I guess everybody kept dying, so maybe they closed up shop, and that's how Kristen, Joey, and Kincaid got out. They were just like, okay, I don't think we know what we're doing here. Let's just shut it down and give all the patients a mulligan. Anyway, while Yvonne wanders around looking for a dead body, Alice runs interference by slamming Freddy with evil strollers and letting his 100 dads tear him apart. And then Alice tries, but kind of fails, to step on some spiders. Oh, so close, Alice. But then Jacob shows up, and it becomes a whole MC Escher chase thing until Alice is like, where the hell is Freddy now?
Inside you, where he hides.
Oh, of course. She tries to literally pull him out for a bit until Yvonne finds and I guess frees Amanda's very dead body. And then Amanda shows up in the dream world and is like,
only you can help her now.
Prevent forest fires.
That's right, Jacob. Specifically, the power to puke stuff at Freddy that makes the 3 souls of the people he's killed in this movie that are inside his body climb out and rip out the baby version of him, which Amanda can then stuff back inside her own womb. That answer was so simple. It was staring us in the face all along. And you just know Freddy is like, shit. I wish I hadn't taught Jacob that power. In hindsight, that was one I should have kept to myself.
What the fuck?
Even watching the movie makes no sense. But then Alice sucks Jacob back into her womb and poof.
His name's Gary, and we don't need any more lawsuits, okay?
In real life, they're all hanging out with the baby in the park, except also there are weird kids and a weird laugh.
Get him. Want me to get him? Well, I got him.
Never mind, the second part was just the beginning of a sick-ass rap by one Cool Mo D.
Daddy, I don't want none.
Wait, what just happened?
We gotta do video games to stay relevant, bitch.
This is so stupid.
Now I'm playing with power.
Hey, did you know that Nietzsche thought sleep was scary? Did you know that the director of this movie apparently thought that the best and funniest Freddy Krueger quote was, "It's prime time, bitch," from the 3rd movie?
Fuck the prime time, bitch.
Did you know that the capital of Brazil was Brasilia?
Not real.
Yep.
If not, then watch out, because the hook killer guy from I Still Know What You Did Last Summer might use that knowledge against you. Watch my video to protect yourself. But back to the Freddy quote. I'll admit almost everything he says is stupid as shit.
It's Super Freddy!
Kill me!
But why that quote specifically. It doesn't relate to the Nietzsche quote, and it's not particularly funny on its own, and prime time applies to TV hours, not a movie you're watching. It's baffling. But at least Freddy is apparently dead. I mean, he's died 5 other times, but this is the final nightmare. Apparently, it wasn't. Don't check how many minutes are left in this video. Inexplicably, an Oregon Trail cutscene reveals that in 10 years, all the kids in Springwood are dead, and all the adults are crazy. Well, except for one kid who is not dead. Unfortunately. And also, I guess he's not an adult. So I guess this movie is claiming the events that we're about to watch are set 10 years into the future. That adds basically nothing to the movie other than I spent the whole time watching hoping that a hoverboard would hit me in the face and kill me instantly. Also, did it really take Freddy 10 years to kill every single kid in a small town? That's not very impressive at all. Give Dave a hammer and let him loose in a random Midwestern town and he'll kill like half the children population there overnight. Give him 10 years and he'll do most of the East Coast. That's why I don't let you have hammers anymore. I turn around and there's like a mountain of child corpses. Like, oh, again? You get very clowny when you're... Sorry. Anyway, here's, I guess, that kid 10 years into the future, and he's wigging out on a definite Boeing. Oh, please get explode! He's freaking out because he's terrified of heights and he's too stupid to stop looking out the window.
I really need to change this seat.
Just pull down the shade, you idiot.
Don't be a pussy.
But then the woman next to him gets sucked up and he gets sucked down. And like me, when I realize I have one more movie to watch when doing these videos, says, "It's not fair! I was almost out!" But he's referring to be out of Springwood, presumably. We'll talk about this more in a minute. He wakes up in a bed that's giving Major Dorothy. I'll get you, my pussy! Finally, a Wicked but for boys. What a cool way to introduce a classic character in what the crew would assume was his last movie. It's just too bad they had to cut the original plan of having Freddy pop out of the ground, carrot in hand, and yell, "What's up, dog?" Apparently it was just too cerebral for audiences willing to watch the goddamn 6th Nightmare on Elm Street movie. The point being that this is the last movie, as far as they know, and they introduce this iconic villain dressed up as a witch on a broom flying outside the window. You proud of that?
This is where we're at.
We're gonna go out with a bang, baby! Woo! Anyway, the house hits the ground, but the kid's fine, other than I guess he may have popped something in his ear because his sense of balance seems way off. Eventually, he gets a ticket for a bus because...
You don't want to miss the bus. That makes sense.
But actually, the bus, driven by Freddy, because Freddy's love for driving buses is the only consistent thing in this horribly inconsistent series, slams him through the force field that is evidently surrounding Springwood and leaving a boy-sized hole that's quickly sewn up by, I don't know, the hands of fate.
Gotta pay the troll toll to get into this boy's hole.
You know, I think there are certain situations where an act of imagination is actually a bad thing. They're like, Freddy is the witch from Wizard of Oz. There's a force field and you can get smacked through it by a bus. Whoa!
Whatever. Yeah. Green light.
Now be a good little doggy.
But Freddy's all like, haha, this was exactly my plan, so go get me the person or thing that I want you to get.
Go fetch.
But the kid hit his head on a rock, which I actually am not sure if that is helping or hurting Freddy's plan. I don't know if that's what he intended. I know he's like magical and evil, but like, can he accurately hit a child with a bus such that he hits his head on a rock and has amnesia?
That was intentional, you're saying, like, yeah.
It feels like it has to be because it's like important to the plot, I think, that the kid doesn't know what's going on.
I mean, it's like those movies where it's like, I'm gonna clock this guy with a pistol, but not enough to kill him.
Yeah, except it's a bus into a rock. The person he's trying to get works at a youth shelter. So like he needs this kid to go to that youth shelter and bring her back to Springwood, which is such an implausible series of things that would happen. I don't know if it's actually better if he hit his head or not. I don't know, man. This movie sucks ass.
I want to make sure that you understand our situation.
Sucks! And okay, here's the deal. The point has been made in almost every movie that leaving Springwood won't solve the there's a pervert murderer trying to kill you in your dreams problem, in the same way that it doesn't matter how far you drive away from Arby's. If you've already eaten 3 beef and cheddars, you're still going to shit your pants at some point. You can't outrun Freddy's dream beefs or their roast beefs. Welcome to Arby's. Well, except for now, apparently, there's a whole ass force field holding Freddy back, and after 10 years of murdering every single child in town, he's looking for like new opportunities, I guess? How many kids died there?
20 or 30 kids.
Yeah, we're gonna need to add more zeros on that. And why didn't the town eventually get shut down or something? Like, it's a population that was at one time over 15,000. You'd think after the 2,000th dead kid, somebody would be like, hey, maybe there's something wrong with this town. Maybe we should all move somewhere else? It's not like business would be booming in the town where thousands of children mysteriously die in their sleep. I'm sure even that would have killed the Pajama Tycoon's empire for sure. Whatever, the unnamed boy here eventually wakes from his rock nap, and though he has no memory of who he is, he finds in his pocket meth pills, some cash.
Gotta hate when I wake up with meth pills and money.
Yeah.
Everything the body needs.
And a newspaper clipping of a missing woman named Freddy Krueger, who also apparently has a husband in seclusion they couldn't interview. Oh boy, I wonder who that will turn out to be.
His name is John!
John Doe here wanders into town and is caught pulling a burrito out of his crotch by some cops.
Screw that shit.
Thank God they caught him before he could get a good grip on the quesadilla stuffed up in his butthole. He's taken to a local youth shelter, presumably specializing in kids with extreme Mexican food fetishes. Like Spencer here, who is obviously into taco mainlining. Right now, he's just playing the shit out of a video game while his dad berates him for not having a twin-turbo V6 engine.
He isn't a Toyota.
Oh my God, you're right, sorry. I'm thinking of my other son who won J.D. Power and Associates Best in Class 3 years in a row.
He is a Toyota.
J.D. Power Hammer.
Interestingly, it appears this dad actually just dropped his son off at this youth shelter to, I guess, scare him straight, but still intends to pick him up next week.
Next time, I'll leave you here and walk away.
I'll blame it on you!
Surely that's not legal, and I wouldn't be allowed to do it to Dave, right? Like, can you do that? You'd be like, son, you've been really bad this week. I'm just gonna drop you off at a youth shelter and then pick you up later. I think you go to jail if you do.
Yeah, I know. I think that they might have questions.
I put you in here because you give me no choice.
Spencer's like, I don't want to be like my dad.
I don't feel like playing football and date raping co-eds.
What was that last part?
Okay, well, that's a good goal. But wait, you do feel like becoming a domestic terrorist?
What I found in Spencer's
Butthole. A pipe bomb, huh?
Well, I was just showing the kids some
Butthole.
There has to be a third option. Cannibalism?
You ain't getting none.
Ah, yes. Here's a punchy girl named Tracy and a legally deaf boy named Carlos, neither of whom will have sex with Spencer. Because again, he's not a Toyota, and they both love Toyotas.
Yeah, no problem.
All of these kids are being seen by therapist Maggie, who is currently hanging out in Doc's insanely decorated office to solicit his advice.
ancient dream demons.
Oh, right. You're insane. I forgot. But Doc's like, no, hear me out. I could fix all these kids if they just let me with their dreams. And side note, these dream demons will find the most evilest human ever, you know, like minions, and make that evil person invincible and able to kill people in their dreams, which is less like minions.
You know, I can reach these kids through their
Butthole.
Do you still think I'm insane?
I don't know!
Look, there's dream demons and they're coming for you and they're gonna infiltrate your butthole. How did you get hired here? Honestly, not a lot of job applicants. Hey, you're hired. Maggie chats with John, as in Doe, but he's suffering from amnesia and late-stage assholism.
Yeah, well, that's the wonder of amnesia.
I don't know, not remembering anything about these movies seems more like a blessing than a curse, my dude. He's like, look, I don't know anything except that I need some coke.
I meant the soda.
I know that. If you wanted drugs, you would have said meth, because obviously you're trying to not sleep, much to everybody's chagrin.
Shut the f*** up!
And yet he does fall asleep eventually and instantly gets fluid dripped on his face because somebody bled on the ceiling again. Then he sleep follows some little girl around the shelter, including magically up some invisible stairs because we have just completely given up on trying to respect the physical limits between the real and dream worlds. Eventually, he runs smack dab into, I think it's sexuality?
I'm your f***ing memory!
Okay, but also his memories would include all the truckers he serviced for more meth. So in a way, his memory is also his sexuality. I feel like I'm in the right here.
I won't tell.
Then he wakes up and uses his ass to blast a guard out the window.
Using my sexuality.
Pretty fun. Turns out Maggie's been having the same little girl ass-blasting dreams as John, and because she graduated from the Shutter Island School of Psychotherapy, she immediately agrees to bring him back to Springwood to see if it jogs his memory, even though this is their second ever session, because this entire franchise is a house of cards reliant on everyone from doctors to nuns being terrible at their jobs. That said, most psychotherapists get into this line of work for work-comped trips to their patients' places of trauma. Like, what you really want is someone who was viciously assaulted in Paris or Rome. That's what we call a golden ticket.
Yeah, vacation, tax write-off, and paycheck all in one.
Oh my
Holy
God.
shit, dude.
Every time I see a new student or a new patient, I'm always like, have you been assaulted anywhere with a Taco Bell?
Your trauma happened over here, right? By this gelato stand?
You said your memory's foggy, but I'm getting a real sense that it was like the really pretty part of Iceland. But she assumes Springwood is where John's maybe from because of the newspaper clipping in his pants. It's only one step removed from like seeing Made in China on the back of your pants and be like, I think this kid's from China.
Right, yeah.
Like, you can have newspaper clippings from anywhere.
This kid is Chinese.
Oh my God. Konnichiwa.
I never said that I wanted to go back there.
Although, counterpoint, as far as anybody knows, every single child from Springwood is dead. Or has that just not hit the mainstream news? The thousands of dead children? InfoWars wasn't even around to label them false flags, so people should have been taking it seriously? Or did people just blame it on video games and call it a day?
I'm so sick of hearing about this bullshit.
Well, Doom is out, so I guess 2,000 dead children is probably Doom's fault. That game's crazy. Alrighty then, let's hop in the van. Oh, not Spencer. How many times do I have to tell you he's not a Toyota? You can't ride him around. God, these kids today. But while driving, John's sleep grabs the wheel. God! And in the resultant controlled spin, Carlos, Spencer, and Tracy spill it out of the back and are like, shit.
What the hell are you guys doing here?
We were going to escape. Somehow. And Maggie is like, I am so upset, but we're not gonna head back to the shelter because gas is like $1.14 a gallon, which is just scandalous for this time period. And we've already come all this way. Also, nobody gives a shit about you kids anyway, am I right? But when we get to town, I want you to call the shelter and let them know what you did. And also, I want you three to take the van back to the shelter, but you have to pinky swear not to just steal it and run away like you were literally planning to do originally.
Get in that van and drive straight back to the shelter.
A quick question, Maggie. How will you and John get back? Was Maggie planning for John to give her a piggyback ride to the shelter?
Think you can handle that?
Again, why would you trust these three kids who are actively running away to responsibly drive a vehicle back to where they were escaping from? Maggie, Shutter Island didn't work. You can't just let people do whatever the hell they want and hope it magically cures them. All that happens is that you discover some horrible secret about your own past. But I'm sure that won't happen this time.
I like the idea of curing somebody with theater.
Yeah, with a performance. We gotta do a talent show to save the town and also cure everyone's mental illnesses. Even still, the first part of Maggie's brilliant plan is foiled when the phones don't work at the shitty town fair. I'm surprised there was even a phone around to be non-functional in the first place. Like maybe stop at a gas station or any of the numerous payphones that exist in 1991. Or I don't know, maybe drive the kids back your damn self like a responsible adult doctor or van owner. But then again, this fella seems to be living his best life. So while we're here, why don't we just watch all these insane people wander around?
We're in Twin Peaks here.
You wish.
Would you like to come and live with us?
No, thanks.
But this doesn't stop Maggie from enacting phase 2 of her number 2 of a plan, and the three kids just take the van and leave. But actually that doesn't work either, because the town is apparently a big ass circle. And when Carlos tries to look at the map, it gets all Jesus feeding the 5,000. It becomes infinitely more and more map. Now, Carlos was actually just having a weird dream.
What?
But even when he wakes up, he refuses to let anybody look at the map because I guess it was hard to read in his dream. But Carlos, you're awake now, idiot. Just because my teeth fall out in a nightmare doesn't mean I just assume I don't need to brush anymore when I wake up. The map should now be regular sized, but even if it's not, why don't you check it? Did you draw your erotic Mexican food dreams on the map? Dude, don't be ashamed of that. Everyone is at the shelter for the same reason. They're probably into it.
Beautiful.
But no, they're like, shit, we're never escaping this town because the map is too big and too sexy, maybe? So instead, they just break into a house and spend the night there.
We'll have it all to ourselves.
I feel like there are a few steps missing between thinking that a map is big and breaking and entering. But, oh boy, I wonder what house that will turn out to be. Yeah. Jesus, Tracy kicked the door so hard it bleeds.
Sad thing is, I'm starting to like her.
But actually, the house isn't just a house. It's the Elm Street house. It was just disguised as not that house. That's such a crazy move because the kids literally don't know a single thing about that house. What a ruse. It's like wearing a fake mustache to a blind date. Ha ha! I bet you think I'm not a person you don't know that I am. Reveal, I don't have a mustache. It's like, I don't know what you look like anyway. What difference does that make? Also, the kids aren't that worried about how absolutely disgusting it is inside.
I gotta find a bathroom.
And nothing can stop sleepy Carlos from getting his ears absolutely plugged with bed bugs.
Oh, this is good.
He dreams about his mama.
Mama?
His mean mama.
Mama!
His mean Freddy mama. Who cleans his ears like crazy. But then Freddy cuts Carlos's ear off, which sort of negates the ear cleaning. And then he throws Carlos through a wall and mocks his hearing loss. Oh, Freddy, you're a jerk. And also an idiot, because not being able to hear your shitty jokes is actually the greatest gift you could have given Carlos. Kill me! Now, I actually think this is a pretty interesting setup for Freddy to torment this kid. I mean, it's already like the basic premise of much better horror movies like Hush or, you know, like with the daughter in A Quiet Place. Except rather than preying on Carlos's inability to hear, Freddy instead makes his hearing aid like a crab or something that amplifies noises. You know, because crabs famously have amazing hearing. And this allows Freddy to explode Carlos's head with chalkboard scratches. He could have hit him and the audience with a million jump scares because we can't hear anything. Or yeah, just drop literal pins and shit because deaf people hate pins. Famous for it. At least Freddy didn't make Carlos listen to him rapping.
So my advice to you is to...
And because if your head explodes in the dream, you just apparently disappear in real life. Why would that be the case? Tracy is like, I'm sure Carlos is gone. He's left the house.
I gotta take the van, I'm gonna look for him.
And Spencer's like, you do that and I'll smoke pot and watch a broken TV that plays a bunch of psychedelic stuff at me. Because is there even a difference between marijuana and psychoactive drugs anyway? I always say tomato to lysergic acid diethylamide.
Let's trip out.
It's like the same word, but pronounced differently. Spencer ends up in the TV, but not like the lady from, I think the third movie, was it? And also in a video game played by Freddy, where he controls Spencer's abusive dad.
Dad?
Be like me.
But then Spencer eats an apple and becomes
Super Spencer!
And this series has gotten so freaking stupid. Like, forget the final nightmare. The franchise is on its final brain cell.
Now I'm playing with power.
And remember, this is Freddy's big send-off. As far as everyone knows, there will be no more Nightmare on Elm Street movies after this one. This is Freddy's swan song, promoting the Nintendo Power Glove. At this point, I actually would have preferred if they'd sent Freddy to space somehow.
Great graphics.
Kill me!
Oh my God, what are the other two doing?
Murdering and f***ing.
Anybody know what I'm getting at?
Apparently, they're checking out the local school on foot because she gave away her van to the delinquents.
Don't disturb it.
Whoa, John, chill the hell out. You don't want to disturb this clearly insane man.
Welcome to Freddy 101.
He's teaching us a history lesson. Let him cook.
1493, Freddy sailed across the sea.
Where does it say that?
This guy says that apparently sometime after the nuclear bombs failed to detonate over Nagasaki and Hiroshima, I guess, Freddy's child was put in an orphanage because gasp!
Freddy had a kid.
A double gasp! John is like, that is definitely me. I have literally no idea who or what a Freddy is since I have amnesia and he wasn't in my 2 post-Springwood dreams, but I bet that's my dad. This random guy that's been brought up by this random insane man in this abandoned school, he's my dad. Wait, what did you say my dad did for work? He works at Nintendo? Wow, that's so cool. Even if that's not true, it doesn't matter. I'm sure it's something amazing. Let's go check out the orphanage. I'm sure they'll remember me there.
Do you remember me?
Well, of course I do. Hot dog!
And indeed, at the orphanage, they find a child's drawing signed K. Krueger. Because smart children never put their full first name in case perverts find their drawing, but they do put their full last name. My kids and I do anti-pervert drawing drills every day. Doubly so if we know Dave is coming later. I always catch Dave looking through my kids' drawings trying to find their real names. He's not gonna get them. And they've all been putting their last name as Lundgren so that perverts will think that Dolph Lundgren is their dad. What kid has ever signed their name J. Breeding? And John's like, I bet that's me. After all, my real name could start with a K. You don't know.
Could mean anything from Kevin to Kyle.
God, it could even mean Kyrie or Kelvin or God of War. It could even mean Kratos, maybe even Klansman. Hey, I mean, you already think that one of your parents is a child serial killer. Maybe the other parent was racist. Maybe they were both racist. You don't know. The possibilities are literally endless.
No. It's me.
Those are two
Those are two names that start with K.
Yeah, you are correct. So I think we can consider this case closed. But then Tracy picks them up and drives them back to the Elm house, which I don't think she notices is a completely different house from the one that she originally entered. Like, the house is back to being Elm house, which that shouldn't matter to Tracy, but shouldn't it matter that it's different than the house that she went in? If I drove into a Taco Bell and then I left and I went back to the Taco Bell and it was a McDonald's, I'd be confused, right? Like, shouldn't she do a double take and be like, oh, sorry, I'm at the wrong house. This town is confusing and the map is just so damn big and sexy. It's almost as if the house being able to change shape was a completely unnecessary waste of everyone's time, much like this whole movie. Weird. But no, she doesn't bat an eye. So they run in and Spencer, in real life, gets hucked through a wall.
I found Spencer!
I mean, the real life of the movie. It wasn't like Spencer didn't come into my life. Thankfully. And what happens next is so embarrassing, I don't even think I can comment on it.
He's getting trashed.
Look, people make dumb shit. I make dumb shit. But what I don't get is how people pay $10 million or so to make dumb shit, and then other people spend around $35 million to watch that dumb shit. Please sign up for my Patreon so I can spend $10 million making even dumber and shit.
I'm Poop Man.
Oh, wake him up.
I believe that together we can do it. Maybe we'll get Dave stuck in one of those AI-generated games where a convicted criminal pretends to destroy deep state agencies by shooting lasers out of Elon Musk's ass. Yes, I actually got into an argument with Martin Scarelli on Twitter. Oh my God, wait. Is real life even stupider and somehow just as obsessed with doing dumb shit in space as horror movie sequels? Oh my God, they even use the X thing. John decides
I'll go into his dream. I'll try and bring him out before he gets killed.
A thing he has no reason to assume is possible or would work, because why would he? He's like, we gotta jump in this guy's dream, and it'd be like, pause. The hell are you, what? What do you mean you gotta jump into this guy's dream? He's like, well, he's bouncing around like a video game character. Thus, he's dreaming, I should jump in. And it's like, I'm hearing all the things you're saying, but I'm not sure any of it logically follows with the real world.
Well, what do you call that? Rational?
So he tells Tracy,
You're gonna have to lay me out.
and she beats him unconscious with a pipe. Because after spending a few days with him, she can't pass up that opportunity. And then she just goes to sleep the normal way.
Concentration, meditation,
Masturbation!
And just like that, they're both in the dream world with all the possibilities inherent within.
This place is incredible.
Is it? It's like a warehouse. The dream world! How did she even get there? How do you decide to hop into somebody's dreams? It used to be that people had powers to suck you in, but now you can just be like, oh, I'm in his dream, oh my God.
Gotta believe.
Wow. Freddy throws Spencer down the stairs into hell. So Tracy kicks him in the elm.
Shut the up.
Maggie wakes Tracy up and they grab the laid out John and make their retreat, but John's still dreaming. And he wakes up in the house from the intro. It gets blasted into space. There it is!
Not again.
They made it to space! Then he wakes up again and the house is on fire.
I hate this house.
He dives out the window and is like 100 miles in the air and he pulls the parachute, but Freddy's in the parachute and John's like, oh great, it's my daddy. Except, oops, turns out Freddy had a daughter and also a spike strip. So John dies before the end, and you know what that means?
It's traveling time.
What? Why would you even say it like that? Is that a turn of phrase? Who are you, James Harden? Who are you talking to again? What are you saying? I don't know. But Freddy enters his daughter because Ohio, am I right? And they drive through the metaphysical force field or whatever to kill people in other towns because
every town has an Elm Street.
No way that's true, but I suppose the deal was Freddy couldn't leave Springwood except by using his daughter as a vessel. Feels a little constricting considering he's been granted power by immortal dream demons, but I guess we all have our limits. Maggie tells her boss what happened, sort of.
What the hell are you talking about?
Sure seems like she pretends the kids that died merely ran away. But either way, Tracy assures her
It wasn't your fault.
Except literally it 100% is Maggie's fault. Why would it not be her fault? She took the kids. I don't understand. She's the one that brought John there and then didn't try to leave after discovering 3 other kids, one of whom was only supposed to be there for a week and has a dad who will have a lot of questions. Nor did she choose to leave at any other point despite the town being clearly dangerous and full of lunatics. But actually, it's fine. Because
no one remembers John or Carlos.
They got erased somehow. But that means now they can be the ones to come up with all the amazing things the erased did, like in that movie where everybody forgot about the Beatles. So, did Spencer invent maybe the concept of pipe bombs? This works a lot better when it's like the Beatles who disappear instead of freaking Spencer, who's not even a Toyota. But wait, actually, Doc does remember because
I can control my dreams.
No, of course. That's how you would remember somebody if they were erased from existence by a dream pervert. I don't know how to think about that. Doc then employs the unorthodox counseling technique of throwing his arm around his hot young client and hanging out with her alone at night while she gets sweaty.
Honest work, just reward.
This man is either very dedicated to his clients or else we're about to get some like dueling dream perverts. Oh, by the way, Maggie was definitely adopted.
I knew it, I knew it, I knew it.
And her real name is Catherine, which, oh my God. I never even thought about the possibility of a girl having a K name. Is that even legal in Ohio? Normally, girl names only start with A. Like, go ahead, try naming one girl name that doesn't start with an A. You can't. It's funny the movie never considered just using a more gender-neutral name like Kyle or Kelly or Kratos. I mean, neither John nor Maggie knew their real names. We can't write out the first name because it would give away the gender of the child. There are definitely names you could pick that start with, I mean, there's no reason it has to be a K either. Pick any name in existence that could go maybe either way and be slightly confusing. They're like, no, the simpler thing is to make it Catherine, but then for some reason this dumbass kid refuses to spell their entire name on their drawing. Hell, we never learned John's real name, except on the special edition director's cut version, where the credits identify him as Maggie? Oh, shit. What a twist. I'm kidding. But it would be funny if it was like, his real name was Maggie, and her real name was Catherine, and Catherine's real name was Maggie. So
what the f is happening again?
What is going on?
Your real name was Dr. Jordan Breeding.
Whatever. Maggie's mom apparently found Freddy's murder basement and was like,
I won't tell.
But I don't think Freddy believed her. Seems like there's not a lot of trust or good communication in their marriage. This movie is ultimately about the breakdown of trust in modern American families. One spouse is always lying about not telling the cops about your murder dungeon, and the other has a murder dungeon. And we didn't used to be this way. We used to be a country, damn it. We were either both okay with the murder dungeon or we both agreed not to tell the cops about the murder dungeon. But not anymore. It's this uppity feminists. Keep telling the cops about my murder dungeons. Anyway, let's do a real quick fun detour into a Tracy nightmare where it's clear she was sexually abused by her father.
Come on. Give Daddy some honey.
Oh, bother.
Until she beat him to death with a household appliance and sent him to the Bed Bath and Great Beyond. The Great Bed Bath and Beyond. However you want to phrase that. I'm sure that won't feel out of place in a movie where one of the main characters bounced around like Mario on crack. I wonder if some of the other people in Springwood are also Holocaust survivors? It's really tough to be like, this guy got killed because he was bling, 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 playing around a video game. That's so silly. Also, I was sexually abused by my dad until I killed him with a teapot.
I haven't had my coffee yet this morning.
Back to meth for a second. There are a lot of anti-crack posters in this youth shelter, which makes me feel like this movie was paid for by Big Meth. Like I have to assume that Big Meth views Big Crack as a competitor. Nothing worse than when you order a meth and the dealer asks if crack is okay. It's like, no! Where were we? Oh, Tracy's sexually abusive murder dad hilariously transforms into Freddy.
What's with kids today, huh?
So Tracy burns herself awake.
That's very funny.
What a wacky set piece. Now we know why the movie opened with a Nietzsche quote, because God is dead and this movie killed him.
Oh, you better speak up.
Kill me! Doc's in the basement and he thinks he hears Tracy from inside a locker, but nope, it's just old cartwheeling Freddy.
How about this, Doc?
And actually, he can't die because of
The dream people.
Great.
The ones that gave me this job.
also woke. Oh, shit. Actually, he was just dream experimenting. And he pulls a sliver of Freddy's sweater out of the dream, which has to smell like absolute shit. And he's like, this proves we can all pull all of Freddy out and then kill him for real in the real world. It's interesting that this is only the second movie to use this method after it being the entire climax of the first movie. Now, granted, it's not really clear if it worked the first time, but also, who cares? Maybe I just need some dream therapy and or to be beaten with a bat.
And die.
Right.
The plan now is to send Maggie in to grab Freddy armed with 3D glasses.
In the dream, they can be anything you want.
Like cheese.
All right, but couldn't she bring in a baseball bat or a pipe bomb or a good guy with hand knives? Oh wait, that would just be Wolverine. Well, actually, none of that is what she needs because she uses the 3D glasses, which instantly disappear, to maybe enter Freddy's literal brain? I don't understand how, really. But also, not to judge, but it looks like absolute shit in here. That's not what your brain is supposed to look like, Freddy. It looks like your brain is on crack. Anyway, Maggie Catherine throws a bracelet to kill some purple electricity because anything can be anything, and she opens a door to a classroom and oh my God!
I'm in his memories.
Specifically his memories of openly hammering a hamster to death in the middle of class.
And that's why he failed drama class.
Which probably should have gotten him committed right then and there, killing the series and its evil stroller, or at the very least get later investigators on his trail a bit earlier, say after like the 4th kid murder instead of the 20th through 30th-ish. But no, if you're hammering hamsters to death in the middle of class.
And it's not biology class.
Where that makes sense. All right, class, today everybody has a hamster and a hammer, and we're gonna learn. Wow, I don't know. I just want to see what you guys do.
Figure something out. If you write it down in science.
Let's go! Oh, that's actually a pretty sophisticated bully chant there, 5th graders. Good work. Apparently as a teen, Freddy got into self-harm. No, not by watching these movies. And then he also got into being beaten by his stepdaddy.
2 for 1.
Thank you, sir.
And then, after he murdered 20 to 30 children, the townspeople threw a Molotov cocktail in his house, which is a small lore tweak just to shit in my face a bit more. And then Freddy was visited by dream demons.
Open up.
Oh, we're about to make you extra evil. And like, okay, I think Freddy sucks in the same way that I think all child and hamster murderers suck. But is he really the worst guy ever? Is he even the worst guy in Ohio? Again, Dave can clear 20 to 30 kids in a long weekend. He prefers to murder over President's Day weekend. I don't know why. Also, since when were the Dream Demons around? Look, I don't want it to happen, but why didn't they offer Dream Demon powers to like Hitler or Stalin? Or again, Dave. Freddy also reveals he killed the mom and told Maggie not to say anything, but surprise, she did. And like, how the hell did she forget all this? And why did they change her legal name from Catherine Krueger to Maggie Burroughs? Why not just change her last name? Why change both? I don't know. There he is.
You're real here.
No, he isn't. At least in the sense that he can still climb on the ceiling and take an unbelievable amount of damage from his League of Shadows trained daughter. Maggie grabs some knives and ninja stars from the arsenal of weapons confiscated from the mentally ill weeb children who live here and throws them with, honestly, unbelievable accuracy. Rick would have been proud. I'm actually not sure which counseling concentration focuses on ninja star throwing, but I personally believe that more therapists should also be world-class ninjas. Or maybe it's just that when Freddy entered his daughter, she got the powers of some of the souls that he sucked in earlier. Maybe Freddy killed a ninja? Oh, not Rick, a real one. Show us that movie.
Sub-Zero win.
Whatever. Maggie grabs her dad's glove and Freddy gets fingered with it. Oh yeah, Daddy! While Freud's corpse just explodes inside its coffin. Then Maggie shoves a pipe bomb in his stomach, resulting in an explosion so terrible looking, I have to assume they totally forgot to add it in until the day before it hit theaters and they just slapped something together in Microsoft Paint.
Happy Father's Day.
Oh, weird. That's the other weekend that Dave loves murdering during. I think he's still looking for a good theme, you know? I mean, Arbor Day is pretty wide open. Dave, you could do stuff with trees? Maybe?
Good for the environment.
Get planted, bitch.
Well, no, you'd use the bodies as fertilizer for the trees.
And you dress them up like trees?
Oh,
Anyway, Freddy explodes and the shit-ass CG demons inside him fly out and laugh because that's how you know something's scary, if it laughs. How else would I know if it's scary? That's why Freddy laughs constantly. Oh, also the 3D glasses reappear and...
Freddy's dead.
Yep, credits. Let's look back at all the best, and I'm using that word in the loosest way possible, kills from this series. Including a bunch of bullshit from this movie.
Feels good, doesn't it?
That is it. Ah!
You should explain what's Craven's a New Nightmare.
I don't really want to. I feel like I've already done enough, like I did the first 6 movies.
Do it or I'll split your toes.
What? Dave, you shit.
Every kid knows who Freddy is. He's like Santa Claus.
Okay, imagine with me for a second, like what if a Nightmare on Elm Street, it never happened? I mean, the movies still happened, which damn it, and I still had to watch them, which damn it but that's all they were, just movies.
Ooh, gotcha.
Because I guess we were supposed to assume they were documentaries or found footage horror.
Oh, that happened to me once. Sucked.
I don't know, and that seems to create a lot of other questions, but hold on to those thoughts because now we open on somebody building knife gloves, robot knife gloves, uppity robot knife gloves, and a dude gets his hand cut off, but it's fine. He's an actor or an arm model or something, and we're on the set of a movie. Oh my God, they're screaming us, aren't they? They're doing like a Scream 3, I think. Watch my previous video to be sure. Anyway, I hope the main actress doesn't get any cryptic stalker phone calls. Otherwise, the guy behind Scream, like whoever that was, he's gonna be so mad at Wes Craven. And hey, Nancy is here. Except she's not Nancy. She's the actor who played Nancy, Heather Langenkamp. And she's married to her real life husband, a special effects dude named Chase Porter. Although he is played by an actor because Heather Langenkamp was never married to a dude named Chase, thank God. And they're joined by their son, Dylan.
Dylan, you son of a bitch.
Yeah. Who is also technically played by an actor, and she never had a son named Dylan. So other than that, it's just like real life.
It's only make-believe.
Which part?
Anyway, presumably these two kick-ass parents brought Dylan to set in the hopes that he'll become so traumatized they can later profit off his life story as a real-life serial killer. And hey, they're off to a good start. The dad gets his hand cut Chuck by the robot knife glove, even though it's switched off, presumably because of Chuck, who is, you know, the Dave of this movie. And what the Chuck? It comes fully to life and kills a whole bunch of people. So yeah, I think we can go ahead and take out some loans against this inevitable documentary about their weird ass son. It's gonna be a banger. Except crap, that was just a dream. A real life dream, though, starring actors playing real people who don't exist. And so in the movie version of real life, we're gonna have to bank on Sweet Dylan being traumatized to murder by this boring ass earthquake. It helps that they've had
5 earthquakes in 3 weeks.
But I've never heard of an earthquake-themed serial killer. That's a very tight window to work in, and it's very difficult to anticipate. Still, that could just be an untapped niche. Oh, I got it. He could just do as many victims as the Richter scale. Wait, no. How would you do a 0.7 of a murder? Maybe we should just yell at him some to try and lock in the bad vibes.
Dylan, This is breakfast, not arts and crafts.
You son of a bitch.
Perfect. Anyway, turns out Heather has a stalker in this and real life, like real life, and she also has an interview to celebrate A Nightmare on Elm Street's 10th anniversary. Also, her husband has a special effects job on a soap commercial. Presumably his job is going to be to make the suds like impossibly sudsy.
I think I can survive 2 days in Palm Springs, supplying soap bubbles for a detergent commercial, don't you?
You know, I'd like to say yes, but
it's funny to think that you'd have to hire like a special effects guy to do soap. It's like made out of glue and asbestos or something.
Yeah, you gotta use it. It looks the best.
But I guess let's test your mettle with a little physical altercation. Okay, yeah, he's ready. Took a Heather Langenkamp whacker to the old butthole, and he's still hanging in there.
Still going.
That's actually how they check if U.S. soldiers are ready for deployment. At least according to this porno that Dave just told me about in between takes. They're like, you ready for war, soldier? And he's like, I don't know, am I? And they have to spank him a lot. I was like, I don't know if this is true.
God bless our troops.
48 hours. I'll be back in no time.
And then maybe we can talk about making that love.
Downstairs, Dylan watches the original movie, and that little better not be starting a Patreon or I'm gonna sue. When Heather turns the movie off, Dylan reacts like I did when Dave turned the movie on.
Sorry.
Sick
Oh, hey, babysitter Julie. Oh, the stalker calls again, and an earthquake happens again. And are the two connected? Can the stalker cause earthquakes, or is he only dangerous during earthquakes? Either way, I'd hate to think that Dylan has to find another serial killer theme for himself. There are just so few left. Then the limo driver calls.
Leave us alone, you son of a bitch!
Oops, that was rude. Even though, yeah, the limo driver's a little bit of a weirdo.
that's what I love about this job. I get to meet the stars.
I'm hardly a star.
Can I offer you a nice egg?
He also isn't very timely.
We gotta go.
Okay, we're coming.
So Heather's getting interviewed, and the interviewer really wants to make a point about violence in horror movies and kids.
I mean, would you let him see one of your movies?
My son? No.
And I think he's talking about her 1984 drama Nickel Mountain, which was very spicy.
What do you mean?
But it's hard to tell because he's sort of blasting through questions because actually, surprise! Robert Englund, the actual actor who plays Freddy, is here and much more popular than stupid Heather's Nancy character. That said, turns out the original writer/director, Wes Craven, is writing a new movie even though Freddy died just 3 years ago. And would Nancy like to be in it?
Not sure about doing horror.
Come on.
Kids love horror.
And besides, your husband has been building a new Freddy glove in secret because it desperately needed an update.
Daisy, your genius, this makes his old claw look like Mother Teresa's mitten.
The thing that was always scary about Freddy's glove was how the technology stayed up to date with the times. Otherwise, it'd be ridiculous. That's why he's never gone to space. The glove tech, it's just not there yet. One of the advantages of a movie as meta as this is that like half the scenes feature some moron who isn't an actor at all.
What do you mean?
Oh, this is one of those scenes.
Okay, I know.
Heather's still hesitant, and when she gets home, Dylan is flipping out yet again. Probably panicking about all the good serial killer themes being taken, but actually he's fine because his dinosaur dolls save him from a creepy old man who lives under his covers.
Is Rex going to die?
Yes, all the dinosaurs did. And especially Rex, actually, if he's fighting a one-toy battle against Freddy Krueger for control of your big Tootsie.
Oh, what a big Tootsie.
Bon appetit, bitch.
Never sleep again.
But to take it a step further, Dylan, we all die. Though some of us will eventually be resurrected with a new body that can probably fly and shoot lasers and shit. Again, except for Rex, who wasn't baptized.
Sorry, Rex.
I told you so many times you gotta get baptized, my guy.
Rex is not going to heaven.
That's not how it works.
I want to get baptized into every religion just to cover my bases.
Yeah.
You know, whichever
I'm
one's
sure
right.
most gods are amenable to double dipping.
Like, he figured out the loophole.
Ah, dang it.
Sure.
Heather convinces Chase to come home early because Dylan...
He was acting like...
Like what?
John C. And to Chase's credit, he does, which actually proves that this isn't really a nightmare movie. Good parents have no place in this series. Although unfortunately, Chase must have recently visited Springwood and chugged the water. Because he almost immediately passes out and gets clawed in the penis and then the chest, and then he crashes the shit out of his truck. Freddy and Palm Springs claim another victim.
You son of a bitch!
So that's obviously gonna go a long way towards traumatizing Dylan, but actually, this kid already has Hansel and Gretel memorized somehow, so.
Hansel, she cried, we're saved. The witch is dead.
That kid's on drugs.
That kid is on drugs.
Heather goes to identify Chase's body at the world's most disorganized morgue. Do they usually just leave bodies scattered all over the hallways? Oh, anyway. Heather eventually figures out which haphazardly arranged corpse is her husband's, and she does not like what she sees.
It was a bad wreck, ma'am.
She's so upset by the claw marks on Chase's chest that she leaves without signing for the body, which I think means that he'll be trapped in purgatory for all of eternity, forced to eat lots of like middle-of-the-road foods like oatmeal and unbuttered toast. But Rex will probably be there, so that's good. Chase's funeral is pretty windy and also earthquakey, and Heather slams her head and hallucinates Freddy dragging Dylan into the casket, but she's awakened by the original daddy actor. Oh, what a good daddy actor.
You got a pretty good bump, actually.
That night, Dylan flips out again. And at what point do we take him to see a therapist or an exorcist or something? Oh, sorry, this is Hollywood. At what point do we make him do yoga and hold some crystals until the mind demons get out of his head? Because even though Nancy claims Dylan is coping too well, and daddy actor trademarked assures her over and over that
Dylan's fine. You're fine.
Dylan also falls off the playground spaceship because he was trying to reach God.
God wouldn't take me.
Yeah, I wonder why.
Which is the first step in becoming a serial killer or joining Heaven's Gate. But you don't want your serial killer theme to be too religious. Like, don't get me wrong, it will play great in the Midwest, but you risk alienating the atheist liberals in New York and LA. When you're picking a serial killer theme, you want it to be 4-quadrant.
Give me 4 quadrants.
Elevators affect everybody. You should be an elevator-themed serial killer.
The elevator man. He's got the little valet outfit.
Regardless, thank God Heather has been apparently doing 1 million push-ups a day, or else Dylan would be nothing more than a boy-shaped blood splatter on the playground mulch. But no, still no need for a therapist. Kid's doing great. I mean, who hasn't tried to reach God off the playground spaceship? There was a time when literally all of us built a Tower of Babel, comprende? Ah, Dios mío! Dave! No puedo hablar en inglés! Ay, de mí! ¿Puedes entender?
You should do your own dubs for all of these videos. Yeah. We should record it twice in Spanish.
Oh, ay, de mí! What did I actually write? I wrote something in Spanish. ¿Puedes entender lo que estoy diciendo? ¿Puedo hablar en español?
Estoy diciendo...
Heather calls Robert to be like, this is weird, but I feel like I'm being stalked by Freddy. And Robert's like, interesting. Would you say that he's
Darker. More evil.
But also kind of sexy?
No.
She's like, how did you know that? And he's like, it's just a guess. Also, I'm not going to tell you, but I've been painting a lot of freaky ass Freddy paintings for no clear reason. Hey, get this. This is a little scary and unexpected. That night, Dylan freaks out. Isn't that crazy? Now, granted, Freddy also destroys Heather's sheets while Dylan tries to knife glove her with a little makeshift number that is embarrassingly not updated for modern times and technology. Is the new nightmare just trying to raise this wiener kid? It's very Babadook.
Oh my God, you just made Nola!
Except no, both of those things were dreams, maybe. That means they don't need to buy new sheets, so they take it easy the next morning. Heather sleeps in a little while Dylan organizes all the burned letters sent to her by a stalker into the phrase, answer the phone. Which is crazy, because right then the phone rings, and it licks Heather, and Dylan goes fully rabid. And I guess that's where the line is, because she finally brings him to the freaking doctor. Until foam is pouring out of your mouth and the phone licks me, we are not gonna get you checked out. Do you know how expensive insurance is? That's the rule I made for Dave. You think we have healthcare on this channel? No! Also sign up for my Patreon, since there's a good chance we won't have healthcare when this video releases. Oh man, very excited.
I'm sorry.
Now, the doctor thinks Dylan's problems stem from his mom's job.
You haven't shown him any of the films you've made, have you?
And man, why are people so bent out of shape about her 1984 drama Nickel Mountain?
What do you mean?
Oh, I guess all women should stay in the kitchen? What are you gonna do, prescribe her a few cc's of pregnancies and lack of shoes? Huh? Doctor? Oh, I guess all women should become doctors?
That's hilarious.
Yeah, it's like magical realism. I don't know, but they're gonna keep Dylan overnight and I guess probably try to mainline him Pixar movies or something until he heals. Yes, Dave, of course they'll skip the part of Up that's really sad and the part of Cars 3 where Lightning McQueen gets railed in the tailpipe for 13 minutes by a Toyota.
What I found in Spencer's room?
No, not Spencer.
He isn't a Toyota.
They're doctors. They know what they're doing.
I'm convinced those films can tip an unstable child over the edge.
Good job! Good job!
So Heather heads home, but first she gives her son a little pep talk.
You have to fight it.
You just need to choose to stop being insane. Once you do that, we can go home. So just stop it. Stop being crazy.
Oh my God, you just made Nola.
You gotta get better before they'll let you come home.
All right, night. See you tomorrow. If you would just stop foaming at the mouth, a choice you've made.
You have to come out from where you are.
Dylan has started to realize bad things happen when he sleeps. So he fakes taking a sleeping pill and, well, he immediately falls asleep anyway. You truly are your father's son. No, well, trust the process even if the results are lacking, Dylan. Heather drives to talk to the real Wes Craven about this new script that he's writing. And also she learns that Robert has left town for a long time for no reason that the movie ever bothers to explain. And a better movie would try to set him up as a stalker suspect, but and anyway, Wes is like, yeah, it's a pretty great story. Basically, there's an evil entity as old as time and rhyme, and it takes many forms throughout history, although every form likes murdering innocents, obviously. And anyway, you can't really defeat it so much as capture it inside a really kick-ass story. Like, if a story is good enough and he gets trapped in it, and an obvious example of one of these all-time banger timeless stories is the A Nightmare on Elm Street series, but unfortunately...
Now that the films have ended, the genie's out of the bottle.
Good.
And even worse, over the trillion years the entity has existed, he's never found a form more kick-ass than the burnt scrotum that is Freddy form.
I waited 10 years for this.
So he's going to try to stick with that and try to break into our world, and the only person who can stop it is Heather, because she's a gatekeeper, and I guess the one who gave Nancy her power in the first movie. So anyway, why do you ask? Has something been going on with you? How's your wiener kid doing? And Heather's like, why the did you write a script about my real husband dying? And Wes is like, whoa.
It was a script. It was a dream. I didn't.
You really should be congratulating me on the things that I stopped myself from putting in the script after I did a bad batch of ketamine. I'll give you 4 words. Freddy in a bikini. Look, the only way to stop Freddy entity is if we make another movie and we see that this entire conversation was on his computer. And like, yeah, you could do that. Or maybe just write something different, Wes? Maybe. And then Heather was never haunted again, and also Chase didn't die, and she rode that dick in the middle of an earthquake, and they ended up making a kid who made the rational decision to not be crazy like a reasonable child, and everything was great forever and ever.
Now, I swear to you, I'm gonna stay by this computer and keep writing until I finish the script, but...
Like, you couldn't have even changed the name of Heather's husband, and you had to write 15 different scenes where her actual son shits the bed all night long?
It's like poetry, so if they rhyme.
Also, A Nightmare on Elm Street is the best horror series we've gotten ever? Come on now. Maybe the first movie, but it pretty immediately shit the bed harder than you keep writing Dylan to do. Also, hey, what happens in between scenes? Like, is Heather just appearing at Wes's house? Or does the script technically include every second of travel time? Is she experiencing her life like we experience the movie, like in bursts? Or is the script only covering some of her life? I don't care. Heather drives, or possibly poofs, back to her house and learns that her husband's 2 co-workers are also magically dead, and also that all the weird symptoms her kid is experiencing could be the result of sleep deprivation. And then there's an earthquake, and Freddy finally shows up, more or less for real.
Miss me.
And I guess this means even if you're a little meaner and scarier and the personification of evil throughout all of time and you're a trillion years old, you still do the whole one-liner thing, huh? Oh, great. Freddy slashes Heather awake, and boy, does that wound smart.
Ow!
She runs to the hospital and bumps into Julie, also trying to see Dylan, even though neither are allowed. And the main doctor tends to Heather's arm wounds and casually mentions that, oh yeah, Dylan.
He's in an oxygen tent just now.
Frickin' what? That seems pretty damn serious. Does he also have any aneurysms I should know about? Feels like a phone call about this was probably in order. But no, the doctor's more focused on how negligent a mother Heather has been, because she admits Dylan knows who Freddy is. And the doctor is like, haha, he has watched your movies, sinner. But Heather is like,
every kid knows who Freddy is. He's like Santa Claus.
Which I don't necessarily think is true. I mean, her kid would probably find out, but let's not overstate Freddy's fame, okay? He's not even the most famous horror Freddy anymore. But anyway, she falls asleep and Dylan pukes on her. But again,
your son is fine.
He's just getting more tests done. So Heather goes to that room and is like, all right, big guy, I'm gonna get your Rex toy, but you better not fall asleep. And also, if you could stop being crazy, that'd be great, but it looks like you're just not going to. You're not listening to mommy.
Naughty, naughty.
So anyway, I'm leaving Julie here to punch you in the leg every time your eyelids flutter.
Julie, keep him awake.
But like, why not send Julie to get the stupid toy and you stay with your stupid son? Well, it's good she didn't actually, because A, Heather's grabbed by security anyway because they want to do tests on her, and B, the nurses pull the old secret syringe trick to knock Dylan out, which I'm pretty sure is illegal without asking Heather.
I said no.
Do it.
Good.
And even worse, it results in Julie getting massacred by an invisible Freddy a la Tina from the first movie. But it's important to note that Julie didn't go down without a fight. A fight against the nurses, mostly, but a fight nonetheless. Heather runs in and gut punches another nurse in Julie's memory. And I think Wes Craven may be working through several different things with this movie. He's like, you guys should let me make violent movies. It's fine. Also, I hate nurses. Finally, a script that can take both of my passions
and meld them together. Yeah.
Unfortunately, Dylan is already gone, and they're like, what? He was asleep.
He sleepwalks, you idiots.
Oh, damn. Our one weakness as a hospital. So Heather chases him to the freeway that he's attempting to cross and calls Daddy Actor TM for help.
Why? What happened?
And sure, she's hit by a car, but Dylan froggers his way across, no biggie, even despite Freddy dicking with him from the clouds. Heather sucks it up and meets Actor Daddy at the house, and he thinks that she's losing it.
Yeah, sure.
And he asks to speak to her outside, so they just leave Dylan in the house? The kid who just walked across the freeway?
You'll be all right.
I'll be right back.
If you were a good parent, you would tie him to the radiator. Actor Daddy calls her Nancy, and Heather calls him Daddy. And is it just me or is it getting hot in here? And Freddy tent pitches his way out of the covers and grabs Dylan because unbaptized Rex didn't do shit to stop it. And this is why God killed the dinosaurs with that asteroid, because they're so bad at fighting dream demons. Heather runs back inside and finds that Dylan has left a breadcrumb trail of sedatives, like Hansel and Gretel going through a severe midlife crisis. And she realizes, oh my God, he wants me to pop these.
You've given me a way to join you.
And I don't know much about sleeping pills, but she downs at least 3, which feels like a lot. Like, who are you, Kristen's mom? And indeed, she immediately slides down a whimsical tunnel of madness inside her son's sheets, which must mean, wow, they're working, baby. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. She splashes down in some weird-ass temple and finds the script for this movie and this moment in this movie. Then Dylan pops up, and then Freddy pops up, then snakes pop up, then Dylan stabs Freddy in the back. Literally, like he didn't betray Freddy. Dylan's not that kind of kid. He's very loyal. I mean, look at his continued friendship with useless, unbaptized Rex. But Freddy knocks Heather out. And obviously he refuses to double tap her for no reason. So Dylan runs and hides in a fireplace. It's not necessarily the best place to hide. I'm gonna hide inside this chainsaw store. But it is small, so I guess it kind of slows Freddy down. And while he tries to extendo arm and extendo mouth his way to Dylan, Heather gets up, fights through some more goopy stairs, and then slams Freddy into the fireplace. Freddy manages to still tongue her pretty good, but then Dylan stabs that. And it's like, my goodness, that kid is in a stabbing mood this evening. This kid never stops practicing and perfecting his craft. Now we just need to find a good shtick to lay on top of his above par knife skills. I'm telling you, we got a 10-movie franchise, baby. Earthquake boy, earthquake stabby boy. We'll figure it out, we'll get there.
We'll workshop it.
They manage to lock Freddy in the fireplace and he turns into the devil and explodes. Just like you'd expect, based on everything we know about Freddy after 7 movies. Dylan and Heather dive into the water and shoot out of the very dusty sheets. And sadly, the script also came with them, so they read a sweet little note from the man who's responsible for the deaths of Dylan's dad and babysitter and my free time. And Dylan's like, Mommy, can you read me the story of how my dad and babysitter and Jordan's free time were murdered by an ancient evil obsessed with our family because of your selfish career choices? That'll help me with my nightmares.
Read me some.
And she's like, of course, baby.
We open on
your dead father.
Credits, some of which are even silly and a little bit meta. Oh my God.
Is this what we're doing all night? Cause y'all, this is really stank.
All right, so obviously the last movie is only canon in the real world, where the purest form of evil using the body of Freddy from the actual Nightmare on Elm Street movies actually killed Heather Langenkamp's kind of real husband and traumatized her kind of real child forever. It's true, I saw it on InfoWars. But this is the next movie in the movie world. And it starts with a doll getting boiled while her owner watches. Ew! Everyone knows you have to braise those low and slow for the best flavor. You don't frickin' boil it. You ever eaten boiled doll? Tastes like ass.
What is that?
Because, after all,
It was the children who gave me my power.
Sorry, gave Freddy his power. Stupid editor made it seem like I murder children, which I don't. I make children. I'm like the opposite. I'm the anti-Freddy. Squirt, squirt!
My reign of terror was legendary.
Wait for it.
Again, this is all Freddy talking. Also, he says he killed
Dozens of children.
which, did he? Because if he only killed 20, that is by definition not dozens. And if it's 30, then it's only 2.5 dozen, which I don't think really qualifies as dozens either in the traditional sense. Or are we counting Freddy's Dead, where apparently he killed an entire town full of kids over the course of 10 years? But in that case, I doubt there were only like 3 or 4 dozen kids there. But if it's now some new number spread we've yet to be told, I'm gonna freak out and I'm gonna start murdering adults. I don't kill kids. I don't know how many times I have to say that.
Hey, I'm Jordan. I don't kill kids.
Hey, just want to get that out of the way. People have been saying some stuff, but they're wrong. And when I said adults, I meant the producers of this series, but that was a joke too. I don't kill people. Old or young, all are safe from me for now and in the future. Always safe. I don't kill anyone. Usually. Always. Mostly.
My reign of terror was
Greatly exaggerated.
Anyway, the problem with Freddy, besides making terrible films and having died at the end of the 6th movie, was that everybody forgot about him. And he only has power to return if people remember and are scared of him, and also maybe if he's given an assist from some shit-ass CG dreamins. Also, is he still bound to the town where he was killed? It is getting harder to remember all the rules or to pretend like I care about them.
Now that's a bitch!
But at the moment, he's found Jason from my YouTube video about the Friday the 13th movies and brought him back to life, because I guess Freddy can do that now. Because what really is death if not a big dream? And since he controls dreams, obviously he now has power over life and death. I mean, that's just science. And yet he never brought back Hitler or your mom. Curious. The 2 most evil people I can think of are Hitler and the viewer's mom.
I'm sure statistically one of your subscribers has a really evil mom.
Probably more than one. Probably all those commenters that are like, oh, you edit too fast, whatever. I'm like, you just had an evil mom.
My special boy.
But the idea is if Jason is real scary in Springwood, then people might think about Freddy again, which would give him the power to return fully. Although I also think if Freddy brought back your mom, that would also do the trick. She's scary and she's in hell.
Doing unspeakable things with bananas. Mommy has something she wants you to do.
Like and subscribe.
Statistically, I don't know which one of you is like, damn, he clocked my mom good. She's definitely in hell. Another thing Freddy brought back? Boobs.
I might have been a little naughty.
Thank you, Freddy.
Oh my God. Joey would have loved those. Oh, well, dead boobs, I guess. I don't know if Joey liked that.
All right, you then.
It's better than nothing. Well, maybe I'd rather have nothing. I don't like dead. I don't kill people. Okay? I don't kill boobs. Jason's mom shows up and is like, hey, you know what your special gift is?
You can never die.
Oh, that's right. I do love that special gift I have of never dying. Then she says, you need to go to Elm Street and murder children, and twist, mommy was Freddy. Man, I don't remember any of this shit in the Bible. The Council of Nicaea left out all the good parts. Blood credits, foot metal. Man, I hope this was directed by the guy who did Bride of Chucky. Oh my God, how far to it is.
Either one, I kill him.
Let's go. We got almost Huba levels of stank going on. Am I right?
Y'all, this is really stank.
On Elm Street, we see the Elm Street house. Whew. I was worried they might retcon that and make the Elm Street house now be on Broderick Street. That would have taken me way too much out of this movie. And I guess Chip and Joanna Gaines have gotten their hands on this house at some point because it's looking pretty okay.
It smells highly suspicious.
Urinated.
Very urine-like.
Inside the house, 3 girls named Lori, Kia, and Gib play Marry, Kill with the Three Stooges, because I guess TikTok didn't exist yet, and Elm Street was trapped in like the mid-19th century culturally, and they're just killing time until Pa gets back from the store and brings them back some string and a stick to play with. Also, everyone knows you fuck Larry. Dude's last name was fine for a reason. It's just so funny, it's like, you couldn't think of anything more culturally relevant than the Three Stooges. I don't understand. These kids are 14 in like 2004. There's nothing else you can play Marry, Kill with. Let's play Marry, Kill with the cast of Birth of a Nation. Our favorite film, us 14-year-olds. Hey, actually, what year is this supposed to be? The opening included a bunch of shots from the other movies in the series, and there's nothing to suggest it's not canon with the rest, so like, how far removed are we from 2001? That is, the year where apparently every single child in Springwood had died and the adults all went insane? Remember, Freddy's Dead released in 1991, but was set 10 years in the future. This movie came out in 2003, so did the whole town magically heal in that time? Did they bus in a bunch of children and non-crazy adults? Like, where did they get them from? Costco? Dave is always asking me how he's gonna populate his cult town. Currently, his town it's pretty embarrassing. It's basically just Dave and your mom, who he resurrected from hell.
So don't be a total cocksmith.
Oh, you're totally right. I'm so sorry. The girls are immediately joined by Trey and Blake. Surprise. And since Trey is already borderline sexually abusing Gib,
make me ask you twice.
Oh, man.
Laurie should totally date Blake, even though, as is unsubtly revealed through expository information, she's still in love with her first boyfriend, Will, who left all of a sudden several years ago in the year of 1990. Oh, also her mom is dead and maybe also in hell.
What Will and I had was real.
That may be true, but he's gone. And Blake's dick is literally right there. It's a little itchy, but it's real, Laurie. And you don't look an itchy dick in the dick hole. Dave tells me that every day. And I'm like, I still don't want it. You can't look it in the dick hole. It's a gift dick.
Yeah.
Anyway, Trey and Gib pound one out, and she takes a post-coital shower with her alive boobs out, voted the best way to shower 2003, while Trey gets pounded in the ass and folded like a taco by Jason. Voted worst way to not shower 2003. And for some reason, I'm so missing Taco Tuesdays right now. Everybody is scared of Trey's Mexican cuisine themed remains, so they run outside and flag down a cop who flags down other cops who are like,
It's gotta be Freddy Krueger.
Hey, why did you say that name?
Don't even say that son of a bitch's name out loud.
Now, the constant implication in this movie is that they defeated Freddy before and know that the best way to keep him dead is to not talk about him. Except, wasn't he defeated in an entirely different town by a couple of therapists and an orphan? Oh, yeah! I don't think you get to claim credit for that kill, pigs. Especially you, frickin' leprechaun trader and predator mailman. In the police station, Laurie's like, damn, this night has been crazy. What was the name I heard somebody mention? I'm asleep. She dreams about some blood plops. Oh, menstruation metaphor alert.
What do you mean?
And a girl crying, presumably because she has no eyeballs. Having watched Freddy's Dead metaphor alert. Having no eyeballs and bleeding out of your eye sockets is a metaphor for having watched Freddy's Dead.
Okay, gotcha.
Come on. Give Daddy some honey.
There's also jump rope kids and yeah, Freddy himself. Then, as many often do, she wakes up. Elsewhere, Blake is yelled at by his dad for not watching his sister in favor of scratching his dick at Laurie's house. But counterpoint,
My best friend was just
Killed, Dad.
So how about giving me some
then he instantly falls asleep and dreams of sheep.
Too late.
Because we all deal with our grief differently. Or maybe because his character is secretly Welsh? The Welsh have been infiltrating America for generations, just waiting to strike. Again, I got this also off of InfoWars. Then a weak-ass Shadow Freddy shows up.
Not strong enough yet.
Blake wakes up to yell at his dad more, but turns out he's already won the fight forever.
Dad.
I've never lost an argument against somebody whose head has fallen off. But then Jason kills Blake, so like, who really won? This is why you shouldn't fight with your parents. You never know when their head might fall off or you might get murdered by an overgrown, drowned boy with a machete. I tell my kids this every night before they go to sleep. It takes like 20 minutes for me to say all the things to them before they sleep. I have a huge checklist. Join my Patreon so I can duct tape my head to my neck so secure it never falls off. If enough of you join, I can upgrade to Gorilla Tape and become immortal. immortal. Elsewhere at a mental institution, Will, oh shit, hey Will, he pops some
Hypnosil.
because the screenwriter finally remembered that existed. And his buddy, Mark, is like, man, I have never had bad dreams in the 4 years I've been here, but remember how I used to talk all the time about a dream demon guy? And Will's like, yeah, man, remember that time I told the cops Lori's dad murdered his mom? And they're both like, of course we both know this backstory, but I'm glad we could rehash it for each other real quick. Wanna play checkers?
I don't do checkers. I'm an Uno guy.
All right, you then.
No. Wait. All right. Thanks for reiterating that critical part of your backstory too. I don't know why I forget so much shit.
Look around you, man. We're institutionalized.
Oh my God. I forgot.
But okay, if Mark was institutionalized 4 years ago, then that does actually suggest they started bussing kids out during the Great Child Massacre, and then yeah, they finally defeated Freddy just 2 years ago and bussed in a bunch of non-crazy kids and enough Hypnosil to make people forget they live in Ohio. Because like, why didn't Lori or any of her friends also have Freddy dreams? Seems like when Freddy shows up in town, he sort of affects all the children. Not to mention, none of the main characters are like, hey, do you remember when like 1,000 children died in their sleep over the course of a 10-year period?
I forgot.
These kids are all brand new, I guarantee it. I hope they kept the receipt though for Trey. That kid is malfunctioned. Anyway, Will saw that somebody was murdered at Lori's house on the TV news, and he's like, oh shit, I bet that was her dad, up to his old tricks. I need to check on her. And Mark's like, let's go reverse Uno his ass. There have to be easier ways to pull this off. I feel like he actually just wanted to get poked right in his porker.
Sweet dreams, monkey boy.
But yes, he did get a key card and now they can escape. The next day, Lori's dad drugs Lori's juice, and if Kristen's mom is still single somewhere in this town, they should really hook up. They could bond over how much they love poisoning their children.
On delay.
He is like, I know your friend died and all, but
At least drink your juice.
But Lori's like, no, I need to see my friends. But the cops apparently think Blake cut off his dad's head, literally, not just with that sick comeback.
My best friend was just killed.
And then slashed himself to death from the front with a machete they presumably did not find at the scene of the crime since Jason took it with him. Well, that's another open and shut case, Johnson. I guess maybe they're intentionally lying because they know Freddy's back, but could they not just say, we think it was a random guy named I am not Freddy, rather than accusing an innocent kid of murdering his best friend, because they blame him for Trey too, and his dad and himself? Just kind of a dick move, pigs. Oh man, Blake got blue-balled and thin blue-lined. Later, some guy passes out flyers for a secret drug party, which I feel like flyers kind of defeat the purpose of a secret drug party. But before anybody can process that, Mark busts in screaming about Freddy lore.
He's coming for you. You know why they sing that? Because that's when he comes for you.
Makes sense.
And also, Will is there, and Lori just...
Lori!
Sorry, actually, she borderline slips into a coma.
How much longer is it gonna take? Is she okay or what?
Yeah, seriously, she might have a serious medical problem, Kia. Stop being a shit.
Got your nose!
Although also, maybe take Lori to a real hospital? She's been out for quite a while, seemingly. Having finished breaking into a local high school they don't attend and screaming until the students pass out from fear, Mark and Will discover the town's been covering up all the Krueger records, and Mark's like, I bet they're trying to hide his identity because he gains his power from people knowing and fearing him. You know, like Batman, if Batman sucked.
Do I look like a...
Still, that is quite the jump to make. Do you think the mayor from Jaws wanted to cover up shark attacks because the shark got stronger if people feared it? No, it was because nobody would want to visit a town with a serial killer shark. It would be easy to say that Freddy doesn't exist because you don't want him to come to your town and ruin your shit. Nobody's gonna go to the Taco Bell in Springwood if they're worried that a dream pervert might attack. But whatever, Will agrees, but also is like, okay, well, you just yelled his shit to everybody at school.
Holy shit. You're right. What if I screwed up the town's plan?
Oh, believe me, you definitely did. But can I take your brother's titty van to go pick up Lori so we can escape the wrath of this dream demon guy?
This baby's my brother's pride and joy, so be careful.
Lori's currently just vibing all by herself on the hood of a car at a corn party, while this random dork kid gets doused in piss. Should've read the fine print on that flyer, dude.
I always pictured you as a straight-up bedwetter.
Kia and the nerd argue until he says something nonsensical about her brain not working, what with
all that makeup weighing down your head.
Kia's stunned silent, but like, what does that even mean? Like if her head weighed less, she'd be smarter? Well, then explain Dave's tiny, emaciated, au naturel head. He's an idiot.
Sorry.
But actually it works in the sense that now they dance because, God, nice guys never win anymore. Gib gets drunk, and wanders off.
Same old Kip!
And dead Trey leads her to a boiler silo that's haunted by Freddy. But the actual scary thing is this asshole covered in glow sticks tries to sanctuary her while she's passed out, but it's fine because he's murdered by Jason, except crap, he double kills Gib. Oh my God! Which means Freddy doesn't get to kill her, which makes him very upset. He's like, I actually might hate this guy, Jason. It's like, don't be mad just because he's better at movies and murder than you. Then Jason kills everybody else despite not having been invited to murder everybody.
You weren't invited!
He's also set on fire, which actually only increases his effectiveness. And while, yes, he slashes several kids to death, he also convinces other kids to drink and drive, which is probably worse. Most of these kids' lives are ruined. Ugh, it's like he doesn't care. Who hurt you, Jason? Thankfully, our heroes safely escape in the teddy van.
That goalie was pissed.
And they run directly to the police. No, actually they don't. They all just get dropped off at their respective houses.
Call me later, okay?
Unless we just die.
And maybe, I don't know, at least call Gib's parents? Like, they're probably curious where she is and whether she is. Will finally admits to Lori.
I saw your dad kill your mom.
Allegedly.
And then he spats with aforementioned Daddy.
Stop it! Both of you, stop it!
And Daddy reveals he actually does some gig work for the mental institution.
I do some consulting there now.
I realize they've basically been isolating the crazy kids, but how did Lori not know any of this? Like, she was 14 when dating Will. Did she not know and hear nothing about the court case?
I want to know why you've been lying to me!
I don't have online, though.
What does that mean? You don't have online?
She never heard anything about what Will did or thought, or the result of him being sent to a mental institution, which also, do they send witnesses to a mental institution just for giving an inaccurate witness statement? That's a scary precedent. Is this town fascist? They sent him to a mental institution because he thought that the dad murdered the mom, which they proved to not be true. He testified. But I'm like, that doesn't mean you're crazy. I don't know, but Lori runs away with Will to Mark's parents' house because I guess he's chilling there and his parents aren't worried about how he's supposed to be at a mental institution. They must be some of those cool parents that are like, well, if you're gonna escape from mental institutions, we'd prefer that you hide under our roof.
You always looked out for me.
Not like a regular mom. I'm a cool mom.
Mark tries to pop some meth pills, but whoops, he drops the last one and his scut-ass brother pops up in a bloody bathtub and is like,
You didn't forget about me, did you?
No, of course not, Scott. A Christmas Story is a classic. I try to put Dave's eye out with a BB gun every year in its honor.
When I tell you to come, you better come.
But then Mark's feet get rebarred to the floor and Freddy burns Freddy's back into Mark's back. Lori and Will only see that part, but they're not thrilled by it. They don't appreciate the pun as much as Freddy probably does. I liked it.
Confusing. That's not Freddy's back.
It is now. He's claimed it. It's like branding this like a heifer. So they all meet back up in somebody's basement, probably the pothead's basement. And by the way, there's a pothead, which sounds like the worst type of drug guy to have around when you're fighting a dream demon. Like, you need a meth head, buddies. I'm talking about some moist Gollum-esque creep that can stay awake for 10 days.
Then screw that clown.
And anyway, the new-to-town cop they flagged down after Trey's death shows up and is like, okay, so the other cops are like really mean to me and they won't tell me what's going on, but I'm actually pretty sure the problem here is Jason, you know, from the Dr. Jordan Breeding's Friday the 13th video. He explains the lore briefly and significantly worse and definitely way less handsomely than Dr. Jordan Breeding did.
I think we're dealing with a copycat here.
Then the kids are like, oh shit, given this new information, I'm wondering,
what if Freddy brought Jason back?
And they completely nail the exact motivations and scheme of Freddy. What is in that pot? These kids are geniuses. We should be giving this pot to kids in kindergarten. That's my professional medical advice as a real doctor, and you can quote me on that. And hey, while we're spitballing, since Lori is a virgin, we should give her to Freddy, and Daddy should make out with her. Okay, wait, I think this last part is actually a dream.
Yeah, totally.
Lori wakes up having pulled Freddy's ear out of her dream, and the cop is like, I don't think that's possible. But then the pothead Kevin Garnett's him.
Anything is possible.
But to do that, they need to combat the fact that they fall asleep every 10 damn seconds like they're competing in the Narco Olympics. So they head to the psych ward to grab some Hypnosil, which is apparently not FDA approved, even though it's been around for minimum 20 years at this point. I don't think they're gonna approve it, guys. But you know, also this channel isn't really FDA approved either. Yet you and I and all of us are still having a great time. Don't let the government tell you what's bad for you.
Even if you Pay for it, it still counts.
So they agree to break into the mental institution where they pass that out like candy. Turns out this is equal parts extremely easy and also very tiring.
Let's take a little jaybreak, huh?
Then Jason shows up and kills the cop in a shocking way. Am I right, Dave? Oh, because he's electrocuted. The others soon discover the D-Wing, which I got your D-Wing right here, but this one is full of kids, and I no longer have your D-Wing right here. And these kids wouldn't stop dreaming, and thusly were pumped with way too much hypnosil, and can now, I guess, potentially see the future. And I restate my medical advice to feed drugs to children for the betterment of mankind. Although, also, this means one of these kids could have stopped 9/11 and didn't. Although there is speculation that they don't always agree, and there may exist a minority report detailing the dissenting opinion of some of these kids about who the Lisan al-Gaib really is. That's what they say anyway. The pothead, after his jaybreak, chases after just the looking pot centipede thing, which climbs down his throat, forces him to pour all the hypnosil down the sink, and then to double syringe Jason with knockout drugs. Oh, and also to get completely cut in half. He is also forced to do that. Also, does this mean he instantly passed out after smoking a J? I'm telling you, this guy's unreliable. Even more so now that he's completely cut in half.
Let me handle this, bitch.
But okay, Jason's conked out now, which means he's magically transported to Freddy's boiler room world, where his mom is being so mean.
You are like a big stupid dog!
Guess that explains why she's in hell. Freddy attacks, and initially it doesn't go so well because both his arms get cut off.
That's why you don't yell.
Of course, severed arms don't matter to Freddy. Jerk off motion. So he slams Jason around for a while and it's like pinball, lol.
Tilt.
But even still, Jason hasn't died. And actually, did you know this movie is the inspiration for the finale of Man of Steel and also Dave's Friday Nights? You know, just like two invincible dudes pounding on each other over and over for like half an hour. Dave takes jujitsu classes on Fridays. Freddy eventually realizes Jason is afraid of water, so he turns him into the child version of Jason.
You ugly little shit.
You are not the one to talk, my dude. Freddy then fingers Jason's brain to look at his memories, and he sees, well, initially he just sees a bunch of dead people, which, I mean, that makes sense. That's most of his memories. And while that's happening, it turns out the kids picked up conked out Jason, hucked him in the titty van, and are inhuman trafficking him to Crystal Lake, where they intend to put Lori to sleep, have her pull Freddy out of the dream world, and then make him fight Jason in the hopes that Jason kills Freddy and then decides to just stay at Crystal Lake since that's his home. And don't you want to stay at your home?
Are you too good for your home?
So anyway, they knock Lori out, and now she's at Crystal Lake, but filtered through little Jason's little memories of it. And the kids huck him in the water, and Freddy holds him down. And in the real world, Kia tries to prolong Jason's life by CPRing his drowning ass.
I can't take this no more!
But then Jason wakes up anyway. It's like, what? Was he trying to pull a Sandlot on Kia? Was he faking it?
Kia, he has asthma!
Then the van flips, and he's thrown farther than Tom Brady hucking a slightly deflated football. Lori, unfortunately, just won't wake up. Probably because in lieu of putting her to sleep by singing her a few songs or rubbing her tummy or something, they gave her full-on medical-grade tranquilizer. And I guess it worked. So she's dreaming still, and it turns out Freddy killed Lori's mom, and her dad tried to save her by... like what, exactly? Why was he standing over her with a knife? I get why Will was confused. It also freaks Lori out, and she runs into the wall, and then Freddy slashes at her alive boobies to make them into dead boobies, and it's looking dire, kids. IRL, Jason attacks the woke children, and even though the nerd, the Patriots him with the American flag, it doesn't slow Jason down because he's probably Marxist, probably. But in the ideologically opposed chaos, clumsy-ass Will accidentally burns Lori's hand, and she's able to grab Freddy out of the dream, but oh my God! Butt metal, baby, we are so back, dude! They battle for a bit until Jason gets knocked out, so Freddy shifts focus.
How sweet. Dark meat.
All right, well, that's a little racist, but also it's not like this is the first black person he's killed, right? What about Kincaid? What about Sheila? What about, actually, that might be literally it. So statistically, black people have a much higher chance of surviving the Elm Street movies. So that's kind of progressive. Maybe. But actually, maybe Kia should be killed.
What kind of
runs around in a Christmas sweater.
Unless you Bill Cosby.
Shit like that is why Beyonce left you. And also, like, I don't know, 50% of the American population wears them in December.
You trying to compensate for something?
Yes, obviously. I wear Christmas sweaters because my penis is small. Is that what you wanted to hear, Kia? Ironically, it's actually Jason who kills her because even all the undead monsters from hell can't abide by this kind of rudeness. They fight some more and shoot some missiles and also some rebar, and Freddy has a silly workplace accident because there's no Dreamscape OSHA. Although that said, his finalist nightmare will probably be dealing with HR. And Laurie's like, okay, we can't leave yet because I want to make sure Fred is full dead. So she sprays a bunch of gas on the dock where the two are fighting and inflicting impossible amounts of damage to each other, like one of those Super Smash Brothers rounds that is never gonna frickin' end. And shouldn't Freddy die for real? It's always confusing, but if we're in the real world, then he can totally die and also pay taxes. But we don't have time to get into that right now. I'm just saying, I feel like Freddy's not paying taxes.
Now that's a bitch.
He does a lot of shitty things, but that might be the worst one. I don't know if he has a job per se, but like that's the point of the sixth movie, right? Well, that and studio money laundering, presumably. Canonically, the sixth movie is the one time he definitely died because all the other times involve things like dream gates and stuffing him back up inside his mom's coochie or whatever.
For it is the only way to end his reign of terror.
Those were all more metaphorical deaths, but the sixth movie was like, no, if you bring him into the real world, you can blow him up with a pipe bomb, and then the shit-ass dream demons inside him will giggle off to find a new host. And also, we don't really know what happened in the first movie, so I don't think we can say that he survived a real-world incursion in that instance, because, like, what even happened at the end of that movie? But of course, then he survives a dock explosion and he gets stabbed with his own arm, and Jason falls back in the water like he's dead, and then Laurie cuts Freddy's head off. And that should mean that he's dead. The French Revolution tested this hypothesis many times and they got pretty consistent results.
Welcome to my world, bitch!
But the very next day, Freddy's severed head is pulled out of the water by Jason and it winks, so nope, nothing matters. Let's just go ahead and reboot this bullshit. Oh my God, great, I guess I'm back.
Obviously, this is still a dream. You think you'll ever own a kitchen as nice as this?
Ah, damn, you're totally right, Freddy.
Your mouth says no, but your body says yes.
First problem, why in the world would you write the credits out both in chalk and overlaid with computer text? What in the world does that achieve other than making it harder to read each and really hurting the feelings of the guy that you hired to draw all your stupid names in chalk? Other than that, the credits mostly show, I don't know, kid shit. Also fire. Speaking of,
Oh my God, you're Michael Bay!
oh, Freddy's about to get exploded with like a hot butt on a hotter car. Woohoo! We open on the Springwood Diner where a dude named Dean just wants some coffee.
Hey, can I have some more coffee, please?
But he can't get the coffee, bitch. It's too bad he doesn't want random pig parts because let me tell you, they have a lot of pig parts here. Also, the kitchen is on fire. Presumably, the entire diner is abandoned, give or take. Do we think he can make coffee with that hand, or would he spill the beans everywhere? I'm gonna guess spill because he spills some of Dean's blood, which means this must be a Waffle House. On the one hand, it's fine because it was a dream.
I told you if you keep falling asleep, they're gonna kick you out of here.
But on the other, knife-ear hand, it's bad because the wound came with him into the real world. I mean, he should have gone to IHOP. That's neutral ground for Freddy. He chats with a girl named Chris, whose coffee-seeking status is unknown to us to build suspense, and Dean claims his nightmares are somehow tied to his past, unlike, I guess, everyone else's who only dream about the future. And Chris is like, okay, but the dreams aren't real. They're real. You clumsy butthole. Now Chris has to go clean herself up, which is driving this boy Jesse crazy because he used to date Chris and would probably love to lick coffee off of her young body.
You added in, huh?
I did. I was like, I don't think I'm selling how much he wants to lick this body. It's not just a body, Dave. It's a young body. That's the best kind of body to lick coffee off. I do it every morning to wake up.
I gotta leave.
No, you don't. You gotta put some coffee on that body is what you gotta do. Okay. Oh, and also Jesse's friend Quentin would like to lick any number of things off Nancy, the waitress, but he's too scared and also too rude.
So you ever get tired of working here every weekend?
She probably has a reason, dude. She doesn't appear to have a dad, and maybe she needs money, you friggin' butt. Maybe she has a crippling addiction to buying Warhammer 40K figurines. Do you have any idea how expensive those are? No. You only ever think about yourself.
Did you ever get tired of coming?
Time to find out.
Quentin,
You coming or no?
I've come. Sorry.
And it sure doesn't help that your goofy ass friend Jesse just slams down random amounts of money to cover his check.
I guess I can keep the change.
Maybe he needs to have some math dreams and or get his teeth taken out. Strip naked? I don't know.
This should take care of the rest of it.
Anyway, whatever. The bigger issue is probably that Dean fell asleep again and tries to wake himself up with a steak knife to the throat.
Stop it, Dean.
But it doesn't work. This is why Pfizer discontinued their 90-night neck knife line. But at least Dean's coffee problem is taken care of. He'll never need coffee ever again. At the funeral, Chris sees a little girl who's being a little weird, presumably because of the bloody slash in her dress. But actually, Chris was asleep during the prayer, which, ugh, been there, Chris. Haven't fallen asleep during a funeral, though. And trust me, knowing Dave means that I have been to a lot of funerals. It's honestly kind of that you fell asleep. But weirdly, she sees the little girl again, but in a photo with Dean as a kid, and twist, the girl is actually her, and double twist.
I didn't meet Dean until high school.
Ooh, eerie. Chris looks for more childhood photos, but they're all packed away or something, and her mom is a little cagey and like, okay, again, eerie.
Hey, why don't you pack those up?
Normally, moms cannot wait to pull out photo albums. Like, they practice that shit. Try to beat their record in how fast they can have it on the coffee table and crying over how fast the times have gone. Join my Patreon so we can afford ultra light photo albums so my wife can finally break that world record. Chris continues her search in the garage, and they do this rad thing with the lighting to make it look like there's a coffin in there when it's actually just the windshield of a car. But less cool is that in the attic, she sees that they still have a baby crib despite her mom's only daughter being like 25 and still in high school. Oh, where's the time gone? They grow up so fast. Other than that, it's mostly boilerplate dolls, torn dresses, and burned creepy dudes.
Remember me?
Is it Jason? Oh God, it's my nightmare forgetting someone's name. Again, eerie.
We've actually met before.
Also eerie is how shitty the CG Freddy in the wall shot is. Like, even I could figure out how to make that using a practical effect that wouldn't look like the inside of an asshole. That's just lazy, even for this series. The next day, Quentin tries to talk to Nancy again, but then some random guy yells at him.
Don't be late to class. Come on, buddy, let's go.
My dad.
Obviously, she knows. Your dad works here. She knows you. It doesn't take that much sleuthing to figure out the connection, my guy.
My dad.
I know.
Another case solved by you.
Elsewhere, Chris reads a book about eating that historical ass, which was at least thrice as stanky as the modern ass.
But what he didn't take into account is that the plague would eventually strike.
That ass!
But then poof, the school is burned and Freddy is there and she screams herself awake like somebody had shoved a historical ass under her nose.
Are you okay, Miss Fowl?
Clearly not, Teach. Ah, you just screamed bloody dream murder, and also didn't your boyfriend or whatever slit his throat in front of you? So I ask again, how's it hanging, dog? I'm a cool teacher.
Rufus.
Oh, okay. The editor has made a tenuous connection to move ahead in the plot. Yeah, that's Chris's dog. So in the previous movies, Kincaid had a dog named Jason, clearly hinting that one day Freddy could meet Jason from Friday the 13th in a movie whose title I just can't remember the name of right now. So this movie is clearly setting up a match between Freddy and a horror icon named Rufus. Huh. I can't recall any horror Rufuses, which means that if we hurry, Dave, we can make a horror movie about a Rufus, and then the Nightmare producers will have to make a movie with us, and then we'll be so rich, and we'll be so beloved, and we can buy so many leather pants. I do think a movie called Freddy versus Rufus, and it's just like a dog would crush at the box office.
Yeah, I'm watching. I could sell Rufus action figures.
Rufus popcorn buckets.
Everybody wants that Rufus where it's Rufus going like this. Yeah. And you pull your popcorn out of your mouth.
Gotta stick your dick in the Rufus popcorn. It's not illegal because it's not a real dog.
Rufus, what are you doing?
Why are they doing this? No!
Sorry.
But until then, Chris's mom has a flight attendant emergency, which sounds so random that I actually wonder if she moonlights as a vigilante or a prostitute vigilante, which already sounds like a more interesting movie, but alas, we'll have to settle for the thrill of Jesse sneaking in through Chris's window despite there being literally nobody else home.
Jesus, Jesse.
They chat for a second and realize they're having the same dream, and he's like, shh, 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 shh. It's no big deal. Why don't we just platonically sleep together? Just please ignore my friendship erection. It's nothing to do with you. It's because of our friendship. I'm attracted to camaraderie.
I had a hard on this morning when I woke up.
We should just stop talking about it, all right?
She agrees, and it's going great until her stupid ass dog that I can't remember the name of.
Rufus, 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 Rufus.
Wakes her up. Oh man, if we find that dog, I'm gonna kill him. Oh, shit. Chris briefly warps to a preschool before waking up and serving an excellent toe shot for the fans. Then there's possibly the only legitimate jump scare in the entire franchise.
Found you.
And Chris gets slammed around in, honestly, it's a pretty silly way. Oh no! Oh no! It's obviously supposed to be an edgier and scarier version of the Tina murder from the original movie, but actually, all the slamming makes you realize how goofy it all is. Slamming should be a serious, somber affair. When you think slamming, you should think class. Jesse doesn't find it particularly goofy, however, and in his haste to escape, he accidentally trips the house alarm. He runs straight to Nancy, who's painting, although I can't stop staring at this little dick-looking dude on her wall. Go to sleep. Sorry. So Jesse warns her,
if you die in your dreams, you die for real.
And then is immediately caught by cops for aggravated, goofy slamming. In jail, his bail is immediately posted, which is crazy because, oh, never mind, he's dead. In both the dream and in the for real. Meanwhile, Nancy goes to her room where there is another dick man drawing. Did she bring it with her? Or are there multiple dick men that she has drawn and put all over her house? This is the real mystery of this film and should have been the only tie-in merch from the whole movie. I'm telling you, if you got a little dick man popcorn bucket, those things would go like hotcakes. But anyway, she calls Quentin to meet so they can do research about dreams and maybe draw more dick men, but immediately two weird things happen. Firstly, they meet at a bookstore, not a library, a store. Surely the store will be annoyed if you read a shitload of their dream books without purchasing any. Yeah. And secondly, the browser they use in lieu of Google is called GigaBlast. Oh, trying to learn about sleep disorders? Well then blast off! Blast off! It's party time! But then of course Quentin, who as far as I know hasn't been actively fighting to stay awake, nor for any other reason, immediately falls asleep and dreams about a little girl who he follows, of course, and he sees Freddy, which is crazy.
Nightmares?
Nah, not really. But if you are having nightmares, you could take one of my
Speed for kids with ADD.
pills.
No.
No?
No thanks.
You're lost.
Are you sure it's
Speed for kids.
Crack open an ice-cold bottle of baby beer.
No thanks.
This is the actual one situation where it's okay for you to just say yes. Then Quentin reveals that he's a Christian, which some say is an opiate of the masses.
Yeah, we gotta blame something, you know?
Let's get back to reading such classic dream books as Boiler Rooms of America. The Ohio ones probably have their own volume. Oh, also let's read Pied Piper.
What's this one doing here?
The classic book about dreams. They're like, honestly, there's only like 2 dream books and we gotta pad this shit.
we gotta really pad.
Yeah, we gotta like make a stack of books.
Look, we're running out of time.
Honestly, who even needs books when we've got GigaBlast?
Nobody ever got anywhere in life by Googling.
Which is telling me that if we stay awake for more than 70 hours, our brains will force us to take micro naps while awake and we will die.
Just permanent sleep.
So, why don't you just run home and do some more weird sketches, Nancy? No rush. 70 hours is like 15 years, basically. And while she draws, Nancy asks her mom if there's some connection between her and the kids who've died that she thought she met later in life. And her mom is like, nope, don't think so. Good night.
I don't think so.
She's a great liar. More like Friday Night Lies, Mrs. Coach. No.
Never heard
it. There's not.
Not that I can recall.
Bath time.
Best day of the week.
Nancy sets an alarm and passes out full spread eagle. And for a second, I'm like, whoa, Freddy's about to slice some ham. But no. Instead, she gets out and finds her room covered in snow, which is odd. And also her room is now a preschool and Freddy shows up and both of those things are odd. And he's like, girl, you know you're my favorite Chick-fil-A combo.
You're my number one.
Whatever, bitch. Give me a chicken sandwich and some waffle fries.
And she's like, well, I'm gonna wake up. And he's like, no, you're not. You set the alarm in your dream, you big fat dummy. And she's about to die from embarrassment. But then Quentin calls IRL. So it's fine. Of course, nowadays, Gen Alpha would freak out more about receiving an actual phone call than about a dream demon haunting them. So Gen Alpha Nancy would just go ahead and die. Have you ever fallen asleep completely spread eagle?
No, I haven't actually. It's uncomfortable, it's uncouth.
I like to fall asleep quite properly. If I was buck-ass nude in the water, look, I don't know the science of it, but does that open up your holes?
Judging from what I saw in the bathtub last night,
Quentin's coming over for more research, although, his speed reserves are running low, and they root around Nancy's mom's shit for a while until she finds an old school photo of all these kids at that preschool that everybody's been dreaming about. I hear the wait list there is crazy long.
What are you doing?
Nancy accuses her mom of lying, but her mom contests this.
I'm not lying to you. I am not lying to you. I'm not lying to you.
I mean, you are Nancy's mom, but defend your actions.
I wanted you to forget.
She admits that Freddy worked at the preschool and was one of those full-time preschool gardeners that lived on campus and fraternized with the children. Oh, did you think that's not extremely common? You should probably call your kids preschool right now because, I mean, every school has one. Do you expect children to learn some of their letters without pristine lawn maintenance? They can't focus. Now, unfortunately, this was one of those bad live-in preschool full-time gardeners, but
He left town before we ever were able to confront him.
so that's that. He did horrible things to you guys, but then he left, so he dropped it. No more questions. Class dismissed. Mistrial.
I hope that you're right.
is this like a fancy private preschool?
I don't know. It could have been that fancy. They clearly didn't background check him. Nancy doubts this, so she's like,
we have to find the other kids in the picture.
But Quentin's like,
It's my dad.
yes, Quentin, everybody knows it's your goddamn dad. Stop telling us.
I'm sorry.
So Nancy has to do a blast off all by herself and learns that all these other kids are dead.
They're all dead.
So that wasn't super helpful, but while Nancy did that, Quentin had a very serious swim practice to make sure he was
Working your underwaters?
yeah, be sure to tighten up those swimmings. Definitely watch your paddlers.
In and out really quick. Powerful dolphins off the wall.
Stop me if I'm using too much swim jargon. I'm a real swim fan. The point is, Quentin is rocking out with his cock almost out in a tiny little Speedo at swim practice, and it's like, Christian, my ass. Unless there's a book of Magic Mike that I don't know about.
Now we gotta blame
Big fat ass rhinoceros dick.
He attempts to swim, but he clearly sucks at it because he completely botches the turn and also because he drowns. That's how you know if a swimmer is bad at their underwaters. This is a bit technical, but drowning during swim practice is a bit like drowning during football practice. It's a great way to get cut from the team. Fortunately, Quentin pops up in the past where all their parents chased down Freddy and killed him with firebombs, which is probably just what the preschool weeds wanted. This was definitely a targeted hit from Big Weeds.
What do you think I did? I didn't do your ass.
Quentin and Nancy are lucky they can even read Giga Blast with how off track that sloppy lawn got them as kids. This upsets Quentin, and once he stops drowning, he runs to accuse this guy. Wait, who is this guy? Dave, do we know who this character is? I feel like Quentin would have mentioned him at some point if he knew him, but
Son, don't touch me.
whatever. Basically, Quentin is like, I am positive that this live-in preschool gardener guy who used to hang out with us kids unsupervised was a good dude, and you all were just overreacting to our shredded clothes and how we cry when we talked about him taking us to a cave.
How do you know he was guilty?
You serious? I just told you that a moment ago.
There was no need for you to go full vigilante prostitute.
Oh my God.
You killed an innocent man.
I can't believe you guys killed that guy. What did he even do? Why do I have no memories from this time? Did I repress how kind he was to me?
No.
Quentin and Nancy decide Freddy wants them to go to his special cave to prove that he's innocent, maybe? And like, if you can't trust vague, drugged out, drowning visions, then like, what can you trust? Live-in preschool gardeners are very trustworthy people, and you should always follow them to a second location.
Fine.
But first,
I need more pills.
so they stop at the pill store, but while Quentin haggles with the pharmacist,
You're out of refills.
Just fill it up.
No.
You're having a hard bargain here, huh?
Nancy tries to freaking burn herself to stay awake, but A, that's like an extremely visible spot. Why not burn your thigh or your butthole or somewhere less conspicuous, and B, it doesn't work anyway, not even a little bit. Boy, these movies are surprisingly negative about the many benefits of burning yourself. That's what I have to use to give me the energy to finish these friggin' 4-hour-plus YouTube videos. I'm like trying to edit, I'm like...
And then when you get tired, you gotta get Anna in there. She's burning you because you're tired of burning.
And then my child has to burn her, and then there's a long night of burnings. In the inevitable nightmare, Nancy grabs a piece of Freddy's sweater, and man, imagine how many problems Freddy would avoid entirely if he just like bought a new shirt. Like that shit is always tearing and revealing that he can be pulled into the real world. If he just bought a real classy number with really complicated patterns, he'd be invincible, and he could just live off commissions from Men's Warehouse's shirt sales. That's the real dream.
You're gonna like the way you
Murder people.
But no. Freddy does manage to get in a good slash, which, if I'm being 100% honest, does not look like the behavior of an innocent victim. They're like, I still think he's the good guy. He just, I don't know why he wears the knife glove. Now that I'm thinking about it, you're mine now.
For me to take out the ice cream.
Yeah. And then bring safely back to your parents before curfew. So anyway, Quentin takes Nancy to the hospital.
Honey.
And they're like, we're gonna put you to sleep. But she's like, no, I'm going to escape. And also Quentin's going to steal some drugs. And they're like, all right.
Good, great.
So now they're back on the road, and Quentin jams a syringe with adrenaline into his leg because I guess he's crazy as shit. Whoa. Then he and Nancy flirt a bit.
What's your favorite color?
And Nancy's like, why would you want to date me? I'm so hideous and so cringe.
I don't know if you've noticed, but I don't exactly fit in.
Well, maybe not by the porn standards of Michael Bay, but come on, girl. You're an easy Boston 7 and an Ohio 9. But Quentin's like, I mean, we could put a bag over your... Thank God he swerved to avoid Freddy. That would suck if he killed him with a car. No way his insurance policy covers random acts of dream murders. They crash nearby where they need to be, so they break into the old preschool and go to the basement.
This must be his room.
Yeah, they said he lived in the preschool basement. This is the preschool basement.
This is definitely his room.
Case closed. And there are a lot of knives and shit, but to be fair, a lot of gardeners cut the grass with knife gloves. So that doesn't mean anything other than Freddy brought his work home with him because, well, he lived where he worked. He didn't really have a choice. But actually, they find a secret bonus room that also has a little dick guy in it. And like, okay, is this like a Banksy or something? I feel like they're trying to suggest that Nancy has been drawing those dick guys since she was a kid and like, oh, Freddy had one because they used to hang out and draw dick guys together maybe, but they all look identical. Was she just cranking out dick guys during preschool like she was on a deadline and she still cranks out dick guys? That's a lot of dick guys. I don't know, but confirmed, Freddy, he was a pervert. So I guess not innocent then? Are we cool with the firebombing?
You were wrong.
Man, I cannot get over how massive the twist here is that horror icon Freddy Krueger is the bad guy in this movie. Even if I have somehow magically never heard of Freddy Krueger or the Nightmare on Elm Street series, the guy keeps showing up and claiming he wants your soul and he has knife gloves. That's just like the one guy in the theater, home, what? Just one guy by himself. And everybody's just like, whatever, I don't know. But Nancy's like, okay, I'm gonna go into the dream world and grab Freddy and pull him out, and then you can kill him, Quentin. And Quentin's like, absolutely. I'm literally hopped up on medical grade adrenaline, and then maybe later we could go outside so I can punch the sun god. He's really amped up. There's no way that I will, oh, shit. Also, they kissed right before they both fell asleep. And I cannot imagine a less sexy time in anybody's life. They both just saw photographs of her being sexually abused as a child. If there's anything that would make me feel a little unflirty, probably that. Like, read the evidence room, you two. Jesus Christ. Oh, look at that. You were definitely sexually abused as a child. Mwah. I know, ladies. You gotta make the first move.
Timing is everything.
If we just sit here and do nothing, we're gonna die.
Anyway, Quentin gets slashed a bit, and then Nancy wanders around the house, which is goopier than ever, and then she falls into a bed dressed in little girl clothes, and yeah, I think this is actually too f***ed up. I've seen a lot of horrible things for this channel, but this is no fun whatsoever. Like, who is this for?
You know. Morons.
Oh, it's the highest grossing film in the series by an entire assload? Great! The world is broken. All is ashes.
Your mouth says no, but your body says yes.
Quentin, I guess, woke up on his own.
Please wake up!
But actually, Freddy's already gone full Somali love pirate on Nancy.
Look at me.
Sure.
I'm your boyfriend now.
Sure.
But no, Quentin pounds her in the chest with a syringe full of adrenaline, which, holy shit, dude. How do you know that needle isn't gonna like puncture a lung or a heart?
It hurts, doesn't it?
Whatever, she pulls out Freddy, and even though Quentin gets fully stabbed by 4 separate 8-inch knife blades, he's fine, because the knife glove failed to evolve with the times, maybe? Nancy then slits Freddy's damn throat and calls him a bitch, even though he actually hasn't said anything about bitches in this movie. She's calling back to the movies that don't exist. If I was killing the man who sexually abused me as a child, I don't know, I'd be like, suck it, bitch. Feels a little under the moment. Anyway, then they burn the place down just like their parents did. Learning to love and respect your parents' murderous vigilantism? I think we found a character arc. But then they call the fire department? Feels like they're nowhere near witnesses, but they appear to have gotten here super fast. And sure, they or somebody also called an ambulance for them because they're wounded, but like, what is their excuse for what they were doing here gonna be? At minimum, they're on the hook for arson, right? I don't know. But at least Freddy's dead. Ah, well, nevertheless, at least this franchise is, for now.
Oh, wait, I also did a TV show.
No, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I gotta wake up! Oh, that is the last time I take meth in the bathtub. Tell you what.
That's not gonna be the last time.
Poop class budget cuts. Poop class budget cuts.
Jesse's butthole poop.
Jesse's butthole poop class budget cuts.
Got it.